Joe Rogan Podcast. Check it out.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan Podcast by night, all day.
Okay.
I'm ready when you are.
Okay,
I'm thinking about popping.
Matt's already on a roll.
Yeah, he's on a roll, man. We gotta get it going.
I feel like we're
missed it already.
Yeah, we missed the joy that is Matt Serra. We need a name for this order of unruly gentlemen. We need a name for us.
Matt, I want to think about it. But
this is Matt's first Zyn, by the way.
But
and it's a 6 milligram. That's a heavy dose.
But I'm not I'm a caffeine guy. I love caffeine.
That's a lot like caffeine, but like even more.
Really?
Yeah.
I seen it at 7-Eleven. I know Tucker Carlson takes it.
He loves them.
And it's
he
not,
got so excited that I had one. He's like, "Oh, you have them too."
But it's not
strap him into that seat.
It's not a dip though.
No, it's just a little pouch. It's not actual tobacco. It's just the nicotine chemical. Nicotine is a chemical, is neuroprotective. It shows, there's been studies that have done that it shows some sort of a connection with helping ward off Alzheimer's, I believe. Find out if that's true. I might have made that up.
Nicotine?
I might have made that up.
So you saying it's
Cat
good for
Williams
you?
weed is strong. Yes.
Yeah.
Nicotine as a chemical is not bad for you. What's bad for you is the delivery system of cigarettes.
No.
Particularly cigarettes if you buy like cigarettes with chemicals in them. So there's those what are those American spirits?
Yeah, whatever
what are they called?
American
Is that it?
something.
Spirits?
That's like a marketing. I don't think that's true.
They're not. They have shit in them too.
Of course, they're cigarettes.
No, but I think it's different.
I thought they were just
I don't
supposed
think
to be
it
a
is.
paper and a tobacco.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
Oh, those liars. Okay, nicotine for Alzheimer's disease. There's no evidence from randomized controlled trials to support the use of nicotine as a treatment for Alzheimer's disease. So what was the thing that, wasn't there something about a connection between the way nicotine works and some sort of, there's something I read.
My thing is, if I start with the
Go
nicotine.
back to that, please, Jamie. Will you just say, it says, while nicotine itself doesn't cause dementia, the act of smoking cigarettes may be linked to an increased risk of developing dementia as you age. The harmful substances in cigarette smokes can lead to inflammation, factors linked to the onset of Alzheimer's disease. I know that nicotine is a medication that they use sometimes for heart patients. So find out what that is. Fuck that is. The whole thing is the
Probably a
cigarette.
vasodilator.
Did you ever see that movie with Russell Crowe, The Insider?
Yes.
It's about the dude who works for the cigarette companies. He's a chemist, and he's talking about all the shit they throw in the cigarettes to make them super hyper addictive.
Oh, it sounds action-packed.
So it's actually not the nicotine that makes it addictive?
Well, nicotine is addictive as well.
Right.
Nicotine is addictive as well.
That's
and
my
then
question.
They just super juice it up, according to this movie.
Before you get me addicted to these things, if I put this in my mouth,
well,
am I
you're gonna be scratching like fucking Tyrone Biggins.
If I start it, and I'm gonna.
Sarah, I do nicotine.
If I'm an everyday, what is this called again?
Zyn.
If I'm an everyday Zyn guy, am I gonna? If I stop it, am I gonna be like?
No, I stopped it the other day for 2 days. I said I want to see what it's like.
And
nothing.
Well, did you wait 3 days? What about 4 days? Are you gonna get itching?
I didn't have an itch. No,
I would think you would have
fine.
got it earlier instead of later.
I liked them.
Are you an everyday Zinner?
Yeah, not every day. I take days off. But the thing is, like, I don't know if that's my biology. Like, I can just do things and stop doing them.
I can't.
You know what I mean?
There's a reason why I never tried fucking cocaine or anything. I'd be out of my fucking mind.
I haven't either.
I had these two pizzeria bosses, and one of them just last week had to get a new spine, and now he's on a ventilator. I don't want to get emotional now, but anyway, he's pretty. I think he might be dead by now, but it's very depressing. But anyway, I was 17 years old, and I used to deliver pizzas for these guys, Nicky and Louie, and they were funny. They remind me a little bit of a Joey Diaz. They were just smoking cigarettes. They were very funny, but they told me, they go, if you try it once, they used to have a cocaine problem, but they cleaned up, and he goes, Matt, you try it once, and you're fucked. And I wait, dude. Sold, and I got scared. I got fucking scared.
I'm scared.
You know.
Yeah,
so, and I knew that, and I've been in situations. Obviously, I mean, we all have, like, where it's like, talk about pure pressure, man. I don't know. I was like, fuck, and it's like, you got to be that guy and be like.
I got real lucky when I was growing up that I had friends that liked it, that were good friends that told me to never do it, and then I also had a friend whose cousin sold it. And when he sold it, he went from being this like regular dude to being like a vampire. And he just stayed in the attic. He had an attic apartment with his girlfriend, and they just did coke and watched movies and sold coke. And he lost a ton of weight. He started getting real like gaunt and skinny looking, and I was like, yo, it's like they got bit by a vampire.
God,
It's
damn.
like they got bit by a vampire. It's like you're not the same person again. Now your whole mission in life is getting coke.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
your
yeah, that's-
whole
yeah,
mission.
that's not a good
Everything
place.
else is out the window.
Yeah.
All that success and love and family and friendship and dinners with friends. Fuck all that. You got to get coke.
Yeah, that's not the way to
It's
live.
crazy.
You just
got-
throw this thing in your
mission.
mouth like that? You just put it in your mouth?
I just stick it between my cheek and my gum.
That's it.
I'm in.
But you know what else I found that I really like is I don't know, this is, I should kind of not be talking about this because these motherfuckers took the name that we use for our nootropic, which is Alpha Brain.
Oh.
But it's these are like a nootropic pouch. So this doesn't have any nicotine in it. It's a bunch of nootropics, which I really like nootropics.
Now-
Maybe they didn't steal our name, but it's kind of
Now,
close.
It's Alpha
I'm
Brain.
kinda
I
convinced
used
it's
to
the same.
take that all the time.
Alpha Brain was one of the first. Well, the first one that I ever found out was Neuro One. Remember that guy, Romanowski?
Yeah, Bill Romanowski.
Yeah, Romanowski, who was a football player, obviously got a lot of head impacts, and he was having problems with his memory, so he devised a supplement. It's really good. That was the first one I ever found out about.
And I'm sorry, what did you say is in that again?
This one, it's got a bunch of different
No,
nootropics.
with the word you just said.
Nootropics.
Now, not for the people at home.
Yeah.
Not me. What exactly is a nootropic?
It's the building block for human neurochemistry. So it's things like acetylcholine. There's a bunch of different ones. If you can like show the ingredients for Alpha Brain, if you could. There's lutein. There's a bunch of different things that have been shown to increase cognitive performance. So we actually did randomized controlled trials at the Boston Center for Memory for Alpha Brain. We sponsored 2 of them. And it showed an increase in verbal memory, your ability to retain words, which I really find. Like I
Yeah.
take it every time I do a UFC, I take Alpha Brain. Always.
Really?
Helps my memory.
Yeah.
I'm talking about fights from.
And you be bringing out zingers. Yeah, you be bringing up zingers that
Every now
everybody
and then.
forgot about. I'm like,
I got
God,
some Pete
damn.
Spratt information for you, you know. But it does help. Okay, so alpha GPC, Herpersia, vitamin B6, theanine is a really good one too. Theanine is also in another thing I really like, which is Neuro Gum.
Yeah,
not a sponsor.
I actually use that.
Yep, I have these right here, Neuro Mints.
mints.
I like these. Not a sponsor, just good product. Vitamin B6, obviously good for you. So all these things, what it's shown is if you take these things, it's just like we know that there's certain nutrients that your body needs. We know we need vitamin D. And if you're not getting it from the sun, you can supplement it. There's a bunch of different things you can supplement, but you can supplement the things that your brain needs to work at the best level.
Speaking of
You
mints,
saw the
real.
amount of supplements I take, you would go.
Oh, I
crazy.
would
Well, I
not.
mean,
we didn't
no,
say
no,
anything
no,
for-
morning
Well,
stuff,
okay.
Fuck you talking about?
night stuff.
If there was one dude in this room that I would come to, who's got the supplements?
You know, this motherfucker got
John Rallo knows about some supplements.
what is that? Some
Oh, my Lord.
Jocko Milk or some shit? What are you on?
What's
what,
that?
what kind of protein
This-
do you
Oh,
take?
you got an Origin
protein?
shirt.
Yeah, that's
I do have some Jocko's Mulk at the house.
Oh,
but,
bro, I buy that shit by the cases.
have you
I have like
tried- have you-
5. I have the new one. The
Have you tried
sweet
Mark
cream
Bell stuff?
Yeah, Mark Bell
the
stuff's
steak
great.
shake.
The steak shake,
I love
that's
that
great.
shit. That's what I've been.
But what I
hitting
like
lately.
about the Jocko's is they're already made. I'm lazy.
Yeah.
I got to run out
Oh,
the door.
so
I
you're
grab
getting the
2 of those
I got
bitches.
you.
I grab 2 of those bitches. I got 60 grams of protein. Bam.
So you don't get the pre-made ones.
No,
you got to make
I
them.
get the powder, and the main reason too is because I like to put it in my oatmeal too. So I'll mix it up like that.
Well, I'm not a goat, so I don't be eating oatmeal. Like a fucking goat. I'm eating bacon and eggs. What are you eating?
I'm back to being gluten free now.
Isn't it funny that when people used to eat oatmeal if they were starving? Those are people that were like poor people that were just starving to death working in the fields. And now we're like, oh,
I know, yeah.
look, granola. Healthy, like, eat some bacon, you fucking idiot. Get some eggs. Just eat a dozen eggs and some bacon. You
when they
feel
say,
like
I hope you don't
you're
think I miss
alive."
many meals.
No,
Mind
you
if
ain't
I-
missing any
You
meals.
mind if I grab some coffee?
Get in there. It's for you.
I seen since the last time we spoke. Remember last time we were talking about my ass, not to get into remember we talked about my
Hey, what a segue here.
For the folks at home, so a refresher.
I don't want to leave everybody on a cliffhanger because the last we spoke, I was supposed to take a shit in a box to go to the lab, right? And I don't know what it was. I just never did it. And then I finally was like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm doing it. And then I changed insurance, so I had to get a different doctor. So anyway, I seen a holistic doctor, right? So I ended up doing it.
Like a witch doctor?
Yeah, dude, now listen, I was a little nervous too.
What is a holistic doctor?
Should I be?
Is that a real thing? Is that a real thing?
Well, listen, I'm going to find out. Thank you, brother. It's Mike G. It's from Huntington, right? Now, somebody recommended him. I know what you're thinking. I was thinking the same thing. It's going to be. Do you have any sweetness?
We don't.
Nah, no. Look at me, prima donna.
Do we have any out there?
No, I don't want to be that guy.
No,
Jamie, sit down,
worries.
please.
We got a
Don't do
guy.
nothing.
What do you want? Like
raw
Splenda?
Yeah,
real
Splenda,
sugar?
Stevia.
He's like, I don't want to be that guy. Splenda, Stevia.
Stevia. That's a
You have any of that mint cream?
So when I
sit down. No, stevia.
listen, first of all, it's hard to get an appointment with a lot of these fucking doctors, you know?
Especially the holistic ones.
Well, no,
They're all doing
that wasn't as hard. For some reason,
A lot of ceremonies.
no, my wife started by trying to book these doctors and couldn't get it. So then somebody recommended this guy. All right, so I was expecting a fucking half a hippie sipping wheatgrass. I didn't know what to expect. It was a guy who looked like looked like John Rallo, 59, strong guy. Nice guy. He was telling me that, a lot of these, they just want to put you on meds. They don't look at what caused the problem, or that they just want to treat. They want to treat the problem. They want to treat the problem. They don't want. He's like, I want to turn back time with you and shit like that. I don't know. Listen, so nice guy.
Like a Cher song.
Like a shit. I thought it was
Turn back time.
She was pretty, but she had no ass.
Hey, man,
whatsoever.
she's still
She
pretty.
should not have to have an ass back then.
I know.
She snuck in under the wire.
Yeah.
She's still kind of hot. I'd smash.
Back in the day, she was gorgeous.
I'm talking about now.
No, she was pretty.
She looks pretty good today.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I still
Really, right now.
The
Right
Sunny,
now.
Animal.
the Sunny and Cher days. The Sunny and Cher. Now
She was hot. That's wild that he went on. What did he became a senator?
Right? I think it was the mayor of his,
Thank you.
whatever city he
Well,
lived in.
Clint Eastwood became the mayor of Carmel, California. But
I do remember
think
that.
Sonny Bono was like a senator or
Was he?
something. Wasn't he, Jimmy?
Oh, shit.
Was he a
I knew
congressman?
he got in politics
Everything's
for
a
sure.
But like heavy duty into politics, and then he died skiing.
Yeah, what, he hit a
No
tree?
kidding. I'm not
Boom!
laughing at that.
Ran into a tree.
Man, that's a motherfucker.
Yeah.
And how Kennedy died too?
Yeah, one of the Kennedys died the same way, and in like real close proximity to each
I
other.
used to love skiing, man.
16th mayor of Palm Springs, California
there.
from
He
88
was a
to 92,
representative.
and served as the U.S. representative for California's 44th district from 1995 till his death in 98.
So he was both.
Let-
He was
let-
the mayor
both.
too.
Let me ask you.
That's
now,
pretty crazy.
How
Yeah,
much?
and he's a Republican. I got you, babe. The hippie movement,
Right.
With the fucking bell
I know
bottoms
what
and
a
shit.
Republican-
My thing is this: from Ronald Reagan to Sonny Bono. Do people like the policies, or are they just liking the fucking guy? I was just watching Idiocracy the other day.
Oh, my Lord.
And,
It's so
that is
good.
the
Still,
dude. Oh wait, hold on. That's
Terry
fucking
Crews was a
great.
great
Still,
president.
so good.
He's like,
it
listen,
holds up so
you like the
well.
white
What
Terry
about when
Crews.
he's yeah. He's seeing the council. He's like, yeah, my first wife was tarded. She's a pilot now. That movie is fucking great.
It's a great movie, man.
It's not exactly politically correct, but it's fucking
It's
great.
not at all, but it holds up. You almost couldn't make it today.
You can't make any of these. Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder would be impossible
No, you couldn't make
today.
that.
I gotta watch that again.
Impossible today.
I haven't watched that in ages.
Bro,
Great movie.
that's a great movie, man.
Great movie.
That's a
have to watch
great
that.
movie.
And Robert Downey Jr., not only was he in blackface, but he was in yellowface. Remember, he came out talking to them about catching Jack Black in the rice patties and shit. It was hilarious.
Easy there, Shane Gillis. They're gonna be marching on. I think they're gonna be marching on ground control tomorrow.
Listen,
Oh,
man,
my Lord.
Asian people take it better than anybody. You
Hey,
know
my
how I
wife's
know?
Asian.
Emojis.
Oh, I
Emojis
know,
are all
I know.
yellow, and there's
I know.
no
one
complaints.
Yup.
Not a single
Not a
complaint.
single complaint. Yup, you're
Not
right.
a single complaint.
You're right.
Asian
You're right.
people just
Yup.
keep
They
working.
That's true. They never have a problem.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
They don't. If like there was like like legit Asian hate though after COVID came out. There was a lot of like really dumb people that were just running up
About
to
the
Asian
China
people,
shit.
hitting them.
Yeah, no, I see
Hitting
that a
them,
lot,
screaming at them.
especially in New York. A lot of the subways.
Crazy.
No,
That's
it's
crazy.
That's where they need people.
But that's
to step
real.
up.
Yeah, that
That's
was like
real.
violence,
That's-
right? That
yeah.
wasn't just talking. That was
Yeah, it
violence.
wasn't just like yellow face.
Yeah.
Like you can get away with yellow face. Nobody fucking says shit. You could dress up like a bumblebee. Nobody would freak out. Like when they got that kid, there was a kid who turned out to actually be Native American who had half of his
the
face.
Chiefs game.
Yeah.
So brilliant.
What he had half of. He had literally put on like war paint of the tribe that he's from.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I think it's from the tribe that he's from.
And
One of those
that
websites
was the
tried to
best.
label it as a
He was
fan,
racist.
a racist
And they said he was in
fan in
blackface,
blackface.
too.
So they
Yep.
only showed
Yes.
this side of his face where it was dark, and the other side of his face was white, which was like this war paint.
Oh no,
Bro, they
And
just
they-
fucking
and the kid turned
totally
out to be
bullshit him.
Indian as
Oh,
well.
no.
So they got the double. They were wrong twice. You know
Bro,
what I mean?
people are just so quick to jump the
Listen,
gun.
I'm sick of this woke shit.
Yeah,
and let me tell you.
both.
Let me tell you loud and clear. I am sick of what they did to fucking Star Wars. They took a shit all over it.
Marvel. I'm
They
a
get
huge
angry.
Marvel
Listen,
fan. They've
I
wrecked
love
that,
everybody.
You know.
I love everybody, and I have 3 daughters. I love strong, like, female characters. Vasquez from fucking Aliens.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Right,
she
right.
was badass.
Sigourney Weaver.
So,
Yeah,
yes,
Alien
Linda
One.
Hamilton. I'll go
Linda
on. Listen,
Hamilton,
Terminator.
Terminator.
There's nothing. How about this? There's nothing wrong with making everybody badass. Now, I'm asking the wrong guys. Did you guys see Ahsoka?
I did.
What's Ahsoka?
My brother. My brother
It's a Disney
Jamie
Plus
did.
show. It's about a Jedi. There she is.
Yeah, well, Rosario Dawson.
Yeah, she's hot.
Now, it's a not to get too geeky on you, but listen.
It's too late for that.
That ship has sailed. No, I gotta listen. I gotta go. Listen, this is the deal with Ahsoka. It's not. It's based basically off of another show, which was an animated show. Not to get too nerdy on you, George. First of all, before you pick on me, George St. Pierre watches these same fucking shows because I talked to George about this and we geeked the fuck. I go, George, how do we have a fight? We fucking. He's like he knows more than me about all this shit. He reads the books. But anyway, this show was a cool show. This show, Rebels, right? And it's about this young Jedi, Ezra, right? So now they're doing a live. Guys, stay with me for 2 seconds. So now the live action comes out, right? And Ezra, at the end of the series, Ezra fights this guy Thrawn, and he goes through another dimension, and he leaves a fucking hero. And now the next appearance is him live action in this series years later, right? They make him the biggest cuck in the universe, right? This guy was a fucking Jedi, badass in the cartoon. I'll give you a couple instances, right? They find him, they're on the planet. His friend finds him, I forgot her name, but she gives him she's like a Mandalorian. She gives, here, his lightsaber, do your thing. Now look, they can't make him look too cool because he's a dude. They go, hey. He goes, listen, I don't need the lightsaber. The Force is my weapon. So already, boo, right there, big boo. Really? He's not the lightsaber. He's surrounded right now, so he's like doing some fucking hippie shit. It's whatever. Next, this gets me now. You'll relate, Dean. You'll relate to this.
I'm with you.
Listen, now they have 2 of these. He's been on this planet. They find them on. They have 2 of these horses, these alien horses. It's Ahsoka, the Mandalorian chick, and Ezra. So there's 3 of them riding. On a motorcycle, when there's 2 guys riding. Now, the guy in the back, it's called riding bitch.
Yeah.
Who's riding bitch? Ezra. Now,
Ezra
is that just because, it just happens to be? No. It's like that on purpose.
I get it.
Am I going?
I'm in
Hold on.
agreement
I
with
blame
you.
it on the Zig.
Here's
I
the
get
thing.
it.
To
No, I was about to say
Here's
that Cat
the thing.
Williams
That's
beat
why
strong.
they're
You can
down to
have
400
both.
million or whatever
Here's
the
the
hell.
thing. You can have both. You could have a strong woman character and a strong man character.
Yes.
Like Conan the Barbarian could be riding on the back of a horse with a chick like at the reins and no one would question shit.
Right.
Well, unless
You know,
that's
it's
fucking.
like,
Wait, hold on.
He thinks
Conan
she's so
would never get on the
badass.
back of a horse.
But
Fuck
imagine
that. Unless
he
it's
thinks
Red
she's so
Sonja.
badass,
Right.
he lets her. Yeah, Red Sonja.
There you go.
He's got to
But
be
isn't
humping
that
the
who
chick.
he was banging?
He's got to be. Thank
Well,
you.
yeah,
He's
she
got
was
to be
like
humping the
the
chick to get
warrior
on the back.
lady.
Yeah.
Hold on. I disagree. I don't think he's riding bitch.
Me
I don't
either.
think he would.
I-
either.
I-
he's not right.
As I was saying it, I was like, I can't defend this.
You went too deep, too fast.
Yeah, you didn't think that out all the way. Yeah.
This is fucking Conan the Barbarian we're talking
Okay,
about.
maybe John Wick on the back of a motorcycle killing people while his girl drives.
You know what, man?
You wouldn't say
Because-
John Wick's a pussy.
Well, you know.
You know
You
what?
know, he
He's
can't.
a very
He's
polite guy.
undeniable. He cannot be a cuck.
There's a
Definitely
big.
not.
There's a big.
But this
fucking-
guy was. But
Definitely
the
not.
guy that he's talking about surely was. I mean, I didn't even think he
dude.
was a badass in the show.
Well, but he was a badass in the cartoon.
Yeah.
So it's like.
Wait
but
a
then
minute.
You see who's.
but it's all with who wrote it though. Here's the thing,
problem.
like it's not really Star Wars. It's just this new thing that they're using Star Wars,
Disney.
Yeah.
the Star Wars universe. And Star
Disney.
Wars is
It's-
Luke Skywalker
it's the
and Darth
company.
Vader,
Yeah.
and that's it.
That's right.
It's
Right,
Obi-Wan
right, right.
Kenobi,
Right,
it's
yeah.
C-3PO. Everything else, you're just stealing my money.
Listen,
It's the truth.
the days.
Pretty much what I think.
Like, listen, right now, Han Solo would be toxic. Han Solo was the fucking PIMP. How about when Han Solo's about to go into fucking carbonite? As a kid watching this, as a kid, oh, it's emotional. He's getting lowered into the fucking carbonite. You don't know if he's going to survive this thing.
Right.
Chewie's sitting there upset. Fucking Lando's being a bit of a, we're unsure about Lando. And Leia.
Now, wait a minute.
Playing
No,
both
I
sides.
love Lando. He's a badass. But Leia goes to him, I love you. What the fuck does he say back? Watch this. What does he say back? Could you play it or no? Watch this.
He says, "I know," right?
Spoilers, Rogan. Watch this. Watch this. Look at that, first of all, yeah. Watch this.
I love you.
Yes!
Gangster.
That's my fucking Star Wars. He doesn't know if he's gonna live. He doesn't, and he does love her. He does. He's the fucking man.
yeah.
I love Han Solo.
wait a
I love
minute,
you.
but-
Never. Hey,
Who is,
Ezra, take notes.
Matt Serra, former UFC welterweight champion, is also a nerd.
Oh,
I
but
am
he's the biggest
real
nerd I know.
Full
Hey,
on.
can I,
100%.
first of
Full
all,
on nerd.
Can I thank you now? Because listen, this show doesn't come without perks. Listen, I was on here geeking about the VR last time.
Yep.
So all of a sudden, I love that Pop One. I still do. I was just playing it before I got here. Another guy contacted me from Caveman Studios. This guy Lon. He goes, "Look, I love how enthusiastic you are. Try this game in beta testing." So it's out. It's not even out yet. It's coming out at the end of the month. Contractors Showdown. Fucking money. I don't play anything but Pop One. Am I getting off the subject? We should talk about MMA.
No, we're talking about
We haven't even got the MMA.
I know.
Yeah, right.
Listen, holy shit! It's like Warzone. It's like Call of Duty Warzone. I love the battle royale format where it's like a squad and then everybody gets brought in together and you got to take each other out. That's cool. That's Pop One. Technically, it's Fortnite. Not to sound like a nerd. This shit, Contractor Showdown. Fucking nerdgasm. I love it. It's so much fun. It is, guys.
So you're parachuting in?
Now
on
listen,
people?
this is the deal. You parachute out. You
Right.
pick. Now when you go, you loot up. Right. You get money. You get
wrap
shit.
your hands? What the fuck?
Well, you had he must have had some damage. He had to heal up a little bit. So then
So
you
you're
get
fixing to
guns.
go to war. You got money.
Yeah, you get your boys, and then you're like, look, I don't know about that nerd, but look, we're here now. Look, all right, now that you see the perimeter, dude. Everybody gets brought in. You get scopes. You put it on. You get money. You could buy stuff. Put it on, and you're taking these guys out. You're sniping them.
And this is all in virtual reality.
It's in virtual reality. It's fucking cool, dude. That guy likes
You
it.
should get a
No.
new job reviewing VR games.
That's not a bad idea, actually.
Imagine.
It's so much fun.
Imagine if you had a
People would
YouTube
love
channel.
watching him review a
That's
game.
Matt.
Can
That's
you
actually a
imagine?
great idea.
He wouldn't do it though.
But
Oh my god!
Get
He
a
doesn't
YouTube
have-
channel,
Just,
yeah.
just video him playing the
I
game.
just
Yeah,
get
for the
someone.
love of the
Just
game.
get
Just
some
video
nerd
him
one to
playing the
film
game.
him. He
I know, that's
probably
it.
won't do it, but get
That's it.
someone to do it.
that's a fun game.
You should get the
I'm
UFC
telling
to
you.
do that. Do you still do the thing with Jimmy?
Yeah, man.
Okay,
Jimmy,
so
me and Jimmy twice a week.
why
UFC Unfiltered.
Why don't you?
What? I'm plugging it. Why are you guys laughing at that?
Why don't you get the UFC to just film you doing that too as well?
Dana, you listening, motherfucker?
That's a great idea.
Hey,
Dude, it's a no miss. You'd be fucking awesome at that.
We're gonna have
you
fun.
really love these things. Your
That's what I'm saying.
character.
He's so
I mean, look how
passionate.
enthusiastic he is
That's
about
my-
it anyway.
Yeah, you should 100%
You know what?
be reviewing
it's
games.
so funny because that could be very sad normally when a 50-year-old's fucking. I'm gonna be 50 this year. It's like last time I was on here, they did a thing called "My Dad is a Gamer," and they had me on there fucking being sick. My daughter's watched. My daughter
awesome.
watched. But no, I love that shit. It's fun.
It's fun.
It's harmless. It's
Since
fun.
I've known you, you've been on it.
Yeah, that was.
I don't. It's harmless if you can control it, but they're so fun. You'll wind up wasting your whole life playing
that's
the
why
video games.
my thing is, it's like getting everything's about balance, like passing the guard. You know,
Yeah.
like I feel like I deserve it at the end of the day. If I go, I do a 7 a.m. class. I fucking do my podcast. I go back. I'm rolling with my wife. I had a full day. You know what? I deserve 2 hours an hour, a couple games, whatever
3
it
hours.
is.
Yeah, no, you definitely do.
Yeah.
But you're a disciplined man.
Well, it's fun.
But you're a
know what I
disciplined
mean?
man.
Most people don't have that type of discipline.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you're an accomplished martial artist. You run a business. You have a
So much
family.
fun.
You're a disciplined man. If you're just a fucking dorky kid,
Oh no, yeah, it could be a problem.
who just
No,
has a
if you-
job,
if you
and
like-
you
you got
just
a
come
life-
home
you
from
got a
that
life
job,
otherwise,
and that's
you know what
all
I mean?
you fucking do.
It's the same thing with the reefer. Like if you're a guy
Right.
doing stuff every day and you're smoking, that it could help you.
Yes.
But if you're like in that commercial when, hold on, they're blowing the shit out the window. Hey ma, the guy's gonna call me back. I left a message for the job. That's a problem. Like you know what I mean? If you're 30 years old, you're living at home, you're fucking. But you know everything is how you use it. Yeah, back to what is
The
that?
Star Wars mod for contractors.
And the women
You know what?
always
Now
win.
listen,
You got to be a woman character.
There is contractors. What is it?
He says you gotta be a woman
character because the women always win.
Contractors is a game that it's all been out forever. I'm not really into it, but the Contractors Showdown is coming out at the end of the month and is fun. That's the battle royale version. Nerd. I catch my wife hears me talking about this online, and she's like, "You fucking have no idea." You know, she loves me, but it could be a turnoff, I'm sure.
Yeah, I don't think it
married. I
turns
don't
them
give a
on. It's not a,
fuck.
it's not a panty
I'm sure
dropper.
it's not.
It's not the ultimate panty dropper.
I was trying to figure out the right way, and that was the right way. You know?
You know what fucking is? Hold on.
Oh, look at
Look at that.
Look at the abs,
Touch
son.
that. Fuck it, don't fucking touch me. But it's I'm back to gluten free.
Yeah,
I think this Zyn thing's making me crazy.
it's making you crazy. It's hyping you up.
It does,
That's
I don't know.
great. It's
This is-
good, but it's
as if-
good.
as
But
if
it's
he's
good.
good.
I know, like,
I'm
yeah.
going to give you another one in
But not,
5 minutes.
but not to mention.
No, don't do that.
The problem is this. The problem is
Step on
this.
the accelerator.
I start the day. Me and him went out to eat last night. We went to the Brazilian joint, and I didn't eat since because I got to clear out because I got issues. So I woke up and I had the water and I had a double shot of espresso, and I don't want to be. And I was a little down last night because I had too much of whatever edible. Okay.
Edible.
So I was a little like, I hope I'm not like this tomorrow. So I had a 5-hour energy.
Yeah.
And now I had that and the coffee. So this is what you
Oh,
get.
it's on. It's on.
It's on.
Oh, I'm having fun. You were talking about making. You were talking about coming up with a name for us.
Yeah, we need a name.
Yeah, we need
We need a name.
a cool Star Wars name.
Nerdgasm.
You guys are fucking.
Is that-
You guys are
How
parents.
about we just call it Cucks?
Yeah.
Just so no one can say shit about us.
That's not bad.
That's not bad. Cucks. That's actually kind of funny.
I was gonna say like the OGs, but that's too serious.
That's
I
too
guess.
serious.
It
Cucks.
is.
Cucks might actually work.
I like cucks.
Cucks not bad. Cucks.
It's not bad.
It's
'Cause
kind.
it's so
It is
ridiculous.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know. You want to be cucks?
I kind of like
I
it.
don't want to be a cuck.
I think I'm kind of enjoying that.
Yeah. Being a
Cucks is
cuck,
not
yeah, I'm a
bad.
cuck.
Let's let placeholder it. Put it aside. Put a
Yeah.
bookmark on it. Come back to it later in the day. See how we
Yeah.
feel in an hour.
Should we take a poll? What is your?
No, you don't want to let the people be involved. They're going to hijack that shit. And we're
Oh, I
going to
meant
be
the
cucks
mo-
for sure.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. We're saying
That
cucks.
will not be a fair vote. They would try to get us.
Johnny, you had one first. You were like the Four Horsemen.
Oh Jesus, that was a long time ago.
I have a weird memory. I remember weird shit.
Yeah, that was
because I remembered I'm the furthest thing from a horseman. I'm not exactly a fucking
You need help getting on a horse.
I don't know. You know what the problem is? You'll be on a stallion, and me and Joe will be on like ponies and shit.
You'll be on a mule.
You'll be on a mini horse.
I want to be on a sturdy mule.
I was watching a mule biting a fucking hyena.
Oh,
pulling
dude,
them
they
around
use them
thing.
to bite wolves
Yeah, no
and
shit.
coyotes.
Yeah,
and
well,
You
shit.
think a hyena would fuck it
mules
up?
are mean,
Yeah.
man. They're fucking mean.
Ponies?
They're smart.
Yeah,
Mules.
yeah.
Mules. Yeah.
They'll use them to like protect the herd and shit.
What?
For real?
Mules are so much smarter than horses. Like, people like them when they travel through the mountains because a mule won't go anywhere where it's not safe.
Oh.
A mule will go, bitch. We're not.
I know
I'm not-
better.
yeah, I'm no better. I'm not going over there. Like that edge is too steep. We're falling. And so
That
a
makes
horse
sense.
is just like, horses just go right off the edge, man. They just listen.
You gotta not stand behind those motherfuckers, though.
Horses?
No,
Either one of them.
A mule?
Either one. Horse kick you? Oh my God. I saw watched a horse kill
can't
another
imagine.
horse.
No.
Yeah, in a
hit
video
him in the head.
online.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
That's crazy.
Almost spit up my coffee.
That's a donkey.
Yeah,
Oh, what'd I say?
They don't fuck
Mule,
around.
a mule. A mule is a cross.
What's the difference?
A mule is a
Look,
cross
same.
between a horse and a donkey.
Look at this.
And they're not viable.
Yeah, but wouldn't you think that the hyena would fuck this thing
Really?
up?
Yeah. Yeah, you would think so, but it looks like that hyena is fucking tranquilized.
Something's
Because they're
up.
videotaping this.
It's so it almost looks like they're playing.
Yeah, maybe it does look like they're playing. But that doesn't seem very playful.
I mean,
That seems pretty violent on the
I mean,
on the
it's-
donkey's
it's
part.
not quite playing, but he's not.
I don't know, man. I
Fighting
don't think they
back
play
home.
like that. I think it
That's not-
recognizes. I think it recognizes that's a predator and it wants it to fuck away from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think it is, man. And that thing's trying to bite it. Like, what is going on here?
It's 4 minutes. Of
Bro,
it.
this is some gay shit.
I know, right?
They're sniffing assholes. Maybe they are friends. Maybe I'm out of line. Maybe they're friends. Maybe the hyena and the donkey will get along, but probably not. They're fucking predator and prey animals.
Yeah. Right.
But if they kick you, man. So there was a video of these beautiful horses, man, and they're in this corral, and this one horse just starts kicking, and he just kicks the other horse in the head, and the head
And it dies?
dies. It's just
Like it dies right then and there.
it dies like it got shot, like plow.
That's crazy.
Just falls down, legs stiff.
All I do when
Killed
there's times I'm in the fucking bathroom like an hour at a clip in the middle of the night. All I do is watch those fucking animals on animals. Fucking
Nature
Yeah.
is metal.
Yeah.
I just somehow
You
get into
got-
it.
you
You know, on
into
the
that shit,
Facebook
too?
videos,
Yeah.
I'm either watching like the world style hip hop fights. I watch that more than regular fights. I don't know why.
Well, because they're more fun.
Yo, I saw
entertaining.
one today. I don't think we could play it. It probably violates rules. But this dude is on the ground, and he's basically like fighting this guy. He's got a helmet on. It looks like there was some sort of a traffic altercation. And the guy who's on the ground has a dude, and he's like setting up a heel hook. And the guy's trying to attack him. And then the other guy comes over and punches him, and then they separate him. And when they separate him, the dude who's on the ground is like holding the guy like he's going to set up a heel hook, pulls a gun out and shoots him in the dick.
Oh my God.
Yes, just like this. Boom! Shoots him in the dick.
Oh.
What the fuck?
Bro, it's rough. You want to watch it?
Yeah. Absolutely.
100%, right?
There's some things you can't unsee.
Yeah, I thought you'd never ask.
Yeah, but you got to see this.
It's so funny, man.
You got to see it because I had to watch it because it's a Instagram reel. I had to watch it a couple of
Fucking
times.
wait so long
I
for
always
it.
just to try to figure out what exactly was going on.
I always like to see what's going on out there. You know, I always like to.
No, hold on a second.
Oh, good. Get
Here
us,
it is. I
get
found
us
it. I
scarred with
found
some
it.
other shit, Jamie.
Here, hold on a second. Hang on a second.
Was this chick up there last
I did
time, or am I
find this.
fucking crazy?
Yeah, she's always on. Okay, I sent it to you. Oh, that's okay. This is the horse. Watch this.
Oh no.
So this horse, he just kicks that horse in the head. Boom, dead.
Damn.
Is it dead?
Yep, dead. Look at his legs.
Good Lord.
It died. Look at his legs.
Wow.
Yep. Bro, you get hit by one of those, you might as well get shot. That's a hoof at the end of a
What a shame. That's
1,800
pretty
pounder beast.
Yo, what a did now?
Okay, now show the guy getting shot in the dick.
Now, did you ever try horse? Did you ever try horse meat? By the
Yes.
way, how
Is it good?
It tastes like wild game. I tried it in Montreal. There's this amazing restaurant in Montreal called Joe Beef, and me and Duncan and Ari ate there. And they served you. They had horse tartare, so it's essentially raw horse, and then they had like a horse fillet. They served us horse fillet. I was like, wow, this is weird.
You know, you used to eat horse meat. Patrick Cote. Remember we was in the house?
Yeah.
And we used
Over
to,
it.
we used to get a list of what we could put on there and what we wanted, and he put horse meat on his list, and we was like, what the fuck?
Smart.
Yeah,
He knew
that's-
nobody would fuck with it.
Yeah.
That's all those dudes up north in Canada. You know, he's a Montreal guy.
I almost don't want to see this, bro.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. So watch this.
Why are you saying that?
So this guy,
This got to be Brazil.
I don't know, but look, see the other guy comes over and
Sweet.
kicks him. They push him away. Now watch this. Keep an eye on the guy on the bottom.
He's got a gun?
Yeah, watch here.
Come on, man. No. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Wait, is he still fighting?
No,
No, it
this
started
started
over.
over.
It rewound.
Whoa.
Whoa.
I mean, whoa.
He's a eunuch.
Whoa.
Jesus.
And the best is, it looks like they're doing a little, all right, there might be blue belt level.
I was
got
about to
se-
say, that's definitely
yeah.
Brazil.
He
That guy's
swept
got a
him
stripe
once.
or two on his
But
belt.
I don't think that could be just only
Oh, come on, man.
Bro.
Dude, keep that shit between you and Tom Segura. I don't need to see that shit. I don't want to be part of that fucking text.
Oh, man, that shit hurt me. It hurt me just to watch it.
Fuck.
Oh, no.
You got to wonder what other damage that
Oh,
did.
it's over.
Oh, what the damage? You guy lost his dick, Rallo. What are you
Yeah.
what the damage you thinking
I
about?
think he lost everything.
He lost a lot. That bullet probably blew
Could
his
have
hip
ripped his
apart.
fucking
Smart
intestines
got
up.
into his organs.
You gotta really
His
try
liver.
to avoid everything in the street.
Everything.
That's what I always tell Dean Thomas, the troublemaker.
What? I always got to stop him from
It's
fighting.
not true. Dean does mellow me out.
Yeah,
though. Dean
I got to
does
stop
mellow
him.
me out.
Every time we do a show,
no,
he almost gets in a fight.
First of all, no, that's not. First of all, not true. But second of all, we did. It didn't come out yet, but we did that fucking cold plunge on that fucking show. Let me ask you something about the degrees of that, because I'm thinking about adding this into my routine.
The cold plunge?
I swear, man, because I start my day with a steam. I'm thinking about putting it a small one in my locker room upstairs in my thing. But it was fucking brutal, is what it was. When we did it, it was 32 degrees.
34.
Okay, I'm trying to make it worse.
Yeah.
All right, 34.
Yeah, no,
34 for
34.
3 minutes. Is that pussy shit?
No, that's normal. Yeah, that's what I do every day.
34?
34, 3 minutes every day.
That was fucking. Dude,
I do it
listen,
before my workout.
But did you? All right. Next question is: did you build up to that?
Yes.
Wow.
In
All
2
right, so
days.
there we.
All right.
Two days?
Like
It took
and
you
then
2
the
days to
third-
build up to
the
that?
Third day I did 20 minutes.
Stop.
No, I did. I filmed it. I
At
put it on
34?
Instagram. At
34 degrees.
Yeah, I wanted to see how long I could go.
That's pretty crazy.
Well,
See,
listen,
but that's different.
Have somebody watch
All I
before
know
you
is-
pass out or
No,
something.
nobody's watching.
we handled it differently.
Yeah, we sure did.
He was quiet, and then once in a while you hear like a Goggins come out of him, like I can handle this. And fucking, I'm carrying the boats and all that shit. And I just wouldn't shut the fuck up.
He wouldn't shut the fuck up. I was thinking to myself, like, will he shut the fuck up? I can't concentrate in this.
I had to keep myself. I wanted to jump the fuck out, and Dana was right there. And
Did he
do
do it?
it? He did it.
How
And
long?
But he does it every
Yeah,
day.
he does.
But he-
That's right, that's
I'm
right,
pretty
that's
sure
right.
he told me he does it at like 50 degrees. Or
Yeah.
something.
All right.
What the fuck
Is
is
it
that,
okay
though?
to do it
Is
at 50
bad?
degrees?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, look, it's still cold.
We're gonna stay in our
Well, I'll
I
do
lines.
just
that.
I don't think it has the same amount of an effect, probably. But I'm just guessing. It might be the same thing. Like if you did like 50 degrees for like 5 minutes, maybe that's the same as like 34 degrees for 3 minutes or 2 minutes. I don't know. I don't
Well,
know.
then I'll do that.
Yeah, but I
Maybe.
kind of
It was
like
brutal.
I like the part where I don't want to do it and then I do it. I like that.
Yeah, and you do it in the morning?
First thing.
Like, how do you do that in the morning? Like,
'Cause that's
that's the
what's-
last thing that I want to do
Exactly.
when I wake up.
Probably the
exactly.
best time.
Exactly. That's why you do it. You do it. It's easy. It's an easy
It's
win.
over and
It's an
done.
easy win.
Imagine
it's an
if all
easy
day,
win.
if all day you were thinking about, oh, I got to do it. I got to get it in and get it done.
It's also you don't want to do it and yet you did it. So it's an easy win.
Well, I felt
Those
like that when
stack up.
after we finished. So
Yeah.
I bought one but I purposely didn't put it together yet. So just so I didn't have to do it. Just got it. Just so I had to look at that motherfucker and make myself look like a bitch.
That's awesome.
I think it's an easy thing to add to my morning routine because I have a nice routine as it is. I start like 7 a.m. I do that class. I get up at 5. I get there early. I get my head straight and I get in the steam. That nice steam after that. So I don't. I like getting my head straight, but I don't like smelling bad. So I like this. Like afterwards, I'm in this. I'm Zen mode, man, and I'm caffeined up.
Now you're in Zen mode.
I see what you did there.
I like that. I might get into that shit. I like it as long as I'm not fucking craving like Marlboros if I get off the shit or something. I'm not gonna want nicotine, am I, or need it?
Well, just don't get it.
What?
Don't get more of it.
I'm saying if I stop the Zin, am I going to want more of it?
Well, I don't know how your body works, but a lot of people get addicted to it.
Well, thanks for turning me on to it, you fucking crack pusher. Thank you.
But it's good for you.
Is it good for you, though?
I think it's good for your brain.
Well, then there you go. I'm on it.
Yeah. But I think, you got to be careful if you're one of those guys.
Well, I mean, how many of them do you take a day?
There's what I found on nicotine.
Yeah, talk to me, Jamie. Look out for me.
Nicotine prevents the formation in the test tube of protein clumps linked to all. There it is. Okay, this is the thing. So nicotine prevents the formation in the test tube of protein clumps linked to Alzheimer's disease, scientists announced at a press conference today. The finding may provide a useful starting point for developing drugs that delay or prevent the disease. Researchers are quick to caution, however, that harmful effects of smoking, strengthened by a report in Science last week, linking a carcinogen byproduct of cigarette smoke to a specific kind of lung tumor, far outweigh any possible benefit from nicotine and tobacco. So, but what they're saying is don't smoke.
But the nicotine itself?
Yeah, I think nicotine itself. Nicotine definitely is a nootropic, right? Like if you can Google that. So it's a substance that's been shown to enhance cognitive function. It's one of the things that like Stephen King said when he stopped smoking. He said that was one of the hardest things for his writing. He said like his synapses didn't fire as fast.
Oh, what does this say?
Nicotine's cognitive effects have gained significant attention in recent decades, and some non-smokers have even started using nicotine gum or patches as a nootropic. Research has shown that nicotine can speed up reaction time, improve working memory, and enhance focus and attention.
What? Dude.
Yeah.
You got me.
I know.
You got me. Watch me in VR now.
I was
I'm
going
going
to
to
say,
fucking
take
kill
it before
everybody.
you play.
That's nice, man. I might fuck around with
Interesting,
that.
right? Interesting.
Yeah, man, as long as it's...
I think I'm just going to fuck with the alpha brain.
That's great. Too.
Yeah.
I'm interested in anything that gives you like a positive effect in
Yeah,
your brain.
Or also, what about dick pills? Anything that has a positive effect on your life. You know? It's fun to party.
Yeah, I used to take the alpha brain all the time. Then I ran out and forgot.
Oh, we'll get you some. Yeah. We'll get you some. I'll get some sent to you. But like all those other ones are really good too. That Neuro One shit, that stuff's great. You can put it in a protein shake, or you can just drink by itself. Tastes good. There's a bunch of them.
How many of the Zyn things would you do a day? Like one?
It takes me a few days to go through one packet. I don't know how many's in a packet.
Oh, so but would you take more than one a day?
Yeah, I'll take 1, 2, 3 a day,
Really?
4 a day if I feel like it. Yeah.
Okay, and you feel a difference.
But I do like to know that I can take days off. I take days off. I'm like, how I feel? I feel fine. Okay.
You do feel fine.
I don't feel weird.
Do you use it before like a podcast or before you
before
do
shows?
a show? Like,
yeah,
for that
I like
purpose?
it during podcasts.
So you see, it has to have a purpose.
This is also the same reason why I drink coffee a lot. I'm trying to keep my brain going if I'm talking to really smart people.
I was happy when I saw that guy and he was telling me what I should, because I got my, so I took, did I tell you, so I took the shit in the box.
Yeah, the shit in the box.
Yeah.
Stop that story.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's get back to that.
Yeah, get back to the shit.
I'm
in the
sorry.
box.
All right, so I had so after I saw the guy and he gave me the sample, I go, all right, listen, I'm going to knock this thing out. It took me a while. It was months before I did it. But then I find he's
now, real quick, does the shit in the box go to a doctor or to
no?
the
They come
holistic
and they
doc?
come and pick it up, and then they go to a lab, and then
So
he
it's
gets
for
the
the
results.
doctor.
Why? So he gets the results from it.
We
both
wanted
of them do.
we wanted to find out what's the definition of holistic.
Oh,
The
yeah.
problem might be in just that people have co-opted that term and used that term holistic for a bunch of hippie shit. But a holistic doctor,
I'm telling you,
holistic
Could be
the
a
term.
holistic approach.
Right, what is the exact definition of holistic?
Listen, And I could smell bullshit. You know, when I met the guy, I'm like, again, I was expecting half a hippie, and he seemed
characterized by the belief that the parts of something are interconnected and can be explained only by reference to the whole. Well, that's
here's
logical.
a medicine definition.
Characterizes a treatment of the whole person, taking into account mental and social factors rather than just the symptoms of an illness. Right. Many people conclude that holistic medicines are beneficial. So the problem is not, it's the like when I hear that word holistic, I think bullshit already.
Yeah, I got you.
Already, just hippies.
But if you're talking about medicine, it totally makes sense.
I agree.
It's been co-opted.
Right.
It's like a good word.
We were doing a Zoom thing with me, him, and my wife, you know, because he wanted her there because he knows I'm like a bad kid. I don't want to eat vegetables. And I don't know what he's going to tell me to eat and shit. And I don't like eating bad. You know, I'm picky in my eating and stuff.
Right.
So I was afraid what he was going to tell me. So when we went on there, he was showing me all the stuff that. Well, first, let me tell you how I took the shit first. So I was afraid of taking Joe. I was afraid of taking the shit because you never know how it comes out, and I was really like I didn't know where to do it. So I went into my You guys don't have to hear about it.
You're in now, mother.
Yeah,
you already started the story.
So I go to my school. Listen. I like to keep stuff somewhat spicy with me and my wife, so I don't want to do it at my house. God forbid it goes all over. So I go to my shower at my school, right? And I'm basically I thank goodness it wasn't all over the place, and I was doing it more of like a standing. Like I was almost like a rodeo rider or something.
So you're catching it?
Yeah, you know,
you really got to make sure your wrist stays parallel.
Yeah, could you imagine?
For real.
Like you get a little accidental dip.
Yeah,
and then you got to scoop that back.
I was in the shower.
The tile.
No, but you know what's bad about it is after you take the
Everything.
shit, everything's bad. Everything. There's nothing good about it. But I have to know what's going on with my gut. So after I took the shit, it's almost like, and it really ruined my love of Nutella because I used to always like the fucking little scoops because you got to take a little spoon in your shit, and he goes, make sure you get different sides of it. If there's a watery part of this, and I'm not doing God. So I'm in there, and you got to do the dip, and you got to put it in a little vial. And God forbid, you guys wanted to hear about it. So after that, you take it, you shake it up, and then you put it in an envelope and you ship it off. So that was the story of that.
All right.
And then when they seen like the stuff that was highlighted in the red zone, like what is going to be affecting my gut? Like I think he said there was like a parasite thing in there.
Spaghetti.
Ravioli swimming around in it.
So you got a parasite?
There was like a parasite.
All right.
What kind of parasite?
I don't know what the fuck. He goes, you usually get this someday. He goes, do you have animals? I'm like, no, I don't fucking have animals. I don't know what the fuck. But there was also like a big bacteria in there, you know? So to clear up that bacteria, I'm drinking a shake, this Thorn type shake. It's called Thorn, but it's that. And I'm on different supplements from, I don't eat vegetables. So there's these, I got these 4 green pills. He's got me on supplements, and we'll see how it goes. Good. It's fresh. It's only like a week in because it took me forever to do that shit in the box. So I'll let you know how it works. I don't know how it is yet.
Ari Shaffir was on Legion of Skanks, this podcast they do. So they film it live in front of an audience. And Ari had taken a shit in a Tupperware and brought it on stage. And who did he give it to? Luis Gomez?
No, why?
Who did he give it to? Big J?
Yeah, birthday surprise.
It was a birthday surprise.
No. Ari is out of his fucking mind, dude.
So he opens up. They open up this Tupperware, and the smell just.
No, come on. Come on.
Oh, man. People start running out of the room.
Good Lord.
Is there a video of that?
There's nothing worse than the smell of human shit.
I don't know if they
especially if it's someone else.
In a Tupperware for days.
Yours is bad enough.
Mine's bad enough.
Yeah.
Like when you take a horrific shit, and then someone in your family goes in there after you, and you're like, "I'm so sorry."
I'm sorry, Meanus, but I'm going to do it. You met my boy Meanus.
Yeah.
We were in California. We were hanging out. We hit one of them Del Tacos. So the food was fucking all right. He's got to take a shit. He comes out of the fucking bathroom, dry heaving, his eyes watering from his own shit. Like, that was the fucking, you know Meanus too. That amazed me. I was
insane.
like, this motherfucker come out, I'm talking. He was like, his eyes are watering. It was his own shit, man.
What's the name of his diner?
Valentino's.
Love it.
Bro,
Yeah,
that
it's
is
awesome.
hilarious. Your own shit is so bad. You're dry heaving.
Oh, come on.
Is this it?
Oh, no.
Wait, go from the beginning. Go from the beginning.
I don't think you'll see it.
Oh,
Jesus.
Oh,
Ari, that's
man.
a big
look
shit.
at his smile.
Is that Mickey
He's
Gall?
so proud,
Yeah,
Bro,
yeah, yeah.
I'm
He's so proud
gagging.
right now.
I'm gagging just looking at that.
Oh,
No, that's disgusting.
That's Mickey Gall right there.
It looked like
Yes,
Mickey
it
Gall.
is.
I think it is Mickey. Dude, I legit almost threw up. Did you see that, Jamie? I legit almost threw up. I legit. I can't look at that. Get that off the screen. I will throw up.
yeah.
How about Ari not able to look away from it?
I know, right? But this
He's
was
just
He's like a proud dad.
savage.
He's fucking smiling. Like, come on.
Oh, my God.
He's just
Look
dying
what I
laughing.
did.
Look
Look
at
what I
him.
did.
Oh, he's so happy.
It is funny, though.
He's a
Oh,
psycho.
man.
He's the best. Ari's the best. He's such a psycho.
He's crazy.
Is he still training? He's
So
training
crazy.
some jiu-jitsu.
Nah, he fucked his knee up. Then quit. He trained for a little bit though.
Got a brand new knee. Everybody's tapping out now. They got their fucking knees.
Me too.
Well, you're still rolling even with the new knee.
I
right?
am, but I'm a little more choosy with my, picky with my
Does
partners.
it have the same stability?
I lost you for a second. What's that?
Does it have the same stability? Like, what is it like?
The problem is, I was rolling with one of my buddies, Abe, my black belt Abe, and I'd always meet up with him because we have nice training sessions. And it's not, I don't think it's my knee as much. Remember I told you I tore my quad in the rehab? Like I was stepping down too high and I tore that shit. So it's a little deformed. And I went to butterfly sweep him. And when I went to butterfly sweep him, something popped on the outside. Like if I show you my leg, it's a little something on that knee. And it I don't know what I strained or what I pulled. I don't know what MCLs I have left. I don't know what the fuck's there. But it felt weak for a bit after that. So I haven't rolled super hard since. And that was over a month ago.
Do you do any of that like knees over toes stuff?
I heard about that, man.
that
I've
guy's
seen
no,
guys
I-
do it, and
I
it
do.
seems like
I
it
What the
works.
fuck is that?
It does work.
Does it
Yeah,
work?
I use it a
Yeah.
lot. Knees over. There's a guy, knees over toes guy on Instagram, and this dude had gone through a bunch of knee surgeries, and like real problems, and realized that part of the problem was he wasn't strengthening all of the stabilizing muscles all in and around his knee, with like tibia raises and with those step downs and walking backwards on a treadmill, and then
Backwards with a
Nordic
sled, too.
Yeah, and Nordic curls when you're lying on your chest and you bring your body up only with your legs.
Hamstrings.
See, that's where I'm.
Crazy.
Yeah,
that's
with
where
your
I'm-
hamstrings. I do those every day.
Yeah.
I do those too on a slant board.
Yeah, I have a slant board. I do
But those
it.
Nordic curls are so fucking hard to do. Like when you first do it, you're like, oh my God,
Dude,
this is
they're
crazy.
super hard to do.
So the whole idea is about strengthening all the muscles that stabilize the knee, and most people are just using the leg, and they're hoping that all that work gets done. But if you really want to make your legs really strong, where the knees are really
Yeah, I do the
stable,
sled
you really
almost
want to
daily.
do things that stabilize that. I mean, you think about how much of a knee injury puts you out. Every elite athlete should be doing this kind of shit.
Yeah. Like I have pretty bad patella tendonitis in my left knee, and it's helped to pretty much eliminate it.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive stuff. And this guy gives it all away for free because his philosophy was, look, if I was an 11-year-old that had a knee injury, I would want this available to me. And so he's a fucking awesome guy. He's been on the podcast before.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I gotta start doing that
cool guy.
shit.
But his stuff is
stuff.
rock solid, man. I mean, my knees feel so much better
Do
from
they?
doing that. Yeah. Split squats, slant board, body weight squats. I do 100 of those every day. I do the Nordic curls. I do all that shit.
That's where I
It
got
makes
to
a
Get on that
difference.
slant board and step off and touch your heel to the floor too. That's real
Yeah,
good.
that's great.
I got to be more disciplined
And
with that shit.
you use the sled, the
Yeah, a lot.
backwards, walking backwards
Yeah,
with the
I'll,
sled.
I'll do it for like 10 minutes.
Amazing.
Throw a couple plates on
Yeah.
and just, you know.
Back and forth, back and forth.
So that
yeah.
worked because I got no meniscus in my left knee. So and
No,
I
we
just
were talking
always
about
feel
that.
I always feel the bone grinding.
We were talking about the cadaver meniscus. They do that now.
You looked in any like Gel 1 or Synvisc too. Like sometimes you can get a shot that'll help with some of that. It only lasts 4 to 6 months, but it's better than have your knee grind.
I got one of those once, and it didn't really seem to help me.
Didn't help you?
No.
Yeah, mine I liked, and then I got the stem cells and.
But I've talked to people that had no meniscus at all, and they got one of those things, and it was like my knee was brand new again for months.
Yeah, I had a guy, he's a firefighter, my buddy Carl. his knee was jacked, and he's the one that told me about the gel one and all, and he was doing it, and it allowed him to come back and train and everything, and eventually insurance wouldn't pay for the shot, but they would pay for his knee replacement. It's so crazy.
God,
Instead
that's
of a
so
$1,500
crazy.
shot, they'll pay 50 G's.
It's a scam.
Such a joke.
The thing with those knees, though, me and you last night, I'm not doing that without my new knee.
Yeah, it's
Walking
true.
around town, I'm not doing that.
True.
I'd go to Tropicana for a fight, and I'd be with my buddy, and we'd have to stop every how many feet? I'd be like, yo, we got to chill. I'm like, dude, he's like, dude, it's time.
Yeah,
I couldn't walk.
100%.
So now I could,
Yeah,
I'm back.
yeah.
That's why I'm not getting the other one done until I have to.
Till it's time.
My problem was anytime I would injure something, I would not give it enough time. I would get stem
I think
cells.
that's everybody's.
I would not give it enough time, and I'd be like, it's good enough, And then it would get aggravated again. It's like, God damn it, now it's chronic.
See, I don't like to do all those exercises and shit. I think I'm scarred from all that. The only way I like
Training
to stay in
camp,
shape.
get some,
My
like
training
the
camp
BJJ.
Isn't that what it is?
Longo had some old school shit. I did so many.
Longo's the best.
I love Ray Longo.
Ray Longo's
YouTube
one of my
would be
favorite
the
guys.
greatest reality
Oh,
show
my
of all
God,
time.
you ain't
Yep.
kidding.
That's
love
here's
Longo.
another. What am I, UFC producer?
Yeah.
Here's another one. You two,
Pitch
the
and
two
match
Longo's-
shows.
Imagine that.
Longo's one of a kind. Longo.
Yeah, I love Ray.
Longo's
He's one of my favorite
just an
people.
old school guy, and never had a contract with anybody. Just always is there helping people for the right reasons, not just to get his face in there. Nowadays,
He's just a
bunch
great
of
guy.
fucking whores out there.
He's just a real man.
Yeah, he is.
He's
Oh,
a real
Longo?
man.
Yeah, for sure.
I fucking love that guy. But I love the two of you together. When you guys were in the corner, it's
Yeah, there's
fucking
no
amazing.
corner like that.
It's
no
amazing.
corner in
That's a
MMA
fact.
like that
It's
one.
so fun.
He's
It's
my-
so fun, but
he's-
it's also like rock solid information.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he knows.
You know?
Listen,
Oh, yeah.
He knows that we keep it very simple, and it's just crazy nowadays. It's a little weird now, like with the whole team, man. Like times change and stuff, but like everybody's out in Vegas now. The whole team's like, I mean, everybody's doing well, so we're all happy for everybody. But like, Vegas is very tempting for young fighters, and I don't blame them. Like,
Well, the facility
That
really, I
PI,
think, is going to pull people out.
The
Food,
PI,
everything.
all your food is taken
Yeah.
care of, and you have
That's
the most
exactly what you're saying.
sophisticated
Right.
training
Yeah.
environment available on Earth. And if there's something better, they're going to get it, whatever the fuck
100%.
it is. And it's a beautiful thing.
I think it's fantastic. The only thing I think it sucks for is that you have these guys who are coming up, with their people at home. Then they get to where they're at the UFC. They get to the PI, which is awesome. And then some school in Vegas is claiming,
Yeah.
and I'm no
Things like that.
slam
That's
on
an issue.
Couture's team or nothing. Like Nick said,
That's
he's a
an
great
issue.
coach, but if I got a guy who's out here and he's been with you for a
Yeah,
few
I
months,
think-
you can't take credit for that guy. You know what I mean?
I think in a
And
perfect
it's not his
world,
fault either. He just is there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it
It's
just
nobody's
makes
fault.
sense.
But I think in a perfect world they collaborate, and then they're both there. I think in a perfect world, that's how you do it, right? I mean, that's what Greg Jackson and Faraz Sahabi and all those guys did when they were trading fighters back and forth, and they all trained together. That's the way to do it. But you never leave your original team if they're good. If it works out and you have a relationship with them, you figure it out together.
Yeah.
Unless you're trapped in a too small of an environment and your coach is just not able to fit the needs of there's some guys that are just super talented, but they start out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
for sure.
And they don't have a real good gym. The guy doesn't really know
the PI's
the high level shit.
Like, I think that's
Sick.
the best thing ever for the fighters.
It's
obviously.
sick.
Yeah, I'm in Vegas all the time, and I'm working with all kind of fighters, and I would never ask anybody to leave their team. In fact, I'm like, listen, I'll give you any information you want,
Beautiful.
but you can't leave your team.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not taking you. I don't want you.
Good, beautiful.
I mean,
Yeah,
and
I mean,
also
but-
taxes. They save money with taxes out there, and it's very desirable.
But it also creates a conflict where the conflict's not necessary, right? It's because it's like he's for sure getting new information. Guys are getting new information from Nixick, getting new information from training with everybody.
Yeah.
You're on a path, but you're on a path with the people that you started the path with.
Right, yeah. Yeah,
And
no
so,
doubt.
like, even if you're in this new place, this is maybe you're enhancing your education, you're getting better at fighting. You're still those are your people.
And you want what's best for them if you really care for them.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, what did you sign up for? What did I sign up for? Like, I'm not going to be in a corner with somebody, and I could like them, but me and Longo, what we did is with me and Longo, some local kids. There's a time when it's like, all right, Al's from Wantor, Weidman's from Baldwin. They're all local kids. Who's fighting? This one's taking out the best of Brazil. This one's, we're going to Australia. Al's fucking up this guy in London. This is what I'm a part of. Me and Longo taking our guy to the flagpole. And then who's with us? It's Aljo, or Al is our third guy. I didn't sign on for anything else. Like, in other words, I want to make these guys the best they can. But once it gets to a certain degree now where it's like, all right, man, this guy's going to be in the corner and this. All right, well, now that you guys are calling the shots, you don't need me no more because I'm not going to be fucking in there. Okay, is it my turn to take the towel in? Fuck everybody. I'm out. Who wants to go in this time? Nick Sick, John Wood, who wants to? And I love those guys. They're good guys. I like them. They're good. I'm friendly with them. But I'm not a part of that. Like, and I want the best for my fucking guys. I love those guys. That fucking Merab's gonna be the next champ. Fucking
Bro, Merab's unstoppable.
I love that.
And Merab's
when he was carrying Henry Cejudo with his tongue out.
Oh,
he's got
yeah,
his
I
tongue
know.
out, and he's
What
like a
savage
baby.
moment.
What
Yeah.
a savage moment. Walking over to Mark Zuckerberg, holding Henry fucking Cejudo, 2-division world champion, gold
Embarrassed him.
medalist.
Look at that. That's insane.
Merab, the thing is with Merab,
He's a savage.
I've never seen, in all my years, I've never seen a gas tank like that. I never have.
It's incredible.
You know?
It's incredible.
And,
it's incredible because it's not like he's slow. Like,
I
you
know.
generally associate like really high level endurance with guys that maybe don't have the kind of power he has.
But he's durable. If you watched his fight with Marlon Moraes,
Yes.
man.
Yes.
not only did he get dropped, it was almost about to get stopped, but then it was almost by the end of the round, not only did he recover, he was beating the shit out of Marlon. Like, just beating it. It almost ended in the other way. He might have won back that round. I never see. I'm like, holy fuck.
He's an animal.
I'll tell
Dude,
you.
his social media is getting funny too.
Yeah,
Like,
he's great
the
on
best.
social media.
He's the best.
Yeah.
He's the best.
And,
He's an animal.
And I'm happy that him and Aljo never fought. They
Yeah.
never, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's a
cool.
beautiful thing.
Did Aljo have to go up? Is
No,
he like
no.
really struggling? Or why did he decide to go up?
Well, I think it's time. I mean, you'd have to ask him, but it was a hard for him to get down to that weight. I'm sure. I mean, he's done it. He's a pro.
He's
but,
so good at that weight, though.
Yeah, but man, he'll strangle guys the size of Rallo. I've seen him.
I'm
felt him.
sure he can. But
Like
I'm just
his
saying,
fight coming up with Calvin Kattar.
But I always felt that he had like really good endurance for a guy who cuts that much weight. And he could push a pace, and his size and the grappling advantage. Like when he strangled Corey Sandhagen, I was like, "Holy shit!"
That was
man.
impressive.
Holy,
But I think he's going to be
shit.
better now. So I've been working with him a little bit, just talking to him and
So
kind
he's
of consulting with
healthier?
him. Yeah, he's healthier now. He's not concerned about his weight, and that was a big part for him at 35. Is like half of his camp was just making weight.
And as he like puts it, do you think there should be more weight classes?
I think so.
I think so.
I think they should have been back in fucking 2001. I was a fucking tweener, man.
Yeah. For
155 was fucking hard for me, man. But I was like Gollum on that fucking scale. But 170, I mean, imagine me now at 170 with fucking MVPs and all these motherfuckers. I'll be up to their dick.
Right? Yeah, it's true.
And
Bro,
people are
how
shit
does
on that guy.
MVP make 170.
I had no idea.
Hey, what did you think of his? I liked his.
I was
Everybody
impressed.
shit on him.
I was
I
impressed
liked his
by him.
appearance.
Listen, that's what I always was saying,
He
telling
handled
people.
Kevin Holland easily.
I was telling people those point fighters, the guys who are elite at that skill of blitzing in, that's a very specific skill and it's hard to handle. And if you're just used to guys Muay Thai-ing you and then some guy is doing that, it's wild to
Yeah,
deal
Holland's
with.
a tough dude, man. He
No,
handled
when I
him.
trained Tyron for Wonder Boy, we brought in karate people. We went to karate schools looking for the best karate guys, just to be able to deal with that aspect of the fight.
Yeah, well, I still think Wonder Boy won. So what do you think about that?
I think Tyron handled Wonder Boy better than anybody in Wonder Boy's prime.
Right,
I think he
right.
handled him better than anybody because he just waited on him.
Yeah.
Did a lot of waiting on him. But he fucked him up. Like, he rocked him twice.
Yeah.
Like, bad.
Yeah.
And, Wonder Boy was the guy thought to be the striker.
I never really watched. I saw some highlights of Michael Venom Page from Bellator, but I never really watched.
Yeah,
Bro.
I hadn't
I
either.
just don't know when they're on. To be honest,
He's sensational.
He is.
people were shitting on his appearance. I thought it was great.
Listen, he fought
I was
Kevin
impressed.
Holland.
Yeah, Kevin
In his
Holland.
first fight in the
Fucking
UFC.
First
tough-ass
fight in
dude.
UFC, he jumped into the deep end of the pool with a real dangerous guy who's got one punch knockout power from his fucking back.
I know.
Remember that shit when he knocked
The
down
Jacare?
Jacare
Yeah,
from
yeah,
his
yeah.
back?
Hey, it's
Crazy.
the first guy in there, whoever fucking Kevin Holland. You understand? Like Kevin Holland's usually talking shit,
you're right.
winning or losing. You know, he's on the bottom of the
Yes.
I go like, hey, you're stronger than I thought.
Yeah.
He had him, you know, a little fucking
Perplexed.
Yeah, like I remember when I like to hear a lot of times when they go back to the corner.
Dude, he was mentally beat after the first
well, he went-
round. It really sounded like
you can't hit that guy, and when you get close, he's so creative. Those spinning elbows he kept hitting him with.
Oh, I know.
he said,
Yeah.
he said
He's
he's
like-
faster.
he's like, he's faster than we thought, yeah.
And,
He said that.
and they go, you got to cut him off. He goes, he's not there. Like
No.
you know, it was.
Yeah, it's a different thing. He's doing that point karate type movement, like this shit, and he trained
Come
it over and
on,
over
man.
again. It's that ability to move in and out, and his footwork is so sensational. It's like that is a different thing to deal with. It's like wrestlers. If you're used to grappling on your knees only, and then all of a sudden you have to
Gotta get
wrestle,
up and
what
wrestle.
the
It's
fuck?
a big difference.
It's kind of like that.
difference.
These guys, their ability to close distance in that sideways stance.
Machida had,
He had a
same
little
style.
bit of that. Wonder Boy did it the best in
Similar.
the UFC.
Yeah.
Wonder Boy
It's
did
so
some
funny.
wild shit in the UFC.
It's such a different style. And my little Jimmy Bird is always like, they keep their hands down. I go, Jimmy, it's a fucking.
Right, remember
They
Wonder
keep their
Boy,
hands-
Jake Ellenberger?
Oh, that's the
The
kick.
wheel kick?
Yeah, whoop.
And this was like after Jake Ellenberger had said he's not going to hit me when in that fancy spinning
Oh, yeah.
shit.
Oh no, he laughed. He goes, karate. He goes, that's cute, or something like that.
Yeah.
Oof.
And he got
the-
embarrassed.
I think Wonder Boy has the perfect con. Here's the perfect con. He's genuinely the nicest guy in the world.
Sweetheart.
He's handsome and wholesome, and he's just a sweet, sweet guy. And so that's like a mask that a killer wears. And the
Yeah,
killer
yeah,
wears
yeah,
that
yeah.
mask, and then he's fucking piecing you up,
Right.
and you're like, oh
What
no.
about the Jeff Neal fight?
Yeah,
like,
so-
dude.
but that's what he did with Jeff. Like,
Yeah.
what he did with Jeff Neal
watch-
was he
in-
pretended to be
in
his
the little
friend.
cage
Yeah.
too. In the little cage.
You get real confused. Back up a little bit so you can see before it. You get real confused with this dude. And you get confused by the way he looks and how nice he talks. He's a fucking karate assassin.
He's so good.
Probably the greatest karate fighter that's ever fought in MMA.
He's so good.
I mean, there's Raymond Daniels. He was another guy that was like an elite point fighting guy that's also a kickboxer that fought in Glory and
Yeah,
Bellator.
Raymond Daniels is good.
Woo! He's the guy that has that 720-degree punch.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
spins
yeah, he
in the
spun
air
around
and
and it's like,
KOs the guy with one punch.
Yeah.
It's the craziest thing you've ever seen. If you
Because
saw it in
you
a
think
movie.
a kick is coming and then he
Right.
just goes whap.
Where's
If
he
you
from?
saw it in a movie, he's a California guy. Or that's where his gym is, I believe.
Oh, I seen that.
Look at this.
Daniels, he's another one.
Oh, he's so dangerous, dude. Raymond Daniels does. Watch this. Boom! I mean, come on, son. That is crazy. That's a crazy thing to
Yeah,
watch.
that's yeah.
Early
How do you
Bellator.
prepare for that?
You
How
don't,
do
man.
you prepare? And in Bellator, he has one of the wildest knockouts. Excuse me, not Bellator. In Glory kickboxing, he has this touch side kick, jump spinning back kick to the face KO in a high level kickboxing match, man. But the way he set it up, watch this. This is a thing of beauty. Watch this here. Boom!
Oh, man.
What? What the fuck is that? Say that
Damn.
and show that again. Show that again. Look at that, dude. Are you fucking kidding me?
I don't even know. I think he kicked him in his neck. And
But he's
knocked
still
him out.
fighting. Like, he's fighting in karate combat. That's why I got the
Yes.
shirt on.
Bro, Raymond Daniels.
You know?
Raymond Daniels,
Yeah.
dude. Raymond Daniels, dangerous. And Raymond Daniels and Michael Venom Page fought, I believe, back in the day in a
did get him in
point
the
fighting
chin.
match. So those guys that can cover distance like that's a different thing, man. It's a different thing.
I like that he's part of the UFC because there's so many nice matchups. At first, I was
Yes.
liking maybe him versus Wonder Boy. Then I was thinking about it more, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
they
wait
might-
a
it
minute.
might
It might just might as
cancel
well just
each
fucking
other
watch
out.
Karate Combat.
Right.
Yeah, it might as well. It might just be that. But there's a lot of nice matchups, and he didn't look like he had those UFC jitters. You know?
Not at all.
He looked
he
really
looked like
good.
he was enjoying
Yeah,
himself.
I was impressed.
He's really dangerous, man. It's so tall and such a sniper, and just that movement. Good luck finding anybody to emulate that shit in camp.
You know who-
Good
You
luck.
gotta. I mean, you got to get Raymond Daniels.
Also, if your whole life is spent fighting at a certain pace and a certain distance, and all of a sudden this guy moves it by 30%.
Yeah.
30% is crazy. He's way back here.
Yeah.
He's way
How do you-
back
that's
here,
what
and he's
I'm saying.
standing in front of you,
How do
and
you
he's,
close the
he's
distance
moving
on that?
around.
And you try to close the distance, and they're just so fast.
Oh.
They beat you to it.
You remember
Yeah.
when Lyoto Machida knocked out Ryan Bader? Ryan Bader's trying to close the distance, and
Never
we
saw
saw
it
Lyoto
coming.
just planted a left hand on him. It's like, whoa! It was like that style is very hard to deal with if someone's really good at it and they can do the other shit too.
Yeah.
If they can do
Like
the
if
other
they
shit
can,
too.
if they can defend a takedown.
I'm so interested in Jamal Hill and Pereira.
Yes.
I'm so interested in that fight.
I know.
I
am so interested in that fight.
You think his Achilles is straight?
Dude, I don't know. I mean, I would assume it is. Otherwise, he wouldn't be jumping back in. I know it was more than 8 months. He relinquished
Is that what
the
they say it
title.
takes?
How many months ago did Jamal Hill injure his Achilles?
He doesn't get.
I was there at the game he was playing too. They was all playing a basketball game.
It's always something stupid.
It's
never jiu-jitsu.
He was out. He could hoop though. Jamal Hill could play.
Nice.
And he somehow
could also
some
fucking-
bump. Yeah.
God,
he could also strike.
Okay, so this was in July. So August, September, October, November, December, January, February,
been about
March,
8, 9.
Ooh, I'd like to have
It's
a
right
little
on the
more.
limit.
I'd like to have a little more.
And we don't know. I would assume he's had to be on the BPCs and the.
No, you can't. You can't.
Really? Even
You
as an
can't.
injury?
No, you can't. It's
so they can't even get
stupid.
permission to use
No,
that.
you can do stem cells. They can do PRP.
You know
They can do a
how
lot of
silly that
things.
is.
It's so silly. He assures Achilles injury fully healed ahead of UFC 300. It's not a problem at all.
Hey man, I don't think
Question's
he
going to
gets.
be his wrestling.
I don't think he gets enough props. First of all, I think he's a fucking beast. Besides,
Jamal Hill's fucking
Yeah.
dangerous.
You saw what he
Watch
did to
the fight
Glover?
with Glover. Yeah, watch the
Yeah.
fight with Glover.
I watched
he
it the other
pieced
day.
Glover up. And Glover is fucking good.
I know.
To piece him up like that on the feet,
taking away his singles real quick.
yeah. People underestimate him for some strange reason, and I don't understand it. I've heard people talk about his power. Watch that Johnny Walker fight.
I know, the Johnny
He hit
Walker
him in the
fight.
forehead.
Yeah.
It was
The
like
OS
hit
to
by a
death.
sniper.
The OSP fight?
Yes.
Yeah, man. He's
Yeah.
good,
Bro,
man.
he's good. He's fucking dangerous.
Show me somebody that did something to him standing up. Because I'm
Yes,
not finding
that's
it.
what I'm saying.
not finding it.
That's what I'm
And
saying.
I think Alex is going to be so confident. You know, shit happens. But I think Alex is going to be so confident because of all his kickboxing and everything else that with these little gloves, I think Jamal's going to surprise him. He's going to fucking sharpshoot him.
Jamal's a one-punch knockout striker at light heavyweight for sure, and he's a big, tall dude, and he knows movement. He's fucking dangerous, man.
He's good at keeping his range.
Bro, he's
Yeah.
fucking dangerous. Jamal's, Jamal's dangerous. I mean, a lot of people are picking Pereira to run him over.
Really?
Which I think is interesting.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that.
Like the
I'm
only
not sure
shit-
about that, man. Dude, I think this is going to be a great fight.
Oh, yeah.
The thing about Pereira, though, is he's ultra high level. Like, people just think about only his power, and you only think about, like, because he's got the most insane touch of death. It's
Yeah.
insane.
It
Like,
is.
he just sleeps people with everything. But when you see his movement and that sneaky shit
I
he
like
does
his-
where he gets that calf kick off, you don't see
Yeah, you don't even see it
you
coming.
don't see
I was going to
shit,
say
man.
that.
You don't see shit. And when he checks his kicks, he doesn't check them. He gets his foot like a hacky sack position.
Yeah.
He lifts his shin up, so you're just sliding under it. You ain't getting shit. And he's coming down with the right hand every time.
He's good, man. But
He's
I just
fucking good.
I think the speed of Jamal Hill is going to be the difference. As long as he has it and that Achilles doesn't hinder him.
Yeah, well, god damn, it would suck if he came in at 70%.
Yeah.
And not 100.
Because he's going to need to be 100.
Because if they, the thing is, there's got to be a lot of pressure to be UFC 300. Yeah. And you might be, I could do it. I don't know. I'm hoping it's 100%. I just hope they for sure got him some stem cells. And I would imagine, he's an elite UFC world championship caliber athlete. He's the world champ. He just relinquished his title.
No doubt.
I mean, he's fighting for his title, essentially, right? Because he didn't lose.
Right.
Nah, he gave it up.
He got injured. When he did, I bet he only gave it up because Yuri gave it up, too.
He did, I mean, it's basic what he said when he gave it up.
It's kind of like
That's
Warriors
honorable,
code.
right? Yeah, that's
Yuri said
but-
Yuri got
and
out of
that's-
the way. I'm going to get out of the way. I'm not going to hold up.
And that's
the
why I like
division.
them guys, because what other division would do that? What other guys? I don't think
Right.
anybody else would do that.
Well, those guys are warriors. That is a warrior division. Even Yuri, who thought the fight was prematurely stopped, he wouldn't say it inside the octagon. Like
Right, he
afterwards
was just
said
like,
it.
yeah.
I like
afterwards
that.
He said it could have continued.
I hate when guys are bitching right afterwards or they start talking about the injuries they had and everything. Shut
That
the
one
fuck
was
up.
that was a close one though. When you watch that one, you're like, ooh, you could have 1 or 2 more seconds.
I thought it was close, but I thought it was a fair stoppage
Yes,
too.
I thought fair stoppage too. Same doctor Aaron Rodgers had. Oh, okay.
All right, well,
Okay.
went to the right guy,
Well,
right?
I bet Jamal got all the good stuff. Yeah. Well, that's good then. 'Cause,
Hopefully, he gonna need it.
yeah, Aaron Rodgers was practicing quite a
It was like
quite a
5
bit.
months in already.
Yeah,
and
he was
out there throwing and shit.
He said like his strength of the leg wasn't the same, his ability to push off it wasn't the same, but he said it was getting a lot better. I just don't want Jamal to be compromised in any way in that fight. It's such a big fight.
Yeah, but like I said, man, his speed and his instincts and his vision, it's just different.
And
It's very, very
has
good.
that. He's got that boxing punching set where he throws straight. Where Pejeda's a little loopier.
Well, Pajeda does fight with his hands way low, too. And he kind of like lures guys into these slugfests because he's got such insane counter power.
His one loss, Jamal Hill's from that fucking arm lock
Triangle.
triangle
Paul Craig.
from
Yeah,
Paul
Paul
Craig.
Craig.
That could happen to anybody.
Paul Craig has one of the most dangerous guards in any fucking division.
I love it.
Period.
I love it.
Period. Full stop.
I know.
Remember he caught Ankalaev 1 second
How
to
did-
go in
yeah,
the
no.
fight?
He got
1
murdered
second
the
to
whole
go.
fight.
He catches him in a triangle.
How does he got wins over Jamal Hill and Ankalaev?
Right.
That's how good
Insane,
his guard
right? Yeah.
is. His guard is sensational. His guard is what everybody's guard should strive to be.
Exactly.
That's what I
for
love.
sure.
That's what I love, and it'll never go out of style, no matter what happens with jiu-jitsu. Like at my school, I have everybody doing the latest fucking leg
Look
locks
at
to
this.
this and that. But
This is a horrible one because he
And he
broke
pops
his arm.
Look at the arm.
too. Yeah, dislocates.
His
it.
arm is completely flopping
But he's-
around. It's
he-
already broken by
and
this point.
he's still trying to fight, though. That's the fucking.
Oh, Jamal's an animal.
Look at it. He's still not. look at this.
He's such a warrior, dude. They stopped the fight. He wasn't quitting.
He's a beast.
But
man.
his arm is fucked.
He just looks at it.
yeah,
He's
it's
fucked,
fucked.
dude.
You remember what it looked like when it was going backwards? It was horrific,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
It was horrific.
I think he's winning the fight, to be honest with you. I do, and I like Alex. I think he's gonna
Really?
win. I swear, I think he's winning. He doesn't.
Listen, I think it's a very
Dude, the
interesting
odds
fight.
are real close on it. So
It
they're
should
not-
be. I think it's a pick 'em fight.
too.
I
Me too.
could see a bunch of scenarios going both ways.
I think people underestimating Jamal.
The thing is, though, Jamal does stand with like almost like a boxing stance sometimes. I wonder how good he's going to be of getting away from the calf kick. That is such a primary weapon in Pejeda's because he's so fucking sneaky with it.
And his is the best.
And even though everybody knows that he's sneaky with it,
It's still hard to. You can't defend it. But the one thing about Jamal, he's smart though. Jamal is a very intelligent fighter. For a young guy, he's very cerebral,
Yes.
and I think he understands that might be a problem. So he should have an answer for it early.
yeah, you got to have an answer for that.
You
And
got-
it's also
yeah,
he's got all these combinations that he sets up that are based on your reaction to certain movements. And he like repeats these patterns in fights, and it's always surprising.
Yeah.
You see, like the way he's able to land those things is so surprising, and he's just got this very specific strategy. I'm going to kill that leg, and then you're fucked, and I hit really hard, and you're not going to be able to get out of the way.
Did you ever get hit with one of those calf kicks?
No.
Me neither. I'm happy I didn't.
No,
I'm happy
I've
that
had
shit was
people
out.
play it, just
did.
play kick me, and it hurts like hell.
Fuck that.
I did before they were a thing, and I think so it was my fight against Josh Neer. And
He seemed like the dude who would use a calf
yeah,
kick
right.
but I
before
don't.
everybody
But they
else.
weren't a thing. I think it was an accident, and he kicked me in the calf, and I swear I thought my leg was broke.
Wow.
I was like, I couldn't walk. I thought my leg was broke.
Now imagine Pajeda.
Yeah, I know.
Imagine
I don't know how to deal with that. Yeah.
Repeatedly.
He's
He fucked up Jan Blachowicz' shin.
Yeah.
Jan Blachowicz is literally made out of rocks.
Yeah.
That dude is made
made
out of rocks. I guarantee you, if they do some bone density, he's got some fucking Viking rock bones. That
He's a
dude,
beast.
that dude hits so goddamn hard.
Hey, but what about the BMF?
I'm interested
Max
in
and
that
Gaethje.
too.
You're not really interested in that one?
I am interested in that. You know why I'm interested in that? Because people are counting Max out.
I'm not.
I think Max might win.
Max one of my
And
favorite.
Bro,
People-
Max has had a lot of time to prepare. Justin's a 230 favorite.
Listen,
I would not take that.
Can I just say that they're basing a lot of that shit on his fight versus Dustin Poirier.
Right.
And if you hear Max
That's
talk
my
about
opinion,
it,
too.
if you hear Max talk about it, he had only 6 weeks to prepare for that thing.
Right.
And he was doing this for like 10 or so weeks. And I don't know, man. Max is an intelligent guy. I was there. We were there live when he fought Calvin Kattar.
Yeah.
And he's looking away. I'm the best boxer. And he moves his
Yeah.
head and he fucking hits it.
Yeah.
And you remember what Dana was doing? Dana was like, somebody need to stop this. Dana was like scared for Calvin
they
Kattar's
probably
life.
could have stopped it.
Well,
Yeah.
bro, he put a real beating on Calvin that
Yeah.
probably takes a long time to recover from. I mean, the amount of punches that he landed on Calvin were insane.
My thing with the Dustin and Max fight was I thought Dustin just physically bullied him around the ring. Like it looked
Dustin's
like there was
a
a strength
big
advantage
55
there,
too.
and I think that's going to be a problem. If that if my perception's right, then that would be a problem because I think Justin's stronger and more of a bully, and his leg kicks, which Max never seems to check, is I think his leg kicks could present a problem.
That could
Max
be
is
a real
better
problem
pure
because he had a
boxer.
problem with that with Volkanovski.
Yeah.
And the thing about Gaethje is Gaethje lands them in the clinch.
Yeah, he can be standing like
It's
right
insane.
next to
I
you.
know.
His-
His
Hip
distance for that.
flexibility is insane. It's insane.
This was such a beating.
This was a beating, man.
This was wild, man. This was wild live because it was during the
And
COVID
Calvin
thing.
Kattar,
Yeah,
I mean, he's a fucking dangerous dude. He's got real good boxing.
Yeah, he
And he
does.
just couldn't touch Max.
I see a single for Aljo.
Yeah.
Looking at that leg.
Yeah.
I told you, old Binky Jones tapped Cater back in the day.
Yeah,
that was his
Cater-
first loss.
Binky Jones.
Yeah, one of my guys, James Binky Jones.
One of the reasons why I'm interested in this is because I think Max is going to go into this fight with a tremendous amount of anticipation.
Yeah.
This is not a fight that you don't get real scared about. This is a fight you got to really fucking prepare. And when Max gets pushed, you see the best. He's still, what is he, 33?
He's one of my
Yeah, he's young.
favorites.
Yeah, Max
Yeah,
is
he's young.
not,
He's not an
out
old
of his
guy.
prime.
He started, he was what, 19?
We
I think?
really kind of put aside when a guy loses the title that maybe they're not as good as they used to be. But Max keeps getting better.
Not to mention his nuts. I mean, let's think about when he was going to fight Habib on 24 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Hours
Yeah.
notice or whatever
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah,
Ally
he's
Quint
one of
ended
my
up
favorite
stepping
guys,
up, but
without a doubt. One of my favorite fighters.
that's
No,
what I'm out for.
he's a beast, and he's a sweetheart of a guy.
Good
One of
guy.
the
right.
nicest
Real
guys.
good. Yeah, no doubt.
Nicest guys. And he talked openly about like why guys like Connor, why those guys gas out. Guys like Aldo. He goes like, they got too much power, man.
Yeah.
And he's like I don't have that kind of power.
Hey, did you see Roadhouse?
I did not see Roadhouse. Is it good?
I seen Roadhouse.
I've seen
I
Roadhouse.
liked
First of all,
it.
You
first
liked
for-
it?
On
I
a 1
liked-
to 10, how high were you?
Oh, well, you know. Compared to what? Like normally? Or?
Yeah.
No, it's fun. It's like an 80s type movie. It's a
Oh,
little
nice.
like silly in a way. Like you know, it's not too serious in a sense. But it's fun. I like Jake. He's likable.
Jake carried the movie.
And let me tell you, Connor, what an actor. I mean,
Yeah, he did himself.
did his fucking self.
Coked down
Dude, it's
drunk. It was
people are
fucking
people are like,
brilliant.
yo, what an actor. He's going to take the world, Hollywood by storm. He's playing himself, basically.
Right, but
much.
couldn't
I
he
mean-
play himself in a bunch of movies? I bet Guy Ritchie's on speed dial with him right
definitely
now.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Good.
I mean,
Come on, Connor.
I mean, but all he had was a lot of one-liners, so
Yeah.
it's easy to deliver
Listen
one-liners,
to me.
right?
Conor McGregor could be a movie star. Easy.
100%.
If
Yeah.
The Rock can do it, you don't think
Yeah.
Conor McGregor can
For
do it?
sure. He got the discipline to do it, yeah.
100% he
But-
could do it. And he's a character, man.
He's
look at him.
definitely
Look at
a
him.
character.
He's a fucking character, dude.
I like the part in the movie when he takes the trolley and he throws it into the. Oh no, that's a different. That happened in real life. But he's a fucking. Listen, I liked him in the movie though. He wasn't. He didn't take you out of the movie.
Yeah, I thought the movie was cool.
You know.
Well, I
So,
will
it was fun.
definitely watch it.
It's like a fun.
I thought-
it
it's
felt
I'm
good.
going to get to about 9.
It's not the
Yeah.
original.
On a 1
but
to 10, I'll get to about 9.
Yeah, get to about
that's
9.
good.
It's a
felt
bit
like-
corny, but
It felt
I
like
like a
definitely-
corny movie.
yeah, if you like corny movies and just want to be entertained,
Yeah.
like it's the
Yeah.
perfect
Bro, I
movie.
love the first
There was
Roadhouse.
no
That's
Sam
corny
Elliott.
as shit.
There was no Sam Elliott.
why
in
didn't
this
they have a
one.
Sam
I
Elliott
don't know.
character?
That disappointed me.
That's
That
true. That's
disappointed
true.
me.
Why
needed
wouldn't
that.
they have a Sam? They should get that guy from Yellowstone, that old dude with the mustache
Hell
from
yeah,
Yellowstone,
he looks
right?
like Sam
What's
Elliott.
that guy's name?
He's a real cowboy.
Yeah, that's a real cowboy.
Oh, yeah.
No, not Rip, but
The other
Rip
guy.
is
Yeah,
too
not-
tough.
The other dude, the
other-
older
the
guy,
old
looks like
guy.
Sam Elliott.
Yeah, he would be perfect. Why
I-
can't they have a Sam
You know,
Elliott?
I'm on the last season of Yellowstone.
Tell
Bro,
me, man.
Why didn't they
I
just
was
get
mad.
fucking actual Sam Elliott?
I like Yellowstone.
Yeah, right.
You watch it?
Yeah,
Why not?
come back. That would
Yeah,
have
have
been great.
Sam Elliott come. I mean, Patrick Swayze's dead, but have actual
right.
Sam Elliott come back.
Come on,
He
mijo.
was a handsome fella back then with that salt and pepper hair.
He's a real Marlboro man.
For sure, son. What a voice that guy's got. This is such a dumb movie.
It is dumb as shit. And
It's so dumb.
Cult classic.
Yeah, wait till you
so
see
dumb,
the
but
new
it's great.
one.
We were talking.
It's like the Warriors. Remember the old movie, The Warriors?
Love the
Come
Warriors.
out and play.
Yeah, my favorite was the baseball crew.
Baseball
with the fucking,
Furies.
Listen, we talked about Star Wars a little bit. Fuck Star Wars. Ever since what's that chick? The main
Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah, I love the South Park thing.
Yeah,
Put a
oh,
chicken in, make a
brilliant.
gay and
Make-
lame. That's exactly what the fuck they're doing. Cartman hit the nail on the head.
On the head.
But fuck all that shit.
That was
the
awesome.
new Star Wars. Fuck all that. And it's pre-Star Wars. Did you see Dune and Dune Part 2?
No.
I saw part
Man,
one.
you got it. Joe, did you see it?
I saw part one. I fell asleep.
You fucking idiot.
I couldn't help it.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
No, it's okay. I
Yeah,
know.
my wife loved
I'm
that.
sorry.
That was kinda
You know
mean,
what?
right?
That was
Sometimes
mean.
I'm tired.
That was mean. I
Sometimes
believe.
people get
I get
listen.
tired, man. I work all
Listen
day.
to me,
Sometimes people
Joe.
get tired.
These movies are so fucking good.
Really?
I'm
excited. I see
I'm
'em.
telling you right now, Josh Brolin's, first of all, I don't think Josh, from Goonies to that, he's never in anything bad. Josh Brolin. He's fucking awesome.
He's in that. Momoa was in it.
I like the, he could do a couple push-ups, but I like the Timothy Chalamet. Chalamet?
Yeah.
No, he is. He's in Wonka. He's good. But these movies are so, they're like so good. He did, the director, he's a French guy. He also did Blade Runner, the new Blade Runner, which is another very underrated movie. These aren't underrated. These are popular, but Blade Runner is underrated, the new one. He's fucking awesome, man. This guy, what's his name? Yeah.
Villanueva.
He's fucking phenomenal.
Sicario,
But
Arrival.
Dune 1 and Dune Part 2.
Oh, he did Arrival too.
Dune, I'll tell you.
Did you see Arrival?
Yeah, but I think I forgot about it.
Arrival's the one with the alien ship
Oh,
show
yeah,
up and they speak with
that was good. Yeah, that was good.
pictographs.
Yeah.
They speak with like
Oh,
weird.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they
It was
like
all right.
show image. It's fucking dope,
I
dude.
liked it.
Dune, the characters, the fucking. And it's so good.
Yeah, I haven't seen the second one yet.
And it's so funny. In the first one, I don't want to give it away, but the guy he fights at the end of it is a guy I had a jiu-jitsu match versus. This Babs. I swear to God.
No
I
shit.
did a
That's
drop
wild.
Sayanagi on him. Versus,
Well, that was your move back
yeah,
in the day.
man. If you put in Matt versus Babs, you see me throw the fucking guy. But he's actually great in the movie. He's great in it. He plays Jamis, part of the Freeman. The Freeman's on Arrakis, and they on this desert planets, and this big giant worms.
But such a nerd.
Another nerd guy.
Joe, you look like, when I say all this shit, you looking at me like you want to unfriend me or something. No! You're looking at me like this is a mistake.
I'm fascinated. I'm fascinated.
There he is.
This
There he
dude?
No, he's good. I went versus him in a jiu-jitsu match, and Minotauro was the
shit.
ref.
That's
Wow.
It's
Was that at Naga?
Yeah, it's Naga in 1996. If you put in Matt versus Babs, you don't have to. I don't give a fuck. It's not about me, but that guy.
Don't get the HD
stevia.
version.
Yeah.
Get the
Don't
HD
get that
version. Watch his
stevia,
throw.
and don't show that video.
But I was so happy when I seen him. Well, first of all, look at those abs. But yeah, I mean, you could forward
this
it
it?
a little bit. Yeah, you forward it a little bit. After I mount him and he gets up. This is back in the day, yo. This is like a Minotauro's the ref. But yeah, you can forward it a tiny. After I mount him and I get off mount. But yeah, look at that. This is old school. But once I get
real.
off mount and right now you can pull right after I miss the arm bar. But now this is for Paul Atreides. Sorry, if you see the movie. Ready? And
Damn, you almost had that armbar.
I did almost have that, but Henzo got happy for this because he worked on me with this fucking throw.
Yeah.
That's 2 points.
That was your
Hey, what
move.
belt was this?
This was when I was a brown belt and he was a purple. Watch one more second because I do a nice back take. You don't have to watch it now. I want Joe to see it because Joe likes jiu-jitsu. Look, this was like this is our team versus the Alliance team back in the day. And
So you almost
I said the same thing on Gomi,
nice.
but it looks cool.
Oh, yeah.
Because what happens is you go first, and it's almost like a second later for him to go, so it looks cool. Look, right?
I love
I
that
got you.
one.
All right,
I
that's one
love
of
that
my
back take.
Enough of me. I feel like
I
a
remember you
bragging.
did that
That's
against
all.
That's
Gomi.
a fun back
Yeah,
take.
he
It
did
is a
that
fun
as
back
Gomi
take.
in Abu Dhabi.
It's dramatic.
Yeah,
But
it's
so I
dramatic.
seen him at the end of the
It's
movie.
also kind of humbling.
Yeah.
Your feet are up in the air. You're like,
Yeah.
oh,
You're like,
here
oh,
we go.
it's cool.
Everybody's
Bam.
watching. Fuck.
But back to the movies, you're gonna love these movies, man. They're good. They got good characters. They're deep, and the action is fucking good. I mean, yeah,
I believe you.
it's good. Give it a chance. Even some of
But I don't believe Timothy Chalamet is beating this guy in anything other than checkers.
you see,
I need you to stop
you
right
see,
there.
you see him
He
training.
needs to have some kind of superpower,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, no doubt.
Okay,
The,
I'm not buying none of what I was just saying.
You know how in Star Wars, like the Force and all that stuff, Dune by Frank Herbert. Stop looking at me, John Rallo. John Rallo's like, I want to throw you in a locker. Shut up, Rallo. Shit's not happening. That's fucking not happening. So listen. So these books came out in the 70s, and George Lucas he took a lot from this. They used something called the voice, that they control people instead of the Force and shit like that.
Right.
But very cool. Josh Brolin for the win.
I gotta be honest. I like the Force a lot more than the voice.
Yeah.
The
Well,
voice
you're
of
thinking of the voice
May
with
the
that
voice
singing.
be
Yeah.
with you.
Joe,
Yeah,
you
no
don't seem
way.
you don't seem like a movie
Force.
guy.
I like a few movies.
But you seem like the type of guy that like to be outside
Yeah.
and hunting
Well, I
and
like to
catching
just-
shit with your hands. Like a good old white boy just been out there. "Argh."
I like doing things.
Yeah.
If you spend too much time watching movies, it's like time you can't be actually doing actual things. It should. I should think of it as a reward. If I'm gonna watch a movie, it's like I busted my ass all week.
Right.
I could watch a movie.
I had fucking, to kill boredom. Like when my family went to Texas recently, Dallas, to go visit my sister-in-law, and I was by myself. And when you have, you know the deal, Joe, when you have 3 kids and a wife, and you got a routine, it's different when there's nobody home and shit. So I'm like, I'm just sitting there. There's only so much VR you can play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I go to the movies by yourself. And when you go to the movies by yourself in Long Island, it feels different than the city. In the
you
city,
feel
I
like
do
a
that-
pervert.
Yeah, you feel like a little.
It's like some fucking
feel like
creeper
fucking
rubbing his
people,
dick
yeah.
in the middle of a Goonies movie.
So I'm in there by myself
Watching
Dune.
Frozen. What the
I'm watching.
Let it go. Let it go.
Disney movies suck, man. But I watched the fucking thing twice.
Wow.
Dune twice by
And they're
yourself?
like 3-hour movies. Don't say I don't have a life. I have a nice life.
That's
But
incredible.
It's not, listen, you know what I could do? I could be out getting in trouble.
Yeah,
My
it's
VR,
true.
my
I would rather
nerdiness.
that.
No bar fights.
Yeah.
Yeah, just VR.
Right.
You're much better off doing what you're doing.
No,
Yeah.
I could have went another route. My wife really, and let me tell you, I didn't tell you this last time, Joe, and he knows. My wife, at 40 years old, had an MMA fight.
I saw it.
She
saw it
she
online.
won. It was
Dude.
fucking phenomenal, dude.
It's crazy. I was like, what is
Long-
Matt Serra
Longo
doing in
could
his
not-
house?
Right.
I know, right?
And if you
It's
know
funny
her,
that,
she's
like,
such
at
a girly
later
girl.
age, as a mother, husband of a guy who was a world champion, decides to just start fighting.
Right.
Fuck it,
She-
let's go.
But she never threw a punch when I got when I won the title. She never threw a punch.
Yeah.
She was like Adrian.
I
she was
said
like,
it's like the
she'd bring me my
opposite of her
gnocchi. She's nothing.
personality, man.
It wasn't. It's
pretty
and then
crazy.
she'd do the kickboxing between each daughter to lose weight. And then she took a kickboxing match on the Lou Neglia, our buddy, who I used to
Yeah,
fight
he was
under,
awesome.
you know.
Yep.
And then she'd become 3-0. This is my wife's fight. Look at this. This is me and her before.
Is that you with the blue shirt?
You're a son of a bitch. That used to be, that was. That's the old me. Oh, shit. You know what? Before gluten free, that was it.
Right.
That's when Dana used to say, "Oh, looks like you ate Matt Serra." You fuck. But yeah, that was me. But I was so proud of her, man, because
That's
in front
amazing.
she got out of the cage. Longo's the one who greeted her at the fucking thing. Because I mean, look, she's fighting a purple belt from Virginia here, and again, like she never did any kind of sports in high school. I mean, if you see her
crazy.
standing up, like she's like doing a fucking clinic, man. She snaps down, she takes the back, and you know she's a blue belt. She fought a purple belt. There was always that chance of the girl, you know, doing something, and you
Right.
never know how these things go. So she's one and done. I'm happy she's done with it. She did it.
That's awesome.
It's nice for my daughters to see.
Yeah.
And now I'm saving myself from all the shit I said earlier about the fucking girls with the fucking Star Wars. No, I'm only kidding. No, my wife. No, I'm just really proud of her. It was really nice. It was
That's
cool.
amazing.
It was cool.
It's what a crazy aspiration at that age, just decide, fuck it.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
But I saw
throw
like clips
hands.
of like your daughter helping her train, and I mean,
Wow.
what a cool like
Hell yeah.
environment
That's
to
what I
be
tell
in.
him.
Yeah.
Like the whole setup with the school and all. Like
Yeah.
he's like his family's part of it now, and it happened naturally,
Organically.
Yeah, he didn't like drag them in and say, "Oh, do this." I mean, his girls were dancing and shit.
Yeah, my oldest just left dance to like pursue it full time, and now she's got like a jiu-jitsu next month at the same place where my wife fought. It's cool, and she's on the Lou Neglia having an event.
Nice.
It's cool. And again, you can't. What I found with having a kid is you can't make them love it, but you can make them hate it. Like I never tried to be like.
Yeah.
I used to always just play with them, and but now they're living at the school. It's so cool. It's so fucking
That's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah, family business, you know. Dean, have any new kids lately? Dean, what are you up to, you pimp? Sorry, Dean.
No kids for me. I got one.
Yeah, he's doing good though.
Yeah,
your boy.
yeah. College kid. Shout out Ethan.
So what are the other interesting fights on 300?
There's
Pull
So you
that
got
shit
the
up. Where is it?
BMF. You got the BMF fight. You got
Kayla and
Zhang Wei
Holly.
Li versus Yan Xiaonan. That should be what? Zhang Wei Li is a monster.
Yeah, I think
Yo,
she's too
every
much.
time I'm at the PI, she's always there. She's never not training when I'm there.
This is the dark horse. Oliveira and Saryukian.
Yeah.
Now, what do you?
That's
Let's
what
talk
a
about
fight.
that. What do you think about that?
That Saryukian dude is a dangerous motherfucker, but so
I
is
know.
Oliveira. Oliveira is the wildest turnaround of any fighter of all time. At one point in time, he would like fall short a lot. Like
Get taps
submit
the
a few
strikes
guys.
to Paul
Yeah.
Felder,
Yeah.
and then comes back and just knocks everybody out.
and just annihilates everyone, and like has no fear. It's like a different human being was like reborn inside of his body.
Because he was not known for it, but he was known to be able to break.
Yeah.
And so everybody's like, if that's in him, it stays in him. It hasn't been in him for a while.
No,
You
dude,
know what
he's
I mean?
been smashing everybody.
But
I mean, he
what-
smashed Gaethje. He smashed. Did he fight Gaethje? Yes.
Yeah.
He beat Gaethje. He beat. Who else did he beat?
You mean Chandler?
Chandler. Look, all that Chandler one was crazy too because he got hurt real bad in the
Yeah, he
first
got
round.
dropped.
Yeah.
It's just also the power that he has is
Yeah.
very unusual. He loses to Makhachev. That's right. He beat Poirier. I mean, come on, son.
Gaethje
I fell
champion.
for
Beat Chandler, Poirier, and Gaethje in a row. I mean, that's wild.
I fell for Beneil on that fight, man, because Beneil was doing so like Beneil wasn't afraid to face him down there. A lot of guys are afraid to go down there with him to the floor.
Yeah.
And you know, rightfully so, because I just watched recently his fight with Kevin Lee again.
yeah.
And Kevin Lee thought he'd be okay down there, and fuck, man, you're fighting off one. You're fighting to get out of an arm. He's on your neck. You
Yeah.
out of the neck. He's on your leg.
That was the one when Kevin didn't realize he went out.
oh,
Right.
yeah.
And he tapped. He didn't realize
Yeah,
he
he
tapped.
went- yeah.
I'm feeling. I think. I think that Armin's going to take him. I think he will take him down, and I wonder how that's going to go.
That's what I'm waiting to see.
Very interesting fight.
If Charles is able to get on top of him, like Gamrot was able to control
Right.
him on the ground, and
But
you
then
can't
look what he
leave
just
Charles
did to
on you like
Dariush.
that. Yeah.
Look what
well,
Armin just did to
Well, I think
Benish.
didn't
Beneil.
Charles kind of whacked Beneil too in the
He
first
did
round.
too. Yeah, he did too. Yeah,
Bo's
that's
wrestling.
an interesting fight. Isn't it crazy that you got Bo Nickel, who's only had how many MMA fights,
4, 5.
maybe.
and he's on the main card.
I mean,
you know
here's
why.
my thing with him, man. Like, I think he's going to be great. I think he's going to be a great fighter.
For
but
sure.
I don't like how he talks about already accomplished fighters who've been through it.
What does he say?
Like, I mean, he's always talking about, oh, me and Kamzat will be an easy fight and this, that, and the third. I'm like, yo, dude, like, you got 4 fights and you got help with those fights.
And we haven't
you know
seen
what I'm
you
saying?
get stuck on your feet.
I
yet.
mean, but the thing is, like, even his opponents, like, you know, Jamie Pickett, like, even Cody Brunch is known to fold in fights. Like, he's fighting guys that are folding.
Yeah, well, maybe they see a future champion and they're
Well,
kind
I
of
get
building
it.
him the right
I
way.
get it, but what
I
I'm
think
saying
they're
is,
trying to bring him along.
but I mean, you could bring him along, but don't, if you in that position, don't talk about guys that had to go
I
through
hear
it.
you.
Yeah.
I hear you.
but isn't it interesting that some fighters they decide to bring along?
Yeah.
And
This is
others
the-
are victims of their
Like,
success.
look what's on the undercard. Yuri Look
Holly
at
Holm.
look at Calvin. Look at this. This is the undercard. Prohaska versus Rakic.
That's wild as it is.
Wild fight. Calvin Cater and Aljo. Holly Holm and Kayla Harrison.
Let's talk about that. What do you think
yeah.
of that?
I don't know. Can she make the weight?
I like Holly personally.
What was she fighting at?
155.
Yeah, no. There's no way she doesn't make the way. She's a complete professional, but how she performs
Right.
is going to be tough.
I just think
Diego
like,
Lopez,
I mean,
bro. That
dude,
Yo, that dude is a
killer.
Yeah.
He's
a
a
savage.
killer. That's a future world champion.
No doubt
caliber
about that.
fighter.
No
He's
doubt
a
about that.
straight up killer.
Sadiq, he's fought for me back
Super
in the day on
Sadiq's
Shogun.
excellent. That's a good fight. Jalen Turner and Hanato
That's another- I
Moicano.
think
That's
that's
a
a
good-
good
Look
another
at
good
all
fight.
of these other fights that aren't on the main card.
Jim Miller. Let's hear
and
Jim
Garbrandt.
Miller.
Jim Miller,
on UFC
animal,
300.
right?
Davison Figueiredo with Cody Garbrandt. That opens up the fights.
That's crazy to
That
think
is
about,
the
right? That's
craziest
card
the
of
first
all
fight
time.
on the prelims.
That is the craziest card of all time in
No
human
doubt.
history.
I was shocked when I saw that was the first prelim
This
fight.
fucking card is bananas, man. Scroll up a little bit more, Jamie. To the,
Bless
the
you.
main,
Yeah.
the prelim, just the bottom of it. So.
I mean, that is wild, dude. That is a wild undercard. Woo!
Yeah, that Turner and Moicano. is gonna be a
How do
good
you
one.
think? Do you think Holly's going to be able to deal with that grappling and the physical strength? Like Kayla,
if
like
any-
Kayla is a monster.
I mean, like, we already saw her do it with Ronda. Not
Word.
that she's as big. I think Ronda's a better grappler than Kayla on the ground, transition into submissions and things. Like, I just watched Kayla fight Aspen Ladd and look like dog shit, personally, at the, one of my guys on the PFL card, and she struggled. She got swept against that girl and stuff. So I don't think Holly can grapple with her for sure, But I don't think Holly's going to be so easy to take down because she requires the clinch to get her down. And Holly's a big, strong chick. I mean, I know she's 42 now, so maybe the age becomes a factor. But if she can just keep range, she's going to win on her feet. So, I mean, I have to see Kayla take her down. I just don't think it's going to be so easy.
And if Holly doesn't feel a threat on her feet, Holly might start lighting her up.
You know what I mean?
I seen Kayla fight. I don't know who the girl was, but I don't think she
The
didn't
Brazilian
look
girl shut her down.
That's
too.
what I'm saying. A Brazilian. That's who it was.
Are
She
you
didn't do
seeing
shit with
her?
her on the floor. She didn't do shit with her.
Yeah.
And right here, she's fighting a soccer mom.
Right, and if
Who is this
you
thing?
back up before that, like, and you
Oh,
look
that's
at
Aspen Ladd. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Aspen Ladd. I didn't know. It was, I'm sorry, I didn't know.
But
it was
if you
Aspen
look
Ladd.
at like the way she's throwing punches on her feet,
she's gonna stick her German shepherds on me.
it's
Yeah, it's not good.
it's not. She's not a striker, right? So she wants this, but in these grappling exchanges, she's going to be a fucking handful.
Well, this is why. I mean, this is where
But we don't know how to wait. It's going to affect her.
Well, if she did it right, it might actually help. You know, probably help her gas tank tremendously.
Like in this fight, she never put her in danger. Never put her in danger.
It really just depends on how much muscle she loses, you know, and how much strength training she continues to do. Like, you don't get that big without a lot of strength training.
You know, Holly's got a lot of experience.
I mean, a lot of it is, of course, judo, right?
She's got
A lot
bigger
of the
arms,
throwing around.
bigger arms
and
than Rallo.
She's a tank. But that comes at a requirement.
Yeah.
There's a lot of oxygen gets sucked up by those. That's what's interesting when you watch
thing's
guys, they
gonna
get
be tougher
older and they
to
get
make
more
that weight.
economical, like Yoel. Got way more economical about how and when to move, but put guys to sleep because they forgot that he could just explode on
Right,
you at any
right,
moment.
at
Like
any
the
moment, yeah.
Weidman,
Right.
the flying knee.
Right.
Bro, he would just jump on dudes, and you didn't expect it coming. It's like, you know.
Because
So
he would
happy.
chill and just sit back, sit back, and then.
so relaxed.
That's not even that's
you.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
you.
Bro.
That's funny. They really, not to bring that up, but they really fucked Tim Kennedy back in the day for that.
Oh, they did. Fuck
that
Tim
was
Kennedy won that. That was
crazy.
fucked up.
That was crazy.
That was fucked up.
That was
Twice.
crazy.
Yeah.
There was like an extra, how many seconds?
My man was on that.
39
yeah.
seconds. Some
He stayed on that stool.
Stayed
All
on
I
that
know
stool.
is for like a whole
Bro,
round.
Tim had him. Tim had him.
That's a. That's
And
a
then
rough
there's
one
the
to deal
mental
with.
break that comes from thinking that you won because the guy's not getting off the stool, and then you got to fight again.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then Yoel caught him. And the thing about Yoel is he can catch anybody.
Yeah, definitely.
He can catch anybody. Remember when he caught Machida? Whoosh. The Machida knockout was
Oh, yeah.
terrifying.
Built
Yeah.
like a superhero.
Bro, it's like everybody else is a child. People
Yeah,
just
when he
go
gets going.
flying. Yeah, everybody else is like a child. Is this the end of the fight?
No,
Yeah.
well, I want to see when Tim was winning.
This
Like,
is-
come on,
this is
man.
it,
This is some
this is it.
bullshit.
Which was
So this is it
Look
right
at
here.
Yeah.
So Tim Connect,
Dude,
look,
come
he's
on,
got him
man.
hurt there. Boom, he's got him hurt bad. And then the bell rings. So he goes back. I mean, Yoel's on the verge of going out. Like,
Yeah,
look, he goes
he
back,
sure
and
where
but
he
they
is right
gave
there.
him all this extra time.
And
Right?
The round was supposed to start. He's still sitting on the stool.
What is Big John doing?
They covered him with like water or ice, and they have too much Vaseline on his face. There's a bunch of different things, and he just laid there. But then he eventually caught
Yeah,
Tim.
that's rough, man.
Oh,
Man,
That's some bullshit.
well, it sucks. That's for sure. It sucks for Tim because, in all fairness, I think when the bell starts, if you're not willing or able to get up, and that
should be
your-
it. Yeah, that
that's
should
done.
be it. Yeah, no
Yeah.
doubt about that.
If you're not able to answer the bell, but I think there was something else going on. Like he was covered in something. They had to wipe him off. There was like some
And there was
shenanigans.
ice on the ground too.
I think they did all that shit on purpose.
On purpose.
All that shit on purpose.
Buying
That's
time,
old school
buying time.
shit. Angelo did that. Angelo Dundee did that with Muhammad Ali back when he was Cassius Clay. And he fought this dude in London. No, he fought this, I don't know if it was in London. It was Henry Cooper. Henry Cooper was this badass British dude who had a nasty left hook. And he caught Cassius Clay with a perfect left hook. Just bank, boom, dropped him. And it was at the end of the round. And they cut his gloves in between rounds. And they had to give
Had
him
to
new
replace
gloves.
a new
They gave him
glove.
plenty of time. So this was
Oh,
after
man.
the fight.
Yeah.
They're yelling at each other. Well, Tim was yelling at him.
What the?
That's good.
If you can't get off the stool, that's the end of the fight. You don't stand there for another minute. You're not fighting.
Laborio is such a nice guy too.
He's right, though. He's right.
He's 100% right.
He's right, but I think, like I said, I think there's a bunch of shenanigans that were involved. I think there's too much Vaseline on him. I think there was water all over him. But there's a bunch of shit where they're like, They did a bunch of things to make sure that the round got extended.
How is the
Dirty business.
speaking of dirty business? How's the now that you saw it is gone? How's this new testing thing?
Well, Walt Harris just got popped, right?
Oh,
Yeah, 4 years,
he
man.
got 4 years.
That's a death
Career
sentence right
ending.
there. Yeah,
At
for
40.
sure.
Yeah, you're done.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
Walt's
done,
already
man.
40. Yeah, that's it. And he got popped. They allegedly, I should say, from what the report was that I read on one of the websites. It was like 3 different things, 3 different times. Yeah, when you're 40, shit doesn't work so good. On the
Right,
natch.
you kind of need it.
Yeah, on the natch.
Giving it a
Yeah,
shot.
so good. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like, we know this stuff really works, but you're not allowed to use it. 48-month sanction for 2 separate violations of the UFC anti-doping policy. First tested positive. What is that? Tell me what that is. No, Rallo. Rallo knows what it is.
Where is it?
Draw standalone. What is that?
Fuck all you guys.
I just think you're good at those words. Metabolite 3A, hydroxy 2A, methyl 5A, androstan 17 on, and testosterone of exogenous origin in samples collected on June 24, 2023, July 12, 2023. Harris was notified of the first adverse finding on July 11th of 2020. So he was so they told him that he got popped the first time, and then he tested positive the next day. Yeah. Subsequently, after he was notified, adverse finding, he provided urine and blood samples on August 6, 2023. Urine sample tested positive for the presence of anastrozolone, a prohibited substance that was not present in any of the previous samples, as well as drostanolone and its metabolite. His blood samples tested positive for the presence of exogenous testosterone, which based on its values was determined as a new administration since the notification of his first adverse findings on July 11th. So he must have taken the test that day. Wow.
4 years, that's a life sentence.
And how old is he now?
40.
He was supposed to fight like 4 days after that.
That's kind of, it seems kind of crazy that he would just take all that stuff knowing that they were going to catch him.
Have you ever asked Nowitzki why they made BPC 157 illegal? It's not a performance enhancer.
Because some
Sounds like a droid.
state regulators, athletic commissions, they have it illegal.
All right.
So if the UFC allows something that the athletic commissions don't
Still
allow,
gonna pop
yeah,
for
it
it.
really should be allowed by the athletic commissions.
100%.
It's all it's doing is helping people heal from injuries.
So it's
That's
more
all
that
it
the
is?
So it's
Yeah,
that the
it's-
states are
And it's a naturally occurring compound in the human body.
it's an amino acid.
Yeah, so it's something that should be legal, and I think the FDA is trying to stop its use now too, which is
Of course,
crazy.
anything that works.
Yeah, right.
Well,
yeah.
listen, you fuckheads, just sell it to us. Just fucking
Yeah, right,
sell
yeah.
it. Don't be stupid. There's a lot of money to be made. I'll help you. Just fucking make it legal and sell it. It's good. It's really good for injuries. Really good for injuries, man.
1,000%.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff like that should be legal. The testosterone one, those boys went wild, and that they fucked it up for everybody. The TRT Vitor era.
Oh, yeah.
those boys went
TRT
wild.
tour, as they used to call
Those
them.
boys went wild.
TV through.
When
It's
you
true,
can
though.
just take testosterone replacement, everybody's like, "Oh, I definitely have low testosterone. Hook it up."
Hold on. Eric Silva, he
it's
was
not
another
fair.
one that really noticeably changed.
Oh,
you
a
know.
lot of dudes did. Bro, we had guys that were 25 years old that were signing up for testosterone use exemptions.
That's gonna fuck them up when they're older, though. No?
100%. But that was
Yeah.
the thing. A lot of those guys were already fucked up because they
Yeah.
did juice. So if you're a young guy and you do like a bunch of cycles of juice and you get Gigantor, that is going to jack up your system. It takes a long time to recover.
Damn.
Yeah, so there's dudes that are like 25 years old that have wrecked their endocrine system, and they probably can't have kids.
Really?
Yeah. They have low sperm count. Yeah, it can fuck you up. When you see these social media kids that are like 18, 19 years old, and then all of a sudden when they're 22, they've gained 80 pounds of muscle, and they have zits all over their back, and they're fucking huge, and they're getting all this attention because they're massive. And there's quite a few of these kids. They're going to ruin their body. They're going to ruin their
for
endocrine
sure.
system. You're shocking your system at a very, very young age.
When you're on TRT, it's like fucking birth control for men. I haven't pulled out in years, son. I could have a kid. When I want to have a kid, I don't know if it's because I go commando forever, I'd have a kid. Like, my wife, I want to get pregnant. My guy, it worked. So I know we were good to go, but ever since I'm on TRT,
Isn't it funny because the other idea for a male birth control is the opposite. There's a male birth control pill that came out that radically lowers testosterone levels.
Fuck that.
But how many?
Hold on, why would you take
How
that?
many?
Yeah, so good fuck your life up.
How
Cups
many
for sure.
dominant women who have cuck men are going to force them to take that
Slipping
stuff?
that shit in their
No,
oatmeal.
force them.
Oh my
them.
God.
Force them to take it. Force
None
them.
of that.
Nah,
Yeah, why would anybody take that?
because they don't want that as the wife. They want the alpha.
Yeah, but they want to do that to the guy. Some
Oh, for
women
control?
like doing that. They like doing that.
To curb them?
Yeah, they'll turn you trans. They'll do whatever they want to you. Yeah. They'll drain your bank account, leave you broken. Bye.
Turn you trans.
Screw that.
Yeah, they'll make you. It's just there's certain
It's
people.
like your Kardashian skit.
Yeah, you gotta wonder, man. Trying to be like a young kid in this day and age with social media, trying to be an 18, 19-year-old kid trying to fan your way through life, seeing these juiced up, gigantic dudes getting attention and girls with lip fillers at 18 years old, and everybody's got a Ferrari. How'd
It's
you get a
hard, I think it's
Ferrari?
hard. It's harder for them than it was for us, right? Because of social media.
Way harder.
think.
It's way harder because there's so much chaos out there. Like the guy getting shot in the dick. You see things all the time that was really hard to see when we were kids.
Because I only knew motherfuckers in my neighborhood.
Right.
They
That
got
was
shot
it.
in the dick?
No, just. No, I'm talking about just in general.
In general.
Like, you only hung out with people in your neighborhood.
Right.
That was it.
And if you saw someone on TV that was like in a MTV music video or something like that, okay. But that's not even real world.
Right.
That's not the real world.
Right.
But if it's like some guy you know from your school now has 1 million followers on TikTok, like what?
Yeah.
I
You
think
made
as-
$100,000. What the fuck are you
Yeah,
talking about?
right.
How? What are you doing?
I don't know. I don't know, man. Maybe because I got my kids homeschooled ever since the pandemic because we didn't want them wearing masks and all that shit. My wife's lucky enough that, we're lucky enough she gets to be a stay-at-home mom and whatnot. I got ADD. What were we?
Kids
Shooting
having
people
it
in
rough.
dicks. People
wait.
being able to see things that they never could
And your
see
kids
when
are
we were
homeschooled?
kids.
Kids are homeschooled.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this is what. Sorry, I'm back. It was the Zin's kicking in. It was, we keep them close. Like nowadays, if they go to school all day, one, what the fuck are they telling these kids is weird enough. And my friend's kid came home the other day. He's like, oh man, he's 10 years old. He's like, oh dad, so when I grow up, I could be a boy or a girl. Or, it's fucking. And my buddy's like a religious guy. He's like, fuck. The guy moved to South Carolina. He got the fuck out of Long Island. But so I don't know where it is in different school systems. But I didn't like stuff like that. It's not like when we were kids
That
at school.
stuff is so weird.
Yeah, man.
It's fucking
It's
strange.
but it just shows you that whatever is socially popular, people will gravitate to, and that people will change their behavior based on what gets them more attention.
That's why I'm saying like.
Because some
maybe
of them
it's-
are definitely trans.
Keep-
Let's be.
Yeah.
That shit's existed since the beginning of time. Men who feel like they were born in a woman's
Right.
body. But some of them are getting sucked into a social
The
contagion.
majority of
horrible.
them.
They think it's cool to be bi, or it's
Yeah.
what are you? I'm dude. It's just fucking weird. And they
If
want
you
to
want
fit in
street
with the
cred,
crowd.
you got to suck a dick. Whether it's a transgender dick or a regular dick, you got to experiment, suck a dick if you want some street cred.
No, I don't want no street cred. Yeah, no
around
street cred for me. Yeah.
That's what I think. Today, they've gone to places where 50% of the kids identify as LGBTQ.
I mean, that's silly.
But as a-
50%.
Really?
Yeah,
50%?
50%.
That's a joke.
But don't you think as
I
a
mean,
Identify
if they're
as
not being
something.
indoctrinated, then this never happened.
Well, it's just fascinating
shit
that it's
didn't happen by
it's
accident.
fascinating that it's working. That's what's fascinating. And when you look at the people, like, look, if you're going to pay someone $35,000 a year to take care of your kids, they're not going to be good people that are like dominant in their field and really on the ball. You're going to get wacky people teaching
Right.
kids, and a lot of these people that are teaching kids in public schools that you see making these TikTok videos. They're wacky people that just happen to be in the position where they're running a school.
As a parent, though, I think you should just keep them close and just talk to them every day.
Yeah,
like, I
you
talk to them
definitely
true,
need to
yeah.
talk to them, but they're gonna have to talk to other people too.
Yeah.
And in that, there's something about like running into really cuckoo people when you're young that's probably good for you, just so you know that they exist. The problem is if they have too much influence over your kid, and your kid starts believing things that they're saying, and they indoctrinate you into some weird way of thinking that maybe you don't align with in your home, and you don't want your child being raised that way, which is your prerogative, like as a person. But also the kids like should be exposed to a lot of weird shit. It's like it's good for them to see kooky people.
I think that's
they
where
can
me and
just
Matt
go,
have a benefit because we're the kooky people that our kids see.
Yeah, we all are, right? There's no way to avoid that.
But I don't ever
If
remember.
you're interested in what we're interested in.
Yeah.
It's true, right?
I always preface things when people ask me my opinions. I'm like, listen, I'm a dirty comedian and a cage fighting commentator. So with that said, this is my dumbass perspective. True. But understand who the fuck you're talking to. Right? Loosely educated at best.
Think about that. Dirty comedian and you commentate fights.
Yeah.
That's a perspective to.
Yeah, that's a person of questionable judgment.
Yeah.
It's true.
Highly unnormal.
Communication's everything, though. I don't remember my parents talking to me. I remember finding my kid's 15 now. Dude, when I was 15, I'm sleeping over Jimmy's house. I'd be walking the fucking streets, fighting and doing. I'm 15. I can't think of it. My kid. I never not know where she is. Like it's a different.
I think it was a different time, Matt, and I think their parents raised them in a different way. Like it takes a while to like understand why your parents raised you the way they raised you, but it's because the way they were raised and the way that people look. My grandparents were straight up immigrants from Italy and from Ireland. They're all people from the boat, and those were wild people. Those people that took a chance and got on that fucking boat and made it across the ocean to come. A bunch of wild people, and they didn't have a whole lot of time for parenting.
Yeah.
You know, and then their kids grew up and had kids, and then their kids had kids. And it's like it takes a while for everybody to settle down. I think we have way more information today than ever before, which is probably good for kids. It's good to be aware of all the different types of humans and all the different possibilities of good and bad things that can happen in the world, but also it's got to be overwhelming, man. It's got to be overwhelming to be a kid and to think you got to worry about climate change and Ukraine and Russia and fucking Mexicans. It's just every day it's something
that's
new.
the thing. The phone puts it in their face all day, every day.
Every day it's something new.
We didn't have any of that shit.
Biden falling down a flight of stairs, Trump calling somebody a pussy.
Yeah.
It's every day. It's like, this is
Always,
crazy.
yeah, life is fun now.
It is definitely fun if you're an adult. If you're an adult and you're not being affected negatively by it.
Well, because we, like you said, we come up from a different generation where we didn't grow up doing that.
Right.
So we can live without it.
We're also, all of us are in wild businesses.
Yeah.
This is a wild business. You're in the business of people beating the shit out of each other. You know, this is a wild business. It's a wild business.
It's funny that it is where it is now. Like I remember coming up, we were talking about before being OGs. Like I remember each fight thinking, all right, this might be the last one, and it's gonna be done. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So now it's just such a mainstream thing. It's crazy.
I remember very clearly Eddie Bravo and I were having a conversation, and it's almost like we manifested this. We said, dude, we know MMA is awesome. Wouldn't it be crazy if just some fucking billionaire dudes who were fans of the sport just dumped a bunch of money in it just to show everybody, and then it would just catch on. Yeah. And I was like, if somebody just came along, that would work, man. That's the only way it would work. Somebody would have to lose tons and tons of money just to get it out there. And that's what they did. It's literally like it was manifested.
Lorenzo and Frank Fertitta, it's amazing. And they just really loved it. Like,
they
really
loved it. They trained. They were tough guys. They loved it.
They lost like 50, 60 million
they
before
were
they
down,
made money. That's how much they loved it.
They were down more than 40 million when the first Ultimate Fighter came around. And they funded that whole thing.
That.
They funded the whole thing. They just rolled the dice and came up double six.
For real?
Wow. Yeah, when you think about like the chain of events that had to happen,
that made it.
Like the Fertittas, then the Forrest fight, and then just everything that happened.
And you have to have a guy like Dana. You have to have a complete maniac running the show. You have to have a guy like
people
that.
don't understand how much of a maniac he is.
Yeah,
like in psycho in terms of like his work ethic.
Oh, he's a maniac.
I mean, that's pretty obvious.
The guy works constantly. Yeah. He loves it. He loves setting fights up. We'll talk at 2:00 in the morning for like hours, just about matchups and shit.
Did you see the other day on the podcast when the girls, the lady,
yes,
she's interviewing him, right? And she's like, tell me, what does Joe Rogan think of whatever it was? And he's like, what does Joe Rogan think? She goes, Dana White. He goes, wait, you think I'm Joe Rogan? He goes, I came here to do this podcast. You know, that's UFC events, like the weeks of the events, or when I'm doing a looking for a fight. You've been there.
Oh,
Hey,
man.
can I have a picture of this and that? I'm like, oh, well, all right, sure, you know. And then, thanks a lot, Mr. White, or thanks a lot, or thanks a lot, Joe Rogan.
They always think he's either Joe or Dana.
People call me Dana. I've been called Dana before. Some dude, oh, Dana. I go, no, I'm the other dude.
Yeah.
No, I'm Joe.
Right? What the hell is this?
That's how
It
you know
happens all the time. But I think she just made a mental
Are
flub.
they trying to say all bald white guys look alike?
When
Is
you're
that
doing a
what's going on?
podcast and you're interviewing someone, especially if you haven't done a lot of them, and it's like a high profile thing, you're doing Dana White, you're always thinking of what to say. Even the question is like, what's your dream? You know, like that's a
Right.
crazy question. It's just that's like, I don't know what to ask you. Someone is, what's
right,
your
yeah.
dream? So she's probably floundering a little bit there and doesn't know what to say. It's fucking weird having a conversation with someone live.
But I think he handled it the right way, right? By making fun of it.
Yeah. And she handled it the right way too. She kept it in there. She didn't edit it out.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, it is funny.
It's funny. It's just a flub. I've done it all the time. It happens.
It
People fuck
wouldn't.
up.
It wouldn't have been funny if they called fucking Dean Thomas Pete Spratt or something. That would
Oh,
be
yeah,
fucking
that would-
racist. I wouldn't laugh at that shit.
Somebody called you Pete Spratt?
They called you
No,
Eve
Eve Edwards. No, they used to always do that.
Oh, just
Yeah.
for fun.
Yeah, just for fun.
Just for fun.
No,
Except
that
for the-
motherfucker
except for the
took
one
a picture
time-
with you. Thought you were Eve Edwards. Don't say that was just for fun.
Or the one time on Looking for a Fight, Khabib really thought I was Eve. He was like,
That's what
he's like, you knocked out my teammate. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, Josh Thompson. I was like, no, man, that was Eve.
That's what it was.
Isn't it wild how Khabib just said, nope, done. See ya. Bye.
Yeah, because he's
Promise my mom. I'm done.
I mean, when you're that good and your life is,
Pretty incredible, though.
Yeah.
What a legacy, right? Undefeated. Only one fight was kind of close, the Gleason Tebow fight.
Yeah.
Go back and watch that one.
I
That's like,
thought Gleason might have won that.
It was arguable.
Yeah, I
like
really
if
wanna-
they gave it to him, nobody would.
Yeah,
nobody would
yeah.
like protest.
Yeah.
It was close.
Pre-USADA. Pre-USADA.
That's
Oh,
true.
the Gleason pre-USADA? Yeah.
That is true.
My man Gleason was built like a fucking superhero.
He looked like a
Yeah.
fucking Teletubby on steroids or something.
Bro, Gleason
fucking guy.
Tebow. Oh, those Sean Shirk days, son.
Yeah.
The muscle shark.
The
Bro,
muscle shark.
Remember Shirk? Shirk was a little fucking
Oh, yeah,
demon.
there's a little fire plug.
Demon. Shirk was one of the first guys that had preposterous strength and conditioning.
Yeah.
His
Yeah.
strength and conditioning. Him and Rich Franklin. They would do
Look
these.
at- look at
strict-
Steve.
Look at Gleason,
Brazilian
Jack,
He-Man.
bro. Look at
Oh.
his biceps. Jesus Christ. The thing about Gleason that always used to freak me out was the fact that he could make 155.
I know.
I was like, how? Because I would stand next to him. I'm like, how are you? You're so much bigger than me. How the fuck are you 155? It doesn't make any sense.
And Gleason got him down in this one, didn't he?
A couple times.
Gleason, he hurt him on the feet. Quite a few. Gleason was a dangerous fighter,
Whatever
man.
happened to Gleason?
Well, you know, he got older, had a lot of wars. You know, he did.
Jesus.
Didn't Islam KO him?
Islam KO'd him. Yeah.
Islam KO'd him bad. It was a bad one. He's had a few KO losses. He's a tough dude, though.
Yeah, and he
Tough
fought
dude.
I think a few times in PFL or something.
But they're going to war. Wow. Gleason was a house, though.
Man,
Nice
the
needed
thing
body.
is, Khabib looks natural and he looks fucking.
But look, like he can't take Gleason down, which is crazy. That's how strong Gleason was.
yeah.
I mean, Khabib takes everybody down. But Khabib looks smaller then. Right?
Yeah, he does, doesn't? Yeah,
Doesn't
he
he?
does, for sure.
Physically?
No
he's
doubt about
much
it.
smaller. You look at him, and now look at him against Conor.
Yeah, it's
Let's
true.
just look at this right now. Okay, pause this. Now go to Khabib versus Conor.
Well, how old was he here? He was probably
Looks
like,
young.
Well, he's
Yeah, it's a
young,
long
one of the
time
first
ago.
fights in the UFC, but made a marked improvement in that department because he looked way stronger later in his career. Like when he fought Gaethje, he looked way stronger.
Yeah.
Way stronger.
Developed that man strength.
Yeah.
It's 6 years later too.
6 years later, that's a big.
Yeah,
thing.
look at him there.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
that's a
yeah,
come on, bro.
Yeah.
That's a different dude. Look at the difference, man.
Oh,
He's-
100%.
Go back to that picture again. Look, yeah, he's all smooth here.
Yeah.
Now go to the other one that you just showed me. Look at him, bro.
Well, that's that man strength.
Yeah, that's also I want to kill you motivation.
Yeah, it is.
Right. I mean, he got in fucking shape for Conor.
Oh yeah.
When he's standing on top of him, punching him. Let's talk now. Let's talk
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Let's talk
yeah.
now.
You know what? I was surprised Conor didn't quit at that moment because he was getting his ass whooped.
I don't think Conor's ever going to do that.
Well, Conor did say to him, it's just business or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
And then he said something like, "No, I didn't say that," but fucking,
He definitely did. Yeah.
he gets a lot of fucking.
He was probably a little rattled.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't going his way. He did win a round, but it would seem like it was a round that Khabib took off.
Yeah.
Khabib kind of coasted for a round and then got back on him again. Khabib just knew how to wear you out, man. That 1,000-yard stare that dudes would have when he'd grab a hold of them. Like Edson Barboza, that's the best one. Like Edson has look at his eyes.
Yeah,
like,
Edson
oh
or Michael Johnson, where he's one of them guys who are like, oh my god.
I was going, please tap, please. Because I was anticipating that spiral fracture that guys get when they don't tap to the Kimura.
I don't like that. Kimura's an ugly break.
It's a bad break.
Minotauro versus Frank Mir is the ugliest example of that.
Yes.
Don't be stubborn with that, man.
I saw it in a jiu-jitsu tournament.
I don't like
recently
that.
online. Some kid snapped, his arm just goes limp.
It's horrible.
It's horrible. And it happened quick too, man. The guy just turned it. He turned the corner. It just popped right in his arm. And he goes like this, backs up, and it's awful.
I had a guy the other day. Listen, people fall asleep all the time. You know what happens. Well, our goal is to, put someone to sleep or get a limb. So sometimes if the guy's a little stubborn, if an arm lock or usually it's like and they'll stop if anything. But with the choke, sometimes you don't know. So the bread cutter, the bread cutter, fucking when the arm's down like this. Yeah. I love that fucking one. It's so good. One of my black belts, Gord, he went with this other guy. Now this other guy, Syed's a strong fucking like Middle Eastern guy, and he's not in that quick tap club, and it's not good because this is the second time he went out. But this time when he goes out, I go over, like, you pick up the legs. So I go over to him, and I always usually make a joke, and because they usually come right back. So I'm like, hey, look, I'm in your bedroom. Hey, remember I slept over? I'm thinking, and he's looking at me, dude. In 30 years, I never seen one like this because I don't know how long this guy had him out. His eyes were open. He looked like a fucking zombie. He's got my wrist. He's going, I'm like, what? I go, Syed. And he's like, his eyes were like he was out, but not.
He might have been out
dude,
for a while.
Yeah. And he had my wrist. Rallo, I thought it was you fucking grabbing me. I go, hey, dude. I had knee on belly on him. I'm like, fucking, don't let go of his legs. I didn't want him to move. Right. He was fucking, it took him, it actually was starting to scare me a little bit.
How long did it take before he came back?
It felt like fucking eternity. It was a few seconds. And his eyes were just open the whole time. I'm like, dude, is this fucking, what am I dealing with here? And then it started to, but the whole time he's clenching his, he's got my wrist. And I go, dude, are you back? Did you sign a waiver? No, I didn't say that. I go, he was okay. He was all right. And then the best was, that guy Gord's a big sweetheart of a guy. He's like a half a hippie, He looks like Kung Fu Panda. He's like big. He's like, oh. And he's been calling me later. He goes, I haven't seen Syed since. Is he all right? I go, come to think of it, nobody's seen this motherfucker. I go, Sue, check up on this guy. My girl check up on him, and he came back the next day. He was fucking fine. But I was fine, like nobody's seen him. I go,
he might
wait
have been a little embarrassed.
Nah, he's a nice guy. I go, listen. Then I found out it was like the second time he went out. I go, dude, you can't. I go, this is
tap.
You got to. I go, Henzo. Because listen, it happens once in a while. Like it happened to me once. I don't know if it ever happened to you guys. You ever get put to sleep?
I never got put to sleep.
I was a purple belt in the city, and I was going with this other purple belt. I didn't even like this guy. This guy's a little prick. I'll tell you his name after. I don't want to give him any street cred, right? This guy's, he was a purple from Pennsylvania. Never liked him. I would always best him, but he was just like a dicky dude. So he was trying to fucking, and he was not bad in jiu-jitsu. So he's in my guard trying to strangle me. Amateur move, feet in the hips, flipped him over, mounted him, fell asleep. The motherfucker had it on still, So Henzo, yeah. So I'm like, what the fuck? Henzo like woke me up. He didn't want to make a scene. He goes, nah, he's okay. So then the guy went back after me. And I woke up like during it. I'm like, what the fuck? And then I realized what's going on. I fucked him up. But I remember afterwards.
Wait a minute. So they didn't stop the match?
No, it was during the whole night of rolling. It was
just a practice.
It wasn't a match. No. It was us just training on a whatever night. It was back to the Gracie Kukuk days on
Craig Kukuk days.
Craig Kukuk, yeah.
He's the guy that they had those videotapes, right?
I learned jiu-jitsu from him.
I had those tapes too.
I learned a solid mount escape from that.
He was my first instructor. I got my blue belt under Craig. Craig came to New Jersey first, and Henzo came 2 years later. And then later on, they ended up having a split, and Henzo came to me. You know the story.
Where'd that Kukuk guy go?
Idaho or something.
Yeah,
he was
I think he is in Idaho.
He was a very good instructor. He was under Horion and Hoyce, and then they disowned him for some business reasons,
How weird.
But then, like, when I seen shit like that
never happened.
Because I had like a newsletter of the Gracie newsletter as like a 17-year-old, because my father was a martial artist, and this is before Black Belt magazine days,
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, wait. So then I found out they did something at Black Belt where he was going to be in New Jersey doing 1 day a week in Manhattan at Oishi's Judo Club down in the village over there. So I go, I got to take advantage of this, you know. Like I didn't know, I knew they kicked him out, but I knew they already awarded him. So there he is, big German guy. He was a very good teacher. Like, so my foundation is
How
like,
long ago is this, Jamie?
I have no idea.
Does it say down there
I'll
like when
say
it was
this is-
uploaded?
this is probably 90
11 years
Early
ago.
90s.
This is from the 92, though.
Oh, the video's from 92?
The video was re-uploaded and remastered
Yeah, this
11
is
years
old.
ago. It could be from...
This is very
who knows
old, though.
when.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
a DVD, so it wouldn't be a video.
Oh, interesting.
And it's funny because when he started training, he didn't like the gi. He's like, oh, I don't even own a gi. He's that guy. But he was a very good teacher. He learned under Horian and Hoist. But the problem was he wasn't a very personable guy. Like he was, like you could never get too close to the guy. And him and Henzo had like a falling out business-wise. And I was I was a young kid at the time. So I remember Henzo took me out to eat afterwards. And he goes, look, one day after training, and he told me, he goes, look, now that I got my green card, I'm getting away from this motherfucker. Yeah. And he goes, if you go with him, because I was like one of the
Well,
top
that guy
students.
tried to kind of cock block his green card. back then.
It wasn't as good. And then I remember Henzo going like, if you go with him, some guys will go just because of you. Nobody likes this motherfucker. Henzo goes, if you go with him, and he goes, but I want you to come with me and this and that. I go, it wasn't even a choice. Because
Exactly.
Henzo was like family. Even though, and I'm a loyal guy, I felt like parents were breaking up a little bit, but Henzo is
Henzo's a gem.
Henzo's
Yeah, he is.
Fucking
He's a
best.
I want
gem
him to
of a
run for
person.
president.
Henzo's-
I want him to run for president. I'll
Henzo's
go
a
for
bug.
Enzo for president.
You can't have Brazilian citizens
he's a
run
gr-
for president in
yeah.
America,
That I know, but
unfortunately.
He's
still.
a great human being.
Isn't that
He's a-
kind of weird? You could live here, but you can't
100%.
run it. We just want to make sure we don't get some foreign infiltrators. It's like some old school espionage shit.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
someone takes their child across. This is going to be the next president.
Yeah.
It's like a
Yeah,
group
yeah.
out to destroy the world.
Yeah, he's the best.
No, I mean Henzo, like just he's just such a great human being. You know, he's done so much for me. So it
He's the
wasn't even
best.
like it wasn't even. a
Everybody
choice.
loves Henzo.
I don't. Yeah,
I've never met anybody who doesn't.
It's true.
And the thing about Henzo is it looks nicest fucking guy there is.
Yeah. No, he's the best.
He'll switch it in a
In-
heart,beat. On a drop of a
in
dime,
a
he'll
half a
he'll
second.
jump on somebody.
In a half a second.
In a fucking half. Hey, listen, he was in a. Really quick, he was with his son Horan, who's a sweet kid, and he told this story on my podcast, but I'll try to do it justice. They were in
He's the best.
they pulled
storyteller, too.
into a gas station, right? And he was in a little sports car that he was given to his son, Horan. And then somebody there was some guys, some street guys going, that's a chick's car, or something like that, right? And he saw like his son's face like get a little sad. So he gets out, he goes, hey, come, see the size of my vagina. Or something like that. He goes, come on, let's see. And they go, he don't got no. Henzo's a fucking nut. You know what I mean? Come on. He's
He'll always
just
get in
nuts.
some drama too.
Yeah, Henzo don't give a fuck, man. Henzo, like in my first shoot fighting match, like my first time ever fighting in a cage, it was at Big Dan. You know Big Dan, the ref.
Yeah,
he used to have shoot fighting matches.
I remember.
At
I
his
fought on
school
it.
in Elizabeth, New
It's
Jersey.
like Bama Fight Nights or something
So
that.
my first time ever as a purple belt, first time ever doing any kind of combat. I did a jiu-jitsu tournament, but I never fought before. So he came, and it was like a 3-week notice thing, but I was always in shape. So I asked Henzo, what do you do like the day of the fight? I was a little nervous, and I'm thinking the Gracie's with their diet and this and that. He goes, this is what you do. You go to GNC, you get the Ripid Fuel. Take one of those, you feel good all day. So back then, there's a Fedor back then.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, Ripid Fuel, right? Again, I took one. I'm backstage, there's stuff going on. I'm a little nervous. I took another one.
Oh my lord!
No.
Let me do one more. I don't know what this stuff is. Henzo's. So I took like
Had a
fucking 3. So
stroke.
I fought some kid from Virginia who was like a blue belt level or something. And this was with rope escapes. So I went out there fucking kind of like I am now. So I fucking like all hyped up. Boom, took him down. Bah, rear naked choke. He grabs the rope. So I get him in 2 seconds. He gets out. So I get a point, but then they started on. So I started over. I take him down again. He starts clamming up. There's no striking on the floor in the face. So it goes the distance because I'm exhausted. I got exhausted because of the fucking, my heart wouldn't stop. Afterwards, I couldn't even walk back. I'm like, dude, this fighting is exhausting. Meanwhile, it's the fucking Fedor. After the fight, Bart Val, you know who Bart Val is?
Yeah, Bart Val, yeah.
He was one of the refs. Somehow he knew Dan through the shoot fighting. Him and Henzo were supposed to fight in this
I
thing
remember.
called
Yeah,
the WE.
I
remember that,
something,
yeah.
CC or
Yeah,
something.
he punked out.
Yeah.
One and done event that was like a UFC wannabe, but Henzo fought 3 times in one night.
Right.
And that guy fought for some Hawaiian guy, and they both got injured. He got out. but he was a big. He looked like a big
Yeah,
fucking.
he gave me my first
buck
cauliflower
there.
ear.
Oh,
No
you
shit.
do?
That's the
He's
bare
got a
knuckle
nice
days.
mullet.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like Rallo with a mullet. Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't he have a crazy mustache?
Yeah, he
too?
had a crazy
So,
mustache.
Pull up Bart Vale.
Henzo was in my corner. So afterwards,
He's a big dude.
Rallo.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
so
like
so you know,
250 or so.
Henzo. So afterwards, he saw. There was like, even though we went the distance, I won because I got the choke. So the Bart Val was going like that. Henzo jumps up on the thing. Oh, like,
There he is.
Henzo thought he was going me and you. Henzo thought he was
Right.
calling Henzo. Henzo went over there to fucking go jump on him.
Really?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I mean, he was a big dude, man.
Oh, he was a massive dude.
Wooka
And
lot.
he was in the early days of
Yeah.
bare knuckle MMA.
It was like something out of Fraggle Rock or something.
And that was where Eric. So that I remember that event. That's like Eric Paulson and Matt Hume.
Yeah, that's
and,
what Eric.
James Waring.
Yeah.
Eric,
Yeah.
Eric Paulson
I think
is a
that was
very
a
good
different
fighter.
event, I think.
Very good
There's
fighter.
But I
you
mean,
know
it was
what's
the
fucked
same. It
up
was the
about
same.
that?
Yeah.
Same time frame.
Yeah.
James Waring, fucking schoolyard. He fucking wrapped his hair around his. He's a boxer.
Yeah, I remember.
And Eric Paulson's a very complete fighter. He's a very well-rounded
Yeah, yeah.
Jeet Kune Do guy.
Yeah, he cheated,
He'd fight
too.
over in Shudo. But well, I don't think they would.
was-
No, you're
it was
allowed to.
legal
No,
back then.
I mean, he tried to go through the striking side with his grappling experience, Paulson.
I don't know what does that mean.
Like they had two divisions. It was grapplers and strikers.
Oh,
Waring was in the
that's
striker
interesting.
side, and then the
I
end of
forgot
it
it.
was the guy who won the striking side fought the guy who won the grappling
Wait,
side.
that's not right though, because Henzo fought a judoka.
I mean, they were still fighting, but it was like they had rules on how long you could be on the ground, all that shit. Like I remember, he's
Really?
cool, Mr. Waring. Actually, I met him down in Florida.
Yeah, he's a
Nice guy. He's on the athletic commission.
Yeah.
Did you ever
shows you-
see when Matt Hume fought Pat Miletich?
oh, that was
Yeah,
good. That was a
yeah.
good
So
fight.
So you
was-
realize how
that was
good
a
Matt
good-
Hume was.
that was a good
Yeah.
fight.
Matt Hume was good.
He was very good.
Yeah, I remember
He was
I
very
trained with
good.
him in Japan the first time I fought Uno, and he beat the shit out of me. I was like, man, I shouldn't even be here.
Mighty Mouse says he still beats his ass.
I'm sure.
And he's
I'm
like
sure.
50.
Yeah, I'm sure.
He's got to be
Matt
older.
Hume
He's
was
got to be
good.
older than 50.
Got to
man.
be older than
Yeah,
50.
I think
I'm
so.
about to be
He's
50.
been at
Yeah,
it
he
for
might
a
be
while.
60.
Yeah, Matt Hume was good.
He was very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was always fascinated that he didn't continue to fight.
Remember, he did contenders too, where they had the grapplers, like the wrestlers.
Didn't he,
versus the
wasn't it
jiu-jitsu
Kenny
guys.
Monday? Did he
Yeah,
tap?
yeah,
Yeah.
Kenny Monday tried to go for his legs. Like
Yeah.
that. Over like
Yeah.
that.
And that was when Frank Shamrock.
Kevin Jackson?
Rock was in it.
Yeah, no.
Dan
Kevin
Henderson.
Jackson was in
in the UFC.
That was in the
right?
Oh,
UFC.
that was in UFC. Yeah,
that
yeah.
was
He healed.
Dan Henderson.
Yeah, he healed.
Was it
him.
Dan Henderson?
Yeah, you got Dan Henderson. You caught him in like an ankle lock.
Was that when Bustamante fought Erickson?
No,
Or was that a different event?
Different event.
That was a different event. That was an MMA event.
That was Mars.
The Contenders.
Yeah, Mars, yeah.
Yeah,
He fought
30-minute
Yeah.
time limit.
He fought Tom Erickson for 45 minutes. Murillo
Yeah.
Bustamante
Dude,
and
he was a
Fabio
stud.
Gagella, two some of my all-time favorite
I-
jiu-jitsu
Me
I
guys.
remember
too.
when
Yeah.
Me too.
Bustamante
I'm
tapped
with you.
Matt Lindland out twice.
I remember that. Yep.
Because he tapped him out and Big John
Dude,
stopped the fight.
I thought Bustamante beat Chuck Liddell in that fight too. I thought
Me
he
too.
outstruck him. Like I thought he won that fight.
Boy,
I
I'd have to
didn't
go
get
back and watch that again.
You know what it
Yeah.
was?
Me
Interesting.
too.
Sometimes
beast.
he was so comfortable in the back. Sometimes Chuck would do a punch and he'd go back with it. It kind of the optics were a
Yeah,
little weird,
maybe.
you know. But I think that guy. That's when what I love about those guys is that if you've seen those guys in Abu Dhabi, you've seen them in a jiu-jitsu tournament, you see them in MMA. Their jiu-jitsu transitions. That's like who did I just say earlier? The young kid. Not young kid. He's younger than me, I guess. Oh,
Here's Bustamante
Lovato
and
Jr.
Chuck.
Rafael
Yeah,
Lovato.
yeah.
Here's Bustamante and Chuck right here. And Bustamante was an 85er, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is a crazy fight if you think about it.
yeah. I remember he
How many times did Bustamante fight 205?
He was pretty. I mean, for a jiu-jitsu guy, like he was pretty well rounded, especially for that
Yeah,
time.
for
you
that
know?
time,
I mean,
he for sure he was.
None of
'Cause
none of
he
the guys
would-
would be on
yeah.
their feet.
He was awesome, real Bustamante. I mean, he
And
was-
people sleep on
look at
Chuck.
that. Look at that.
They don't,
Oh,
they don't
Chuck.
realize Chuck was a wrestler.
Yeah.
That was a good right hand by Chuck,
But that's-
though.
it's-
Chuck had the touch of death.
Don't you? That's what, like with Chuck, when he hung in there too long. Like I like when the guys, what we were just talking about.
It's unfortunate that they don't have a fucking exit strategy, you know? And then also, if you've had a bunch of wars, you're probably not thinking so good anymore.
Yep.
It's hard to muster up the mental energy to
And it's
create a
hard
new
to-
career.
It's hard to accept the fact that you ain't as good as you used to be.
Yes, very
Yeah,
hard.
they
For
don't
a lot of
accept it,
guys,
yeah.
very hard.
It's
Very
also
hard.
like when you're young, you don't think you're ever going to be old. And you're like, fuck
But
it.
isn't it kind of wild
You
that
know?
Fedor's still throwing?
Is he really?
Did he retire finally
I
in the
hope
Ryan
so.
Bader fight? We
I
got
hope
knocked
so.
out the second time.
I thought he retired, but then I saw him talking about like trying to do a boxing match with Tyson or one of those guys.
That's what, man. That dude in his prime was something different.
Fedor?
Yeah, for sure.
Man.
Oh, yeah.
We have to look at him in the context of what came before him, and there was nobody.
Yeah,
like
there was
Fedor
nothing like him
Fedor.
before him, for sure.
The fact that he could both knock you out
Or
and
went
hit
off his
submissions
back.
from everywhere,
Yeah.
off his back. I mean, when Randleman threw him, remember
Spiked him
that?
on his
Yeah,
head.
yeah.
Spiked him on his head, and his expression never changed.
His variety of just being able to do so many different things.
So
and
many different
so
things.
tough.
And his
So
personality.
Yeah.
I already
Bro,
saw on
but
the podcast.
And he
There's
was
something
and he
about
fought
that
at heavyweight
personality. It
when
was
he could have
fucking-
fought at 205 forever.
He could have fought at 85.
Yeah,
How about
probably.
that? What was he, about
Probably.
230 with that belly?
Yeah.
He always looked chubby. Very accurate, man. Holy
Bro.
fuck,
and
is he
his
accurate.
hand speed was, I mean,
Phenomenal.
pretty fucking good.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, I
Bro,
was with Jeff Munson in Russia when he fought Jeff. And man, I never seen a beating like that.
Yeah, that's
and when
two
Jeff was
guys
walking
moving
out,
at
I mean,
different
Jeff,
speeds.
yeah, he really looked like he was going to his death. I mean, it was bad.
That was Fedor when he was
Yeah.
really Fedor.
Yeah.
too. Yeah. The Fedor that fought in Pride. Remember when he walked down Crow Cop? Most of
Yeah,
that
yeah,
fight
yeah.
was
He walked
him
him. Yeah, he walked him.
beating
Yeah,
him
for
up.
sure.
Okay, Ryan Bader, he said he suffered a TKO in the first round, retiring from MMA after the bout. So he says, but that was real recent. That was February.
Yeah, a year ago.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think you could talk some of those guys. I just think they just don't like not doing it.
Yeah.
The thrill of getting it just gives them a purpose, and as they get older, it gets more and more dangerous. You get KO'd more often.
You would think Putin would make him the minister or something like he did with Karelin
Right.
and stuff. Give him a job.
yeah, the problem is when you compete that long. If I know if the weirdest feeling for me, I don't know how it was for you or any of you guys. You all competed after like the 3 month to the 6 month mark of not getting another thing coming up. It's a fucking weird feeling. It's like, shouldn't I be calling Joe Silva now and getting another fucking fight? Like, what am I?
Your purpose.
Well, yeah, it felt weird. It felt
Your
weird in the
identity.
beginning. Yeah.
For
You
a
gotta
lot of
settle
people,
in.
they just can't accept. And then if they go and do other stuff and they don't find success in that other thing, and then
Yeah.
they get it. I could have just made 30,000 for a fight. I could have done this. I could have done that.
And then you watching other dudes make all this money, and you thinking, "Damn, man, I can
Right.
still hang with them.
Right.
I still got
Right.
it."
And then you got to get a real job.
There's also the difference between someone who's absolutely obsessed at being the best in the world and someone who's thinking, I could probably fight and make money.
Yeah,
Because you're just not going to train, you're not going to focus, you're not going to have the same intensity, enthusiasm, the same everything. You're not going to be the same guy. So even if you used to be that guy when you were younger, when you were 20, if you're 27 and you're just doing it for money and you think you're still that guy that you were when you were 20, when you were obsessed with it,
No,
you're
it's
gonna
different.
get fucked up. You're going to get fucked up.
Things can go south so quickly too. Like you could be on a tear, and next thing you know, you're down 2, you're down 3. Now what do you got?
Look
You
at
got-
Volkanovski. Volkanovski, before the rematch with Islam Makhachev, is in dispute as the best pound-for-pound fighter alive, right? He almost won that fight, a very close fight. Some people thought he could have won. Some people thought Islam could have won. But either way, he went up, fought the best fighter in the 155-pound division, and got to a standstill with him. So at that point, you're looking at him, this motherfucker is one of the greatest of all time, probably the best pound-for-pound fighter alive, and then he gets KO'd in the rematch he takes with 10 days' notice, which is
Right.
crazy to
Crazy.
take a fight like that with 10 days' notice. And then he gets KO'd in the fight with Topuria. And in 2 fights over the course of, 7 months, 8 months? Everything's different.
Everything-
I mean,
Things
you
different.
think his team did him a disservice running him out there right after that was too soon after Makhachev, in my opinion. And if they let him run out there again in 3 or 4 months, I think they're really doing him a disservice because the light's been turned off twice.
Yeah.
And they got to give him his brain time.
Yeah, but
again.
is that really his team, or that's just him? You know,
I mean, I guess
you can't tell the
do
team
have the
shit.
final say.
You do have the final say, and fighters always think they can do anything. They always think they can do it.
Yeah, I
they
felt
always think
bad
they can
for
pull
him.
it off.
Because, like you said, he pretty much at that weight might have been the best guy ever.
When Manny Pacquiao got knocked out by Marquez,
They gave him a year,
yeah,
like a year off.
Freddie Roach said
did.
1 year.
That's right.
You want you to take a whole year
And that
off.
was
You're
a
not doing
horrible
anything for a
knockout,
year.
man.
It was one of the best one-punch knockouts in the
Yeah,
history
it
of the
was.
sport.
And
with
Manny
the
was
consequences,
piecing him up until that point, too.
and the consequences of the fight. This is their 3rd fight.
You got
Yeah.
hindsight's 20/20 though. I mean, he could have went in
course.
there and fucking knocked him out. I mean, what if he got that head kick?
I mean, he
that same head
100%
kick.
could have, but you're compromised.
You're not going to be able to compete against a guy like Makhachev with no camp. You're
That's
not.
a-
You're
Yeah,
not,
that was
you're not
crazy.
going to be the same guy. This is
Yeah.
my argument, like with Kamaru Usman and Hamzat. And everyone's like, Hamzat beat Kamaru. I'm like, sort
So,
of, kind of. 10 days
If it goes
notice,
5
Kamaru.
rounds, Kamaru wins.
Right. Yeah, because Kamaru was winning in the third. Also, Kamaru didn't have time to prepare.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't know. He can't trust his gas tank. So when
Fighting up a weight class.
Fighting up a weight class, but Hamzat was really legit 170 if he could make the weight. But at 170, Hamzat's the most terrifying guy on the planet.
Right.
Because he's fucking horrific. He knocks you out with one punch. He's got crazy speed.
Yeah, I was about to say his
wrestling's off the
speed is
chart.
what is underrated.
Off the charts.
Could you trust him to make the weight though?
No.
if
Can't
he's a
trust him to
champ.
do shit.
why
Can't
he's
trust him to
a
show
five.
up.
The thing about that one weight cut that he missed by 8 pounds, though, that's New York. And they stopped him from cutting the weight. You know how they do it. Like
Yeah.
Fucking New Yorkers.
it's these some athletic commissions, they intervene a little. They get it and they go, oh no, he's not gonna make it. Like, listen, they can make it. It ain't gonna look good, but they
What
can
do
make
they?
it.
How do they get their 2 cents in?
They did that with that's why Al had to fight Khabib, right? Because they didn't think Max Holloway was cut. They didn't want him cutting any more weight. Because Max was cutting the weight, and they were like, So 24 hours notice, Al steps in.
And he stepped in like a stud. Let me
stud,
say,
100%.
raging ally.
Yeah, he
quick
did
that was
well- he did
supposed-
well.
Khabib didn't
he was
take him
supposed-
down after the second round.
He was supposed to fight Paul Felder, a totally
for
different
3 rounds.
Totally different.
You know,
fight.
so-
3 rounds.
Kickboxer.
He got taken down right away. He went with him 5 rounds, and he was in there. He was in there, and that was without a camp for that. And he was
Crazy.
ready, he was fighting a 3-round. He wasn't even getting ready for 5 rounds.
Personally, that fight to me, I thought kind of exposed like Khabib a little bit. Like obviously he's undefeated and all that stuff, but what if he would ever got in there with a dude that had a skill set of like George,
Or else give-
who could strike,
but
who
also-
could defend a takedown,
And wrestle.
who
But
could
he
wrestle
did.
with him.
He did. He fought Justin Gaethje. Justin
I don't
Gaethje's a
consider-
dangerous motherfucker.
I
At
don't think his
155.
wrestling's the same. Even
No,
though
he doesn't use his wrestling.
Yeah.
Doesn't use it to attack. But he's hard to take down. Justin's very hard to take down. And Khabib dominated him in grappling exchanges. The thing about George is he's just much bigger. George is a big guy. George fought 85, beat Michael Bisping, right? I know he's not really an 85er, but George at 170 is a big, strong 170.
100%.
And it could be the same kind of deal where, like, when Izzy went up and fought Jan Blachowicz. It's like you got the 185-pound champ who's a virtuoso, but he's fighting a guy that's just a lot bigger than him.
Yeah.
He's a lot bigger. If you're not going to have the time to prepare and get your body into a position where you're in somewhat similar range in far of strength, you know, if you're in these crazy grappling exchanges,
I was
with a
about to say,
big
plus
dude,
Izzy just sucks on the ground.
he's not the best on the ground.
Yeah.
It's a fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not. You know, I mean,
Right.
which was surprising the first fight with Pereira when he gets him down. You know, crazy, and he had his back.
Yeah, I mean he could have did a lot. He could have did a lot more with
shows you
that.
Alex's
He could have did a lot
level.
more with that. Yeah.
Yeah, Alex's level on the ground is not good either. You know, but the thing is, he's getting better at defending. He's getting a lot better at defending once he gets taken down,
Yeah.
and when he's on his feet, he's just a motherfucker to deal with. Especially as he slow down a little bit.
I don't think either of those guys are going for a takedown, to be honest. Jamal Hill or Alex.
But Jamal would be more capable of taking Alex down
Yeah,
and
he's got
doing
some
well on the
jiu-jitsu.
ground. Jamal's not lost on the ground. He just is such a good striker. He prefers to stand up. It's a fucking fun fight,
Yeah,
man.
it is
I know.
a good fight.
It's a fun fight. That's fine. I'm gonna have goosebumps before that one starts. Like, woo! Here we go.
the whole card is like that from
Yeah.
the opening.
Yes, man.
openings.
I don't.
Yeah.
That's why I don't understand why people were upset about that being the main event.
Oh my God, they're
great main
crazy.
event, yeah.
That's just dorks.
Yeah.
That's
Like
just
what the hell
dorks.
did you expect? Like what did you
Where's
want?
Conor?
Yeah, what did you want?
Where's Connor? Do you guys think Connor will fight this year?
I
think so.
He likes
They
the-
keep saying he's gonna fight. They keep saying he's gonna fight,
Just
but
keep pushing it back, pushing it back.
I think so. I think after doing that movie and how much he had to put into that movie, I think he's going to
For the
want to come.
promoting of
Yeah,
it
I think
and
he's going to
all.
want to come back to do something like fighting, something that he loves to do.
there's the movie curse, the Tommy Morrison curse.
What
Like
is
he
that?
became a movie star. Remember, Tommy Morrison
Ray
was
Mercer.
like the man in
Yeah.
boxing. He was the Duke. He was John Wayne's grandson, right? Or
Right.
nephew? What's
I think
his
it
name?
was a nephew or
nephew
something.
or some shit. So they would call him the Duke, you know, and everybody thought he was going to be the man. And then he did Rocky, and then after Rocky, he fought Ray motherfucking
That was
Mercer.
a horrible
Yeah.
knockout.
Ray
That might be
Mercer.
one of the worst knockouts in the
Yeah.
history
Yeah,
of worst
yeah,
knockouts.
I think so.
And it's he's out already, and Mercer's keeping him up with punches. He's tangled up in the ropes, and Mercer's just teeing
hung up in
off
them
with
ropes.
bombs.
That was a
Not
bad
to mention
Bomb.
Ray Mercer knocked out Tim Sylvia.
Bro.
Oh, yeah, he hit it with that right hand.
That was when they
Remember
had
that?
agreed to be boxing only, and Sylvia opened up with an inside leg kick, and
He
Ray
said,
Mercer looks
Timber,
at him.
motherfucker.
Bro.
What about who
That
fought?
shit, and he was like 46 at the time.
I
right?
know, yeah.
What about Mercer when he fought in Japan? Who head kicked him and he just said, "Fuck this," and like got out of the ring?
that's
Remember?
right.
Who
I
was
remember-
it?
I'm trying to remember who that was.
Ivel or something?
Who did
I'm-
he fight?
I'm trying to remember who that was.
I don't remember it. I remember,
he
he got
went to
kicked and
Japan.
he like
Yeah.
looked like what? He
Because
climbed to the
Ray
ropes and
Mercer had
left.
came to American Top Team when I was with them. He had came there a few times just to kind of see what
What's
MMA
going
was
on.
like. Yeah.
There was a few boxers that gave it a go in kickboxing.
Both Vince Phillips.
Yeah,
and
Vince
Paul
Phillips,
over there.
yeah.
Vince Phillips fought Masato. Remember
Yeah,
Masato
he got his legs
shoot his
kicked,
legs out.
and he was like, "Nah, I'm straight."
No, they fought a while.
Yeah,
He fought a
yeah.
while. He got really lit up in the legs,
Yeah.
though, real bad.
Butter-
Masato was so good too.
Yeah.
What about
Ooh, Butterbean.
Butterbean versus Genki Sudo?
Oh yeah, Genki Sudo heel hooked him, right?
Yeah.
Pandemic.
Genki Sudo was a stud.
Oh fuck yeah, he
Yeah,
was.
he was a good guy.
I grabbed.
He was
I had a
great.
You
grappling
had him
match
at
a
Abu
little bit.
Dhabi, didn't you?
No. I had a training session with all the Japanese guys that were going to Abu Dhabi one year. I was in Japan with Henzo, and he goes. Henzo was fighting in Pride, so he wanted me and Ricardo Almeida to go with everybody, all the Japanese guys. They were filming it. They were going over Uno, Ramone Sato, Genki Sudo. They were all getting together, all the Abu Dhabi team, to have a grappling session. They were going to film stuff. So he goes, "I want you and Ricardo to go down there. It'll be good for you." And meanwhile, it was my first time in Japan. I'm like, I don't want to do shit, man. I just want to fucking. But I'm like, all right, fine. Henzo makes us, he makes go. So the day before, Hyen did something to fucking Ricardo's leg, so Ricardo couldn't do nothing. Hyen's a wild man. So I had to go down. So it was just me, So they were with me, so I went with Genki Sudo at one point. I went with all out of the guys, and it was like 4-minute matches from like the feet. So at one point, like I jumped guard, and he went down. He stood up. And he started going around in a circle, like, and they're all going, oh! And I'm like, I open up, and he goes for a leg lock.
Oh my god!
I got out of it, but it's fucking weird. But they all did the voice. Oh! I'm like, I'm
He
going
was
around
wild.
like it's
Yeah,
a fucking.
Genki was wild.
He was a wild guy, man.
Genki was supposed to be my first fight in the UFC.
Oh, there's Remy Bonjasky.
Ray
Murphy- Remy Bonjasky.
Oh, he's not used to that.
Yeah, he got head kicked.
He said that's all right.
Well, Remy Bonjasky was amazing.
Yeah, he
man.
was.
And he fought. He had such an interesting style.
Crazy knees.
Yeah. Hey man, we just lost Rob Kamen. Rob Kamen.
That
just
sucks.
died.
That really
That was
sucks.
hard.
Nice guy.
I worked out with that guy a lot. I trained with that guy for like
shit.
eight
How's
week
that?
period. It was amazing. He was awesome.
Those Dutch guys are cool, man.
Yeah.
He's the coolest. He was the
It's like
coolest.
Boss. He's super.
I did a
cool.
joint seminar with him in Canada one time. He's just a cool guy.
Nice.
Just
That
a
was
cool
it.
guy.
Head kick.
Yeah,
Ray
one
Mercer's
kick,
like,
end of it.
check, please.
Thank you, I'm done.
I don't enjoy that. Franz Botha,
I
he
didn't
did
sign
well
up
in
for this.
kickboxing. Remember?
Yeah,
Franz Botha
he
fought
did.
Kevin
He
Punch.
did. Yeah.
Yeah, he figured out how to do it a little bit and started fucking people
Yeah.
up. Well, his hands were so good.
Yeah.
Those guys. If you could have like elite hands and you could figure out the kicks, you had like a little bit of an advantage because some of those guys, their boxing was not the
Yeah,
best.
weren't
Right.
Much.
If you could
Yeah.
just stay in close.
Yeah.
I think did Genki Sudo get Raymond Decker also? Raymond Decker got submitted.
I think he
was a
did.
big-
I think
Yeah.
he did.
I remember
yeah.
him because I
Yes.
remember. I think Genki
I
got
think
it.
that was his only MMA fight.
I remember that guy because Longo used to always point that guy on. And be
That
like,
was-
this fucking guy. Fucking Longo loved
Decker's,
him.
Decker's in his prime has the wildest highlight reel of any fighter
He's
ever.
fucked people
he
up.
was an assassin. He had his ankle fused. His ankle had broken so many times that his doctor, he couldn't bend his ankle. And his doctor's like, look, if you keep kicking with that thing, we might have to remove it. Fuck you. Wrap it back up, kicking people too. He just, once we got in there, he just smashed.
Well-
He kicked through everything. He kicked through your arms, he kicked through your elbows. Ramon Deckers was a fucking machine, man. And he was a small guy. So he's fighting the elite Thais that were all his weight and just piecing people up.
He was mean too.
Oh,
Like,
he was
yeah.
ferocious.
Yeah, just
put
mean.
on a Ramon Decker highlight. He was ferocious, man. He was the combinations. He was the first guy that perfected the Dutchie that Ernesto Hoos used to always do, that left hook to the body, right low kick. He would hit that thing. It was a fucking thing of beauty. And he was just such a fucking killer. Such a killer. Like, just mean. Everything was hard. Everything was hard. Every fucking strike was full power. And this motherfucker just put people away.
It's a little bit like Nate Landar.
God,
Yeah,
a
Nate
little bit,
Landwehr,
right?
yeah.
Yes. A little bit, bro. Ramone Deckers was the fucking man. And his hands were so powerful, too.
No.
That was the thing that he had above a lot of those guys was his punching power in his hands. Bro.
He's trying to hit him on
And
the way
look,
down.
as he's on the way down, he's still trying to tee off on him.
How
Ramone Deckers, bro. Come on, son.
Let's see his hand in MMA after this. That's what
He's
I
a
love.
guy, he died young, too.
That's what I love about jiu-jitsu.
He died young, too. He died
Did he?
Yeah, I think he died. He had like a heart attack while he's riding his bike or something crazy.
Fuck is that?
He probably rode his bike like a fucking savage. He's
Yeah,
probably
right, just- yeah, he
going
probably did
up
everything
hills
hard,
and had
yeah.
a fucking heart attack. He was a monster, man. Imagine being stuck in the fucking ring with this guy. I mean, and back then, there was nobody like him. I mean, he was just fucking everybody up, and he was so mean.
Old motherfuckers.
Yeah,
up and
holding
kneeing
him
I
up
know.
to knee him. Look at this. Kicking him through the ropes. Like, you had to stop him. You had to pull him off you. Look, dude's going down, head kicks him. Bro, Ramone Deckers.
Bring on Genki.
Look at it. He would do that. That was the thing that Rob Kamen was great at, too. That the low kick across the front of the legs. He would step off to the left and throw that right low kick across both thighs. Ooh. That's a thudder. Bro, Ramone Deckers. I mean, what a highlight reel. Whose fucking highlight
I
reel
know.
is everybody getting smoked? It's all everyone just getting pieced up. And the power that motherfucker had with his kicks, with his punches, everything. He just destroyed people. But he destroyed his own body, too. I mean, his ankle was completely fucked by the time his career was over.
I wonder if Steven Seagal showed him that.
Bro, the Brazilians love Steven Seagal.
What is he? Pay those guys to be
I don't
to
know.
hang out with them? Or
No,
what the
I
hell?
think
I don't get it.
Anderson had a great sense of humor. And I think Anderson loved those movies when he was a kid. And it was, for his like, when I met Chuck Norris, I was like, oh my God, I'm meeting Chuck Norris. I hugged Chuck Norris. Like, wow, this is Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
So for Anderson, it might have been like
Same thing.
the fucking the first one. What was the first one? Above the Law.
Above the Law.
Yeah.
Bro, that was
Everybody
a good movie.
liked that one.
Above the Law
Everybody
That
liked
was a
that
good
one.
fucking movie.
Yeah, everybody liked
That
that
movie
one.
was legit. So if Anderson fell in love with that Steven Seagal, it makes sense.
What about,
Yeah, they have
what
him in his
about
camp.
Alpha Justice?
Out for Justice wasn't bad.
Anybody seen Bobby Lupo? It was horrible. It was fucking horrible.
That's the one where he was in Brooklyn.
He was walking around with
pretended to be a
It was
gangster.
fucking.
He wanted to be Italian in the worst
So
way.
bad. Well, that was when the mob was allegedly sponsoring his movies. He had like a mix-up with the mob.
I
the
remember
mob was
reading about
involved in
that.
financing his movies. Like, Steven, I don't think you understand
Holy
here.
shit, man.
He's
He should do
showing him
some-
how to grab him by the nose. This is what you do. Just grab him by the nose. Imagine telling Anderson Silva, when you get in the clinch, just grab him by the nose. Watch this. Take him down. Grab his nose. What the fuck he's saying? He's giving him coaching. It's adorable, and Anderson's listening. But the thing is, like, Anderson might be able to take something from some of this.
That's
whack
true.
this
Yeah,
shit and
that
apply
is
it.
true.
Remember
Because
when
he's the creative, right?
Remember when he hit Tony Ficklin with that step-in upward
Yeah.
elbow? And do
Yeah.
you know that he had to train that away from his coaches? Because his coaches told him to stop drilling that. You're not going to use that.
Really?
And so he made his wife hold pillows. So his wife would hold pillows. He would step in and throw that elbow. Bang!
No kidding.
Yeah, bang.
That's
and then he
wild.
did it on purpose just to show them, fuck you.
Yeah.
I can do this shit. And this is when Anderson, before he came over to the UFC. Look at this. Boom!
Is that when he got his head split?
Bro, come on. No, he KO'd him. But, bro, Anderson, in those days when he was fighting in England, that's when he became Anderson. So when he came over to the UFC to fight Chris Lieben, I was like, everybody hang on.
Yeah, I
'Cause
remember
this
that.
is
We
the
fought-
motherfucker.
We fought. Me and Dean Thomas fought on that card. It was the Tough 4 finale, right? It was. Wow. Chris Lieben didn't get close to him, man. That was just,
Bro, that was a clinic.
That and Rich Franklin.
Yeah, both
man.
Rich
He just
Franklin fights.
brutalized
those
man.
guys. But that was when Anderson became Anderson. You know, like when we fought Rio Chonan in Pride, and Rio Chonan flying scissored him
Yeah,
into a heel
Heel
hook.
hook.
I remember that.
He
too.
wasn't as good back then.
Right.
He was just, there was something missing. And then he goes to England, and then he finds himself. And then he
Yeah.
starts fucking everybody up. Jorge Rivera.
Jorge, yeah, for sure.
You remember when Jorge stood right in front of him, let him punch him in the face? Mm-hmm. I mean, it's like Anderson was on another planet.
I know.
He was on another planet
Man,
back
he was.
then.
He
Lee
was
Murray.
Lee
Lee
Murray.
Murray, pieced up
He
Lee
was
Murray.
dangerous. back then,
Dangerous.
yeah.
I was at
dangerous.
the club that night that Lee Murray got into that fight with Tito.
Were you really?
Yeah,
You were there?
I
Did you
was.
see
It
it?
was in London.
Did you see the fight?
It was in London or Manchester? Where was that? Where the fuck was that? It was London. It was London.
Because he beat up Tito, and Tito said
I remember he
had
came up to me.
Slippery
on.
shoes.
Yeah, slippery shoes.
First of all, when you look in the dude's eyes, you know, because he was talking to me in the club, And he's like, "Yeah, you like the jiu-jitsu?" I can't do the accent, but he's like,
I like jiu-jitsu, man.
he's asking me about he says, "Yeah, you like the jiu-jitsu? I like to knock people out." I thought he was like a crazy knucklehead, so I was just talking to him like, yeah, cool. And then when I left later that night, I heard he fucking knocked out Tito, dropped Tito. Yeah.
He
Same
was
night,
a real gangster.
Obviously.
Yeah,
Like,
how come
real
Guy Ritchie ain't do the movie on him?
Imagine a guy that's that good at MMA and fighting is actually a real bank robber.
I know.
Because he fucked a lot of people up, man.
They did like a little mini documentary on that. I don't know if it's Showtime or HBO or who it was. Could have been on Netflix.
Wasn't Guy Ritchie going to do a film about that heist?
That's what I'm wondering.
Now
like,
he would have. It was a cool
that
ass story.
Heist is crazy.
Yeah, they should have did that
That
movie.
a bunch of fighters put on tactical gear and robbed $50 million.
He had to love his mural in his house in Morocco.
He had a mural in his house
himself.
of submitting
Awesome.
Showtime
Jorge
miniseries
Rivera
from last year.
Oh,
That's it.
Story
Catching Lightning.
It was last year?
Yeah,
it came out?
Just came out.
Wait, who did?
It's a mini series.
Like not just, but
so
you know,
someone
a year
plays
or so
him?
ago.
Was this
They
Guy
interview
Ritchie?
all his crew.
I don't know.
All
Oh, it says
his
Guy
people.
Ritchie's making a movie.
No.
It says it's not?
Yeah, when you
does it
see-
say he is?
It does not say he is. It says
It says he's
Yeah,
not.
this Catching Lightning
it just
thing is
doesn't
more
say.
like
God, Guy
documentary.
Ritchie's
It's
gotta
It's like
do
his
it.
coach and people like that.
I don't know if he made
People that were around when the heist happened, all that stuff.
So, but if you click on that, it said Guy Ritchie's making a movie that someone's responding to that. But is
I
that just
don't-
rumor?
Yes. Someone said you said something about it.
Oh, I'm probably lying again.
I don't know.
I'm probably spreading more misinformation. God damn
In the
it.
trailer, it would probably say Guy Ritchie's name right on it. If he
Oh,
did it.
so this is a documentary.
Documentary.
Oh, it's a documentary series. Oh, well,
else
that's
made it.
got to be
Yeah,
really
so
interesting.
what I
That's
was
what I
saying.
want to see. I
This
want to
is
see the
good.
real thing.
This is actually good.
Oh, beautiful. So that was out April 7th?
Yeah, check it out.
It's out right now.
last year.
Oh, okay. And it's called Catching Lightning.
Yep.
So I will check that out for sure.
It was good.
It's a crazy story, man. But he was a real elite fighter. He was
Oh,
a dangerous
yeah,
knockout
yeah.
striker.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
What's
was
that?
good.
That's on Showtime? Streaming on Showtime?
Yeah,
Who has
my
that?
wife is the one that showed me that it was on and we watched it. It was good.
I saw him fight live. Well, obviously in the Jorge Rivera fight, but I saw him fight live against Amir Ranavardi.
Oh, yeah.
Bro,
man.
he was a fucking killer, dude. He was a killer.
That's
Lee Murray was a
Yeah, he
dangerous
could fight.
dude.
He could
Yeah.
box.
Dangerous.
Yeah, good hands.
Dangerous puncher.
He had something in it. When I remember, and this was, I mean, shit, that was when I seen him at that club. I mean, when was that? Early 2000s? And I seen something in his eyes. You could tell.
Do you
he was
remember
fucking
when he got stabbed in a knife fight and then was in the hospital almost dead and then hit in pads 6 weeks later?
Oh, my
No,
God.
I don't.
Yeah, show
Those-
Lee Murray. I think it's like I legitimately think it was like 6 to 8 weeks after getting stabbed, if I remember it correctly. He was hitting mitts, and I was like, "This is the most insane thing I've ever seen in my life." See if you can find that, because it was a video that got released. It wasn't like that he was tearing the mitts up, but he was hitting
still
mitts
hitting mitts.
after getting stabbed in the heart.
In the heart?
In the heart, bro. I mean, he got stabbed a bunch of times.
That's crazy.
And should have died. And lived, and then next thing he's hitting mitts, and then after that he's planning a bank robbery. What a fucking crazy! What a fucking
What a nut.
maniac!
Yeah,
You'll,
what a nut.
you'll see on the documentary, like they kind of say he's not, he ain't the mastermind. They like set him up to be that guy.
Oh, the
But,
mastermind. I wouldn't think he's the mastermind of the organization. I
But
think
just
he's a
the
little
fact that he
crazy.
was there.
Yeah.
Well, that's the kind of guy. If you're gonna rob a bank,
They were in. It's. I mean, it's pretty crazy, and it wasn't the largest amount of money like in stolen in British history or something like that.
how did they catch him? How do they know who did it?
I mean, I'm going to ruin the documentary.
Okay,
for
don't.
Yeah.
Is there a video of him hitting the pads after being stabbed in the heart? See if you can find that, because it's so crazy.
Off
It
topic.
was on
does-
YouTube, I believe.
Does this thing dissolve or am I spitting this thing out?
You spit it
The
out.
pouch.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I didn't know. I'm chewing it like a gum.
Yeah, it gets a little chewy.
Can I have another one?
Yeah, get in there, sir.
Thank you.
Junkie.
Now, where's that Cat Williams shit? Let's go. Uh-oh. No, I'm only kidding. My kids are watching this.
Hold on.
D. Thomas. Let's fucking go. Give
Cat
me a-
Williams stuff is not for amateurs.
Give me a zin. Give me a zin.
Good stuff.
Thank you, bro. Let's go.
Man, let's go.
Into the
Ready to
zin now.
revive for round 3.
Zen.
Do you remember when Panama Lewis gave Aaron
Pryor.
Pryor
Yeah.
that
The green
drink?
one.
Get him the one I
Yeah,
mixed.
Not that one. Yeah, the other one I mixed. Yeah.
And then he came out, woo!
Right?
Mm, yeah.
Do you guys remember when Greg Hardy wanted somebody to give him a fucking... Never mind.
What? Greg Hardy, the wrestler?
No.
No. you
Well,
talking about the,
everybody forgot. I shouldn't bring it
Thank
up.
God.
But
no. When,
nah, all right. Greg Hardy was fighting, and he goes, "Man, I need my inhaler." So his corner guy, he must have been new to the UFC. He goes, "All right, it was Dean Thomas." Dean, I'm sorry.
Oh,
He
you
didn't
were
know.
fighting Greg Hardy.
No, Greg Hardy was fighting. Dean was cornering
Dean was
Lewis.
cornering him.
Oh, Greg Hardy, the heavyweight guy. Oh, Jesus Christ.
USADA approved.
I asked the dude, and he
Is
said,
that
"Yeah."
not USADA approved?
Who handed
It's
it to
not.
him?
I handed it to him.
How many?
Is that not USADA approved?
No, it's not.
Oh, boy, and they did
But
it
I mean,
on camera?
in
Yeah.
reality, if a dude fights with asthma, you would think he'd be cleared to use his fucking inhaler.
Right, but what does the inhaler do for you?
It opens your lungs up.
Would it be
for sure.
beneficial for someone who doesn't have asthma?
Bronchiodilator. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, then you can't use it.
But he has asthma, and he got cleared to have it in the back. And he
not in the corner.
thought he was able to have it in the corner. So when I asked the guy, I said, "Can he have this?" He said, "Yeah, I think so." So I gave it to him.
Well, sorry to bring that up.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Dana threw me
Whoopsies.
under the bus. He was like, "Yo, that damn Dean Thomas, how could he do this?"
Right?
Oh, man.
Fuck up.
Yeah.
The rules
Things happen.
You know, it's complicated, too, because the rules keep shifting a little
Right.
bit.
Rules in different states are all different. So yeah.
It's 100%
But
different.
the testosterone rule was the craziest rule of all the rules that have ever existed in the UFC. When they started giving people testosterone, that
I
was the
know that
craziest
was
rule.
that was the yeah.
That was the crazy. There were Wild West days where
yeah.
people could take whatever they wanted.
What years was that where they were just allowed the guys for those?
That's a good question. I want to say it's
Look when
like
Bisping
2010-ish.
fought
yeah.
What year did
and Luke
Bisping
Rockhold.
fight Vitor?
Because
Those- yeah, Luke
Vitor came
Rockhold.
back a different man when he
A
when he,
different
yeah.
man. You look different.
Way different.
Luke
And that was when he
Rockhold-
spin kicked Luke in the head.
Remember?
Yep.
Luke Rockhold said, I was looking at this guy at the weigh-ins going, what the fuck is he on? Because Vitor is just like a fucking silverback. Just,
I mean, dude, when he
was so
first came on the
ramped up.
scene, he was like 220, had traps up to
Oh,
his
yeah.
ears.
Well, when
Yeah,
he
he
first
did.
came on the scene, I was there for his first fight, UFC 12, in Dothan, Alabama.
that when
And
he
no
fought
one
Van-
knew what to expect because everybody thought that Vitor was a Carlson Gracie black belt, so they expected him
Yeah,
to just
a
be a
grappler.
jiu-jitsu guy. But he came out with them Brazilian fucking model shorts on and the MMA gloves and just tuned up Trey
They call him
Telegram.
Victor Gracie.
Yeah, that's
we
what it
called
was,
him
Victor Gracie, yep.
That's what we called him back then. We called him Victor. I was at his school when he was training back then. I was at Carlson Gracie's in '97. That's part of how the reason I got this gig.
You know, it's funny. I interviewed him once, and he mentioned that you used to train there.
Yeah. I trained there in '96. That's when I started training there.
Dude, when he killed Vanderlay in that
Oh, yeah,
fight, when
man.
Vanderlay was a savage too
Bro.
back then, just people didn't know yet.
He came out with wrestling shoes on.
He came out like, remember, he was like almost like he was freezing him. He was in like Vanderlay was in waiting. Alvaro Romano, you know, the guy at Gymnastica Natural.
Yep.
He used to be like, I guess, part of the Carlson team, and he said like Vanderlay was pissed because he thought Vitor was in the back trying to freeze him out, and what Alvaro said was that Vitor was petrified. Said he was in the back, was crying, and they had to make him go out there. And then he went out there and machine gunned Vanderlay across the cage, like so crazy.
Vanderlay was terrifying
Now,
back then.
I heard that story, right? So I had to, as a journalist with integrity, I had to ask him about it. He said that he had stomach problems.
Is he going to admit?
I know.
You know
That's
what
the
I'm
same thing
saying?
I thought. That's the
He
same
gonna
thing I
admit
thought.
that?
That's the same thing I thought. But I had to ask him about it.
Well,
2013. So it was 2013. So it was 11 years ago. They were juicing.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, we know something happened
Yeah.
because he made an excuse.
Yeah, no
I had
doubt.
Stomach problems.
Yeah, he said he had stomach problems.
How many years they had TRT for? Like, when did it start? That's a question for
Yeah, that's a
Nowitzki,
great-
right?
Yeah.
Dan Henderson was on that shit, right?
Yeah, but not for a while. He was on like later. He wasn't. I don't think he was on a low dose of it. And when he got off it, he's
doing-
one of the few
probably doing
guys
it right.
that was basically the same guy when he got off of it. He couldn't train as hard, I think he said, but he knocked out Hector Lombard after he got off of it. That was post TRT days. He was still fucking people up. Remember when he knocked out Fedor?
Oh, yeah.
Dan Henderson knocked
right.
out
Yeah,
Fedor.
yeah.
Yeah, he ducked under,
remember,
he snuck
yep.
out the back door and hit him with an uppercut.
Yep.
Boom! Because Fedor had him rocked, and he went down, he was on his back, and Fedor jumped on him. He grabbed a hold of a single, snuck out the back,
man.
boom!
One more.
Yeah.
And then just hammered him with that fucking Hendo right hand. Woo!
Dude, the
Right hand
Bisping
from hell.
the Bisping knockout was the craziest.
craziest.
Because he gave him the little.
The craziest. The flying punch, and that became his logo.
I know.
And
Man,
after watching Tough and Bisping, you know, he's a Look, I like Michael Bisping, and he's an instigating motherfucker, and he was on him the whole time.
Yeah.
So you almost were happy,
Yeah.
at that point that Dan got his revenge.
Dan's an animal.
But now I work with Bisping, man. I like him a lot,
I
man.
like-
and
I love him. I think
I
he's
hate
great.
watching that clip, man, because I like him so much.
Well, you don't want to see your boy
Yeah.
get hurt.
You gotta-
It's rough watching a guy get hammered in the face after he's out cold. Too.
Yeah.
That's a rough
Yeah, that
one.
guy's. I mean, I like Bisping when he was on tough. Like when he came up, like he was obviously a talented guy and wound up becoming a world champ. So.
And he's a solid guy.
Very solid guy.
You know,
He's
and
entertaining.
we should mention that he won that rematch. I got fucking hiccups.
Oh yeah,
he won the
Fedor.
rematch versus versus Dan
For the
Anderson.
title when he
Oh,
was a
that's
champion.
right. That's
when he was a
right.
champion.
That's
Did he have
right. I
one eye
remember
at that
that.
point?
Yep, he had one eye at that
Come
point.
on, man.
Well, how about the
many
craziest one was
fights
when
did
he
he-
beat Anderson, and then he gets his mouthpiece knocked out. He's pointing to the referee to get his mouthpiece
got hit
back,
with
and
that
Anderson
flying
hits him with a
knee.
flying knee and walk-off.
Yeah.
Like it's a walk-off KO.
Yep.
And then they didn't call it because it was like the end of the fight, and Bisping wasn't like John McCarthy was doing the refereeing, right? Wasn't
I
it John?
I think so.
And then they didn't. Was it Herb or was it John?
I can't
At that
remember.
point, it might have been her.
I think it was her, but I think the fight wasn't over. They had another round after.
Fight was not
Yeah,
over
but
because
they thought it was.
Anderson thought he KO'd him.
Yeah.
He hit him with that flying knee and dropped him and walked away like it was a walk away KO.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the fight kept going.
And he
Yeah.
jumped on the cage.
Yeah,
He celebrated.
right. Yeah, celebrated.
That's
Yeah.
right. He thought it was over.
Yeah.
But
that's
meanwhile, it was like Bisping was blind in one eye.
Yeah.
So Bisping, when he's pointing to see where
Oh,
the
so he
fucking
couldn't
mouthpiece is,
see.
he probably couldn't even fucking see it coming.
He's probably looking for his goddamn eye. What
Jesus, Rallo.
How many fights?
So here it
he
is.
said
Look,
he
it's-
fought how many times with one
Boom.
eye?
And then he walks away. And they're like,
And
no,
then
it's
the
not
referee's
over.
not
It's like,
over.
What?
He goes, what the fuck? I think he just said, what the fuck?
Man, mentally too.
Yeah,
How do
right.
you come from that adrenaline dump?
Right. Meanwhile, Bisping survived. How tough is this motherfucker? One eye and survives.
He's a savage.
Crazy, right? And by the way, that left eye that's fucked up, that's the good eye.
That's the good eye.
That's the good eye. That's the eye he can see out of. And he comes
Unreal.
back and he wins the 5th round, which is bananas, man. Just fucking bananas.
And even to win the title,
Yeah, and he said
Bisping
he
had
had
to beat Luke Rockhold, and Luke Rockhold took him out the first time.
And he beat him on short notice.
Yeah,
That was
he-
another very short notice fight.
One of my favorite moments is right before they were going to fight. Luke was going to him, and he's like, "What's that, buddy?" And he goes, like he doesn't want to touch hands. He's like, touch you in a minute, motherfucker. He's like, "What's that, buddy?" He goes, "Okay, yeah, I'll touch you in a minute, motherfucker."
He's funny as shit.
It was great.
His podcast.
That was a
is good.
wild
Like,
victory.
He's good. He's entertaining.
He's a fun guy.
Yeah.
He's got an interesting perspective about this Mike Tyson Jake Paul thing. Because even though Bisping only has one eye, he's been trying to get Jake Paul to fight him, which is kind of crazy.
Hey, what's a nice paycheck?
Would they allow that? A guy with one eye to fight?
I don't think so.
They're
They
allowing
shouldn't.
a 60-year-old guy to fight.
They could do it maybe in Saudi Arabia.
What do you think about this Mike Tyson Jake Paul thing? Do you think it's crazy?
It's always hard to say because he has the ability to drop him on his ass at any time. But look, I think
Are we
all the
getting
rules
tricked?
are to his favor.
Are we getting tricked by watching pad work?
We're getting tricked.
I mean, that's
because
a
if you
fact.
look, but if you look at the pad work, it's little 3 to 5 second
edited.
bursts.
Right.
It's not one round. If he was doing
Right.
that in all one round, I go, oh
Yeah.
But I mean, anybody could put that together.
Right, but also he's just starting to train again. Right.
You know,
But still.
you know
But he
they're
was
only
like
gonna
day
be
1,
2
day
minutes.
2.
Yeah.
Those videos, he's literally saying day 1.
Here's the question: how was his fight with Roy Jones? I didn't see it. Well, how was it?
I think they had an agreement.
Not to punch in the head.
Exactly.
Right.
He was
It's-
told Roy would not fight him. Like he wasn't trying to get hit in his head. So they
Yeah.
had like a prearranged thing where
It
he
looked
wasn't going
like
to knock
Mike
him out.
was not trying to knock him out. That's what it looked like. The fight will be an exhibition, but it'll be real fight rules. I think this is when he was on
16 ounce
Hannity.
they're
Yeah,
saying
16-ounce gloves and only
2-minute
2-minute
rounds.
Like that's to Mike's favor.
Yeah, that's it. That
2-minute
favors him.
rounds for sure. Because that was my biggest thing. Like if he doesn't get him in the first couple rounds, what kind of gas is he going to have at his age?
I don't know. See, here's the thing. It's at his age with a lot of supplements.
Yeah.
You know,
Hey,
this-
look, I hope he wins. Like,
Yeah.
God forbid.
I don't. If it was
YouTuber
just a
knocks him
regular
out.
57-year-old dude with not modern hormone replacement and all that jazz, I'd go, he doesn't have a chance. But 57 years old with just juice to the tits.
And Jake did.
Yeah, like I don't know, man. Like, what are the rules? Like, what are the rules? Like, what are you allowed to do? Because if you just allow him to do whatever he wants to do, it
I guess
changes
if
everything.
it's an exhibition, no
So-
drug testing.
Email response from the Texas Licensing Commission.
The promoter has requested to have an event that day. We not received any proposed cards and thus have no details of what they are planning. And that will affect the possible rules. All bouts are subject to review and approval by TDLR. Please let me know if you need any other information. Okay. So it's not necessarily carved in stone yet. They might not approve it.
Interesting.
If a lot of people protest, maybe they won't
Are they
approve it.
doing it in Texas?
Think
Is
if
that where
it's
it's going to be?
I mean, they were trying to do it at AT&T Stadium.
Listen,
like, that's crazy.
If Tyson dies, right?
Oh my God!
Yeah. See, if you have something like that, if you have, look, if
That'd
this,
be the end of the.
right.
Yeah, that'd be the end of
crazy.
that experiment.
Let's imagine it in a different way, right? Let's not imagine that Mike Tyson is fighting Jake Paul. Let's imagine Mike Tyson is fighting some young, like really powerful knockout
then
artist who's
we
a
wouldn't-
contender.
Probably
Well,
wouldn't wanna
guess
see
what? Jake Paul could be that guy if we didn't think of him as Jake Paul. If you look at the people he knocks dead, when he knocked dead Tyron Woodley with one punch, that dude
I was
can
there.
fucking crack.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, so like that's what I'm saying exactly what you're saying. We don't want to give him credit because it's Jake Paul.
Exactly.
But we gotta wake up and realize that he's still 27, young, and for the last 4, 5, 6, 7 years, he's
he's
had the
training
best
consistently.
coaches working with him one-on-one. Now, we wouldn't be thinking that if it wasn't Jake Paul that he couldn't do it.
Right.
So you're right about
Exactly.
that.
And he's dedicated.
And he's dedicated.
And if he was just some wild young dude coming up, knocking people out, knocking out former MMA champions like Tyron, we would go, whoa, keep an eye on this kid. This guy might be something someday. Like, he's on the way up.
Yeah, Tyson grew up in this sport.
100%, but he's also 57.
Yeah.
And I
I
think
know,
he's going
I
to be
know.
58,
Yeah, he'll be 58 at the time they fight.
which is
My question too is
wild.
how do you think, like Jake Paul, all the guys he's fought are much smaller than him. Whether people want to say so or not, Ben Askren fought his whole
Right.
life at 70.
Right.
Nate's 55 and 70 pounder. You know, Tyron's 70 pounder. So this guy's walking around well over 200, cutting to 85 for these fights. You know, this is finally a dude. Like, he didn't hurt like the Tommy Fury dude. He didn't hurt Nate really during the fight. I thought Nate's inactivity, like he didn't really get busy in
Nate
there. the way
apparently
he
had a
normally
fucked
did.
up shoulder going into that
All right,
fight.
well then that would make sense because he didn't really
That's what
throw.
I heard.
But
That might not be true.
You know, so how's he going to handle? Again, the age is the factor, but you know,
2-minute
a big,
rounds.
strong.
2-minute rounds ain't bad.
I'm saying,
Yeah,
2-minute rounds
ain't
aren't
bad.
bad, and it's just like I said, if they got him on the right fucking mixture.
They're going to have to.
Even if he's
Or
just
else I don't think
counter
it'll be
punches.
competitive
And-
if they
and
don't.
Jake
But if they
hasn't-
do have him on the right mixture, how do you pass drug tests? How does that work?
I mean, is there a drug test on an exhibition?
I don't know. That's a good question. Because if there's not, ye fucking
Right.
ha.
Yeah, I know, right? That's the only way. Drugs is the only way I think he's competitive.
Right. He has
Well,
to
I mean,
be.
that's obvious.
If you just look at him, though, he has to be on some kind of hormone
Yeah,
replacement.
100. He looks.
He looks
fucking
pretty,
yoked up
pretty
right
fucking
now,
yoked.
Too.
He looks pretty yoked.
What a comeback since The Hangover, huh? He was a fucking shit. I mean, right? I mean,
He got big. He got big for a while.
oh,
Oh
real
yeah,
bad.
yeah. When he was doing the one man show and all.
It sucks
Yeah.
when you're fat.
Well,
You guys never really got fat.
Both Tysons on the podcast. I had Tyson when he was big, when he wasn't training at all. And I said to him, you don't work out at all? He goes, I'm afraid I'll ignite my ego.
Oh, man.
That's terrifying. And that's what happened. It ignited that thing
Well,
inside of
that
him.
was when he came back for the Roy Jones. It was two different interviews. Like
Two different
when you
humans.
saw him. Yeah, 100%. I agree
Jamie was
with
the
you.
first one to say it. It's like a totally different person.
Yeah, he was way more intense. You
Way
know
more
what I mean?
terrifying. Probably.
And you can
supplemented
imagine
up
he's gonna
with
be
all
in that-
those
in that
anostromes,
Yeah, yeah, that-
dolosines.
How you say him again?
And Astrol.
You gotta be in that mindset though when you're
Yeah.
getting ready to fight. Though you're in a different mindset.
The
when you know
thing
you're not
is,
fighting.
if he's physically capable of recapturing 70% of what he used to do, just dealing with that, with probably 90% of the power, 70% of the physical ability and 90% of the power, because the power's not gone. You see it when he hits a bag.
Yeah, he's
You
still
see-
got the power.
The power's there, 100%. But he's had a bunch of back issues. He had real
Yeah,
bad
he was
sciatica.
having problems walking and
He's
stuff.
walking
I saw
with a
him
cane.
Yeah.
So, but who knows what they've done? Stem cells. I'm sure he's with the right people. Like, even at 57, you can make a lot of money if Mike Tyson's fit and in shape, which is so crazy to say. It's just weird that we're even talking about
Right.
it.
100%.
That the fucking guy from Disney is going to fight Mike Tyson, the
Right.
YouTube kid.
Yeah, I
I
know.
mean, and the path to beat Mike always was long dudes that had a good jab. Later in his career when he wasn't moving his head anymore. So I don't know if Jake can keep Mike off with his jab.
We're going to see.
Yeah, right.
But
If
Jake
it
will
happens.
grab him and wrangle. I mean, that's what he does good.
Well,
like
you
he
can
wrangles
imagine
guys.
they're gonna, Tyson's people are going to be in the back saying, "Don't let him, wrestle us."
He'll be wrenching those fucking arms the way he used to.
Bro,
He used to do some jujitsu in it.
That's right.
If Tyson can have a flashback to the glory days, if there's just like a moment where he
We
just
got to land one.
sees a combination and empties it on him, that would be wild to watch.
Yeah.
For Jake to hurt him, he's got to be there to get hurt. I know, he's not exactly Muhammad Ali in it. He's
Exactly.
So
And if Tyson can still move his head like he used to move his head. Now, the thing about lower backs, though, if you got a lower back problem, you got to
point.
kind of like save that movement. You can only do it so many times before it's painful. It all depends on the condition of his lower back. Because you got to think, Mike Tyson in his prime, go back and watch some of those early days. He's just coming at you.
Yeah.
He was
He's just
sick.
moving. There's just so much to calculate. And bombs are coming your way, and you're trying to hit it with jabs.
Yeah,
like,
the Customato Tyson was
Oh, my
the
God.
whole problem.
the head
Big
movement.
problem.
People forgot how hard he was to hit.
His head movement was sick. That's what stopped later in his
Phenomenal.
career. Really,
Exactly.
that was a big difference.
Exactly. And I think that coincided with back problems. And he also had neck problems. I believe he had a neck surgery because, he used to do a lot of those wrestlers' bridges.
neck, dude.
Oh, my God. And you got to think of how many dudes like Lennox Lewis just teed off on his noggin. Evander Holyfield just teeing off on his noggin. What is that doing to your neck? That can't be good.
But my whole thing is this, man. Like, if what we saw with Vitor Belfort and Evander Holyfield,
Yeah.
if that's any indication,
Yeah.
and Vitor was 45.
Right.
You got a
But-
point
I mean,
there.
It was bang on the sauce.
I know.
Back on the sauce.
So is Jake.
Yeah. You think Jake is?
Maybe.
Maybe.
I mean, why
But he's
wouldn't he
also
be?
young.
And
He's
he's still 27, right?
Yeah.
So maybe
so
he's
young.
not, but either way.
He's got natural testosterone.
Yeah.
A lot of it.
weren't you just shooting a movie?
What?
That's right.
Oh, yeah. That's,
Denzel?
yeah.
What'd you do?
I'm shooting a movie.
With Denzel?
No. What? No. I'm still not. Nah.
What's that Denzel?
Shit.
I call myself Denzel. Get my Denzel on. Yeah, I'm working.
Earlier
That's
he
an
told me.
independent film I'm doing in LA right now. Yeah, so
Nice.
Yeah.
Don't get stabbed by any homeless people.
Nah.
Be careful.
Nah, I
out there.
stay. Nah, man. LA, I don't like LA, but
It's weird.
yeah,
It's weird now.
there's no optimism left in the city.
No, it's a city that's abandoned.
Yeah.
San Francisco.
Weird place. Oh, they're all fucked. It happened so quick. It makes me wonder, like, what is that going to be like in
Like
5 years?
everybody got
Look
out
how-
of there, huh?
Look how quick San Francisco got cleaned up.
When Xi
when
Jinping
Xi
came into
Jinping
town.
showed up.
Isn't it
And then
amazing?
bam, right back
I was
to it.
saying, if I was the mayor of San Francisco, I'd just buy that dude a condo. Like, come stay. Like, whenever you're here,
All
they're
the
going to clean the
problems are
streets.
fixed, right.
Just
Well, what
get-
happened?
Fucking take care of them. When he came into town for a conference, they cleaned up the streets.
Everything.
Everything. They got rid of all the homeless
gone,
people.
Put barriers
They
up.
put
so
barriers
they
up.
couldn't
So
get
they
up
could put
on there.
tents.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. They clean. And then
Where'd they put the
Gavin
people?
Newsom. Exactly. What Gavin Newsom said that was so hilarious. He said, "Well, when guests
guest
come over,
comes
you clean up your house. Like, bitch, keep your house clean. You got human shit all over the floor of your house.
That
This is
guy,
crazy.
man, he's a psychopath. He can
politicians.
lie to your face
Oh, my
without
God.
even blinking an eye.
So weird to watch him do it too. It's like 1980s Roadhouse line.
For real.
You know, it's not even good.
He's the one that got caught eating out,
Yes.
out
Yep,
at
that's
a
him.
diet
Indoors.
dinner or
That's
something.
him.
Yeah, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Well, I've been bad. You got me," or something like that. He was like, "You
Yeah.
shouldn't really do that," and I was, my bad. But it's like, dude, you fucking slime.
Hey,
He's so slick, and he looks like a guy who could be president. And we're dumb. We're like, hey, I think he talks good.
looks
and
like
he's
Christian
he's
Bale
on our
in
team.
American Psycho.
He
doesn't
does. He does. But it's like, if he says the right things and he talks the right way. Look,
it.
Biden won.
Say it with a smile and you're good.
Biden won, and he's barely alive. So
Yeah,
there you
yeah,
go.
you
and they're
never
running
know.
him again. And
I'd rather have
Unreal.
Terry Crews from Idiocracy than Biden.
Terry Crews could win right now.
Yeah.
If he ran with that wig on.
Yeah.
If he ran with that wig on, Terry Crews. Everybody loves
They
Terry
were watering
Crews.
their plants with Gatorade or whatever the
Yeah.
drink was.
Bro,
So
you want to know
great.
the wildest shit? The Rock told me. He told it on the podcast that they called him and contacted him about running for president?
Yeah, I think so.
Wasn't it on the podcast?
I think you said both sides. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, they contacted him and asked him if he wanted to run. The Rock. What?
That's Idiocracy. That
Yeah,
really
that's.
is.
I mean, for
Bro,
sure.
How about he could win?
I know.
Oh,
I would.
how about
I
he
would
would
probably
win?
vote for him.
I would probably vote for him. I mean, the dude is disciplined. He's a
I
good
know.
guy. Jacked.
Yeah.
I want a jacked president.
Right? You want somebody who
I want a
is
president
fit?
where every other president has to step aside.
Yeah.
Bitch, the Rock is here.
Yep.
The Rock Johnson details how a political party asked him to run for president. Says, yeah, on my podcast. It's hilarious. Yeah. Isn't that wild, dude? asked him to run for president. And you know it's for the Democrats, for sure.
Yeah.
And if he did win,
he endorsed
fucking
Biden
win.
before
Terry
the
Crews.
last election.
Terry Crews.
There we go. That's the president.
Come
right
on,
there.
son. If The Rock won and then came out like
Brando,
that.
that was the name of it.
Imagine if The
Brando.
Rock won and came out with that outfit on.
Can I just say, if anybody out there has not seen Idiocracy, they should watch that.
Oh my
fucking
God,
movie.
it's so good. It holds up.
Mike Judge is a what
He's a
a gem that
genius.
guy is.
That
Office
guy's an animal.
Space.
Beavis and Butthead, everything.
Beavis
Mike
and
Judge is the man.
Office, was it
Yep.
Office Space?
Office Space. King of the Hill.
King of the
He's
Hill.
the man. Mike Judge is the man. He's a great guy too. He lives out here.
That's
Nice.
wild.
Nice.
We had him on Unfiltered once, and like the fact that he knew one of my fights is like he knew. I'm like, oh my god.
He's a
I get
fan,
weird when people
dude.
like know, like, cause I don't think anybody watches anything, you know. I'm like, and I was all like, cause I don't get impressed with guys in Hollywood and stuff, but I fucking love Office Space
yeah, hell yeah,
and
good
all of
movie.
his shit. When I like somebody's work, I'm
Beavis
like,
and Butthead was
whoa.
hilarious.
No, he's just a regular dude.
He
too.
seems it,
He's
yeah.
a real cool guy. He's a fan, like a real fan of
Yeah, he
MMA.
Nice.
He loves fights. I met him years ago too. He's been coming to the fights for a long fucking time, man.
And it comes to the fights too?
Was
yeah,
he,
I
was
met
he-
him at the fights.
No
The first
kidding.
time I ever met him.
Was he a comedian as well, or was he just a writer?
I don't think he did stand up. I might be mistaken.
He's pretty fucking
I don't
funny.
know. He's a hilarious
And
dude.
what's
though.
upsetting is these movies that like they become like cult classics. Like I don't think Idiocracy or Office Space. I might be wrong, but I don't think they made a lot of money. But they are fucking classics. If you see those
I
movies,
bet those movies made money.
Do you
I bet
think they made
Office
money?
Space made money. Yeah,
I don't
man,
know
Office
about
Space
that.
was pretty
Was
big.
it?
And then you got to think about all the DVD sales and all the
well,
streaming
that's the
sales.
difference.
the back
I don't think it
end.
made like a
big
in the
theatrical
theaters.
thing.
I'm
Yeah.
not sure. I don't think it did. I think he
God
might have made it up
Damn,
on.
that's a funny
It's
movie.
pretty funny.
That's such a good movie.
I
But
love
those
that movie.
movies, you can't get them today. They don't make them anymore. They don't make those wild, insane, funny, something about Mary type movies.
You can't.
No.
Somebody's always going to get offended.
Something
Yeah.
about Mary was
Yeah.
fucking great. Bro, I remember.
Dude,
I was,
Ben Stiller's put out quite a few of them.
Oh,
you know,
yeah, man.
Dodgeball.
Good.
Bro,
Say
Tropic Thunder is one of the all-time great comedies.
I'm telling you,
Could not
one of
make
my
it today.
favorites.
A lot of the humor just was different back then.
Hell
You
yeah.
can't.
You were allowed.
Yeah, you were allowed to joke
can't
about
say
it.
You were
that.
allowed to actually be funny.
What about Ricky Bobby?
Yeah,
You know,
man.
that was
God
a-
damn, that
Will
was a good
Ferrell's
one.
in some good
Tom
ones.
Cruise,
Old
use your
school.
witchcraft.
They don't even make funny movies anymore.
It's
like
hard,
no,
man.
like
It's such a judgmental world that we live in now.
So
Everybody's
silly.
trying to attack things and take people down. It's just so stupid.
In the beginning of Hangover, your friends, they're just so
Hangovers,
immature.
they were
Ready?
great.
Paging Dr. Faggot. He's sitting there like, like just, listen, it's silly. It's just silliness,
Yeah.
But you can't,
People need more sillies. They do.
100%
We all do.
think
We all
so.
do.
You
You
know?
know, that's why this is fun.
That shit was great.
That's why the four of us getting together.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
need a name.
I mean,
Cucks.
is the cuck sticking around or
Gonna
no?
be it. I have to be a cuck.
Unfortunately,
I think we could take that name.
I think we're the fucking cucks.
Why not? It's a funny thing to call yourself. Just take that
You
name.
know why? Because you'd think we would come up with something
Yeah, like
toxic.
the Four Horsemen.
yeah.
But no, the Four Horsemen.
Fuck you, Rogan.
When you wrote that in the group text, I go, I'm going to wait until he
Son
says
of a
that
bitch.
in studio.
Yeah, the Bulldogs. Yeah, what are we?
I think the cucks is a perfect.
Cucks is funny. It's funny.
It's like calling me tall or something.
Yeah,
It's like the opposite.
Talking shit. We're talking shit right from the jump.
Yeah.
You know, that's what you can't take a show seriously. It's called Cucks.
Yeah, right.
Definitely not.
Yeah. So
Definitely
I
not.
want to see that. On an episode of the Joe Rogan Experience called Cucks.
Yeah.
You're gonna be like, what the fuck?
You got the protect your parks, then you got the cucks.
Yeah, I like it.
Right?
I like it. So that's it for now. We'll put a bookmark on it. We'll have to think about it. You might get home, wake up in the middle of the night, and go, "I can't be a cuck."
No.
Okay, John Rallo's going to be the one texting us. Boys, let's rethink this. The Four Horsemen has a ring to it.
For the record, I'm all in on cucks. For the record,
I
yeah.
feel like
yeah.
I feel like Cucks is it. It came to me in a dream.
Peer pressure.
If it stays in here, it's fine. At my school, if somebody goes, "Hey, Professor Cuck," I'm gonna fucking that motherfucker's he's getting
Somebody's
Camoran and then he's going to
getting
Tiger
strangled.
Showman's.
That's
Is
a
what's happening that guy. It's not happening. But I like it. You know,
Good.
All right, gentlemen, give everybody, Rallo, your Instagram and ground control.
Yep. Got ground control is groundcontrolbaltimore.com. My fight promotion, shogunfights.com.
By the way, that's a fucking
Instagram.
great show, too. Shogun?
Yeah.
You guys been watching
Oh,
Shogun?
Sick, man.
God
I
damn,
love that
that's
show.
good.
Hell
No,
yeah.
I didn't see that. I'm going to watch
Are you
it. though.
watching it?
it's good.
Yes. It's great.
The reading. The subtitles, you don't
That's
even
all
know.
right, man.
No,
That's
no,
all
no,
right.
no, no.
It's
It's
not
good.
a lot.
Yeah, it's
It's,
good.
you know, it's in and out, but
they
it's,
speak English
it's
too.
worth it.
I'm gonna watch it.
Bro,
Yeah,
it's
watch it.
I watched the
fucking
Yellowstone,
good.
but they get too much into it's a good show.
I like
it,
Yellowstone.
but then they do stuff just for the Midwestern people. I don't give a fuck about they play the hee-haw music and they're like,
You want to watch
Yellowstone?
Yellowstone?
I'm folding that shit.
1883.
I watched it. I watched that. I watched 1883 and I watched 1923. They were
Yeah,
both
they're
great.
both amazing.
I'm waiting for
Which
the
one's
next
the one with,
1923 to come out.
right,
When
right.
you seen it?
Mm-hmm.
When the
Yeah.
one gets back from Africa,
Which
Yeah,
one?
the
yeah,
bad
yeah,
motherfucker.
yeah,
Harrison
yeah.
Ford? Which one was
That's
the one
the
with
one.
That's
Harrison
23.
Ford?
Yeah,
It's really good.
Yeah,
Guy
I thought
gets back
that.
from
I mean, they're
Africa.
both good. I thought that one was. I like that one.
They're both great. 1883 is fucking amazing
Dude,
too,
that
but it's
guy's
over when it's
talented.
over.
That-
Oh yeah,
Taylor Sheridan.
Oh yeah, he's a great guy
Dude,
too. I had him on here.
Sicario is maybe one of the
Depressing.
sickest movies
Yeah,
of all
yeah.
time.
That was depressing, though, the 1883.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what life
As a
was like
father.
back
I mean,
then,
it's-
man. That was a brutal existence.
Even the 1923, I like when they just start coming up with the
Refrigerator and shit?
But yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Even them, like even the ones that are resisting it, they're like, well, I'm gonna have to get one of those washing machines or something. Like they're like, it's like just coming out. They're like, look, I want to keep it like to our traditions, but listen, I got to get that dishwasher. It's like weird, like it's like when it's just coming out.
Oh yeah.
It's very cool.
Good shit. All right, so Shogun Fights,
Yeah,
ground control.
And at Be More MMA is Instagram.
Dean.
Catch me at the next Karate Combat. Joe Schilling and Luke Rockhold taking a in
that's
Dubai.
That's
Yeah,
right. When is
Yeah.
that happening?
April 20th.
Oh shit!
Yeah, so
that's
Joe
interesting.
Yeah, so y'all could check
Joe
me
Schilling's
out
a
there.
bad
yeah.
man.
Yeah.
What about
He's a bad
Modern
man.
Roses?
And Modern Rose, my restaurant in Hollywood, Florida, at the Modern Rose, Hollywood.
You have a restaurant?
Yeah,
man.
yeah, man.
Restaurant
Coffee
tour.
shop.
Coffee shop,
Beautiful.
yeah.
Nice food.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Any gluten-free options?
For sure.
Anything gonna
Matt
make you
Serra,
shit in a box?
Instagram, everything,
UFC
Unfiltered.
Unfiltered with myself and Jimmy Norton, my little bird. And Instagram, it's Matt Serra BJJ.
All right, beautiful. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank
That was a lot of
Thank
fun.
you.
All right, brother.
Cucks.
Cucks for life.